All right. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for. I'm really, really tired. I had a really long day, but I was supposed to go live a couple of hours ago. Just forgot to eat. All right, let's see. Seems like I'm lagging already. How unfortunate. Hmm, what's going on? I'm lagging, and I don't know why. Give me a second, yo. My internet's spiking. You gotta give me a second. I don't really know why. How annoying. How's everybody doing? Hmm. Give me a second though. I gotta I gotta figure out my Wi-Fi. It's kind of tweaking right now. I'm pretty sure it's tweaking at least. Yeah, give me a second. How's everybody doing though? I wanted to watch more games. I've always been a massive data collector. All right, let me go see what the router's doing right now. This is ridiculous. I don't know if someone's downloading something or what. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Yo, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my internet is so poor quality right now. I'm trying to figure out. Usually it like usually the lag stops very quickly. So I'm pretty confused as to what's going on right now. Give me a second though. Man, what is going on? Hmm. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know why. It's like frozen in time right now. Give me a second. Let me know if I'm lagging or cutting out or any of that stuff. Hmm. Let me do a speed test. Or I might have to end stream and go live again. Maybe restarting my computer will do the trick. I'm not totally sure what's going on. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely dropping frames like crazy. Trying to figure this out. But I got a lot of VGC matches open here that I wanted to watch. A lot of my oh, it's probably the storm outside. Yeah. Yo. Dude, this is ridiculous. Why is Verizon such a piece of shit though? Let me see. Give me a second. Otherwise I might have to end this stream. Cause usually my internet does not lag like this, but this is like crazy lag right now. Um, like this is outrageous lag on my end. I never have it this bad either. Can I be heard? Or what? Let me know. Let me know if I can be heard or if this shit is freezing or what. Whatever the case might be. Let me go see what YouTube is saying. YouTube is saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. as such. There's like a giant storm going on, so I guess that is likely what the issue is. Um, but dude, it's not bad enough for. Huh. It says I'm dropping like crazy frames. That's why I'm confused what's going on.
Here we go. Let us see. It's
Tell me
going
if
to
my,
be
my visual is lagging.
leading
It's probably
with
lagging,
his
right?
Caesar and King Gambit against Federico's Basque Legion and Pelopper, bringing in the storm and ready to wash away the opposing team.
Yeah, I feel like we.
Alright, let me know if this last 12 seconds it buffered or not. I feel like it probably lagged out like crazy. Let me know though. But I feel like it probably lagged, right? Huh. Yeah, audio is usually not an issue. It's usually... Yo, who's hitting me with a DDoS attack right now, bro? Who did I piss off? Anyways, yeah, let me know. Was it fine? Or did it lag too hard? I'm getting like conflicting responses in the chat. I know my audio is good. I'm saying was the video lagging? Let me just look at my own stream, bro. Let me just open this garbage up on my phone.
Seen this before recently.
Let me take a look.
And like we mentioned,
This
we
is
are
ridiculous, so.
immediately
No way it rains outside in the entire New York. How does this happen every time there's a thunderstorm outside of New York? What kind of state is this? Oh yeah. I just went to my own
We've
stream.
seen this before recently, and like we mentioned, we are immediately into those mind games. We saw
No, this shit's
straight away
definitely
it was
fucking
Diachlor and
cooked on
Protect
my
coming
own
up from
stream, isn't
Michael
it?
in that
Let's
first
see.
game.
Actually, no, it looks
Federico would surely know that that was
looks
the play.
like
And now
looks
there's
like it's
all the
kind of
mind games.
lagging.
Do you Terra
I'm watching on
and
my
to avoid
phone
the
right
sucker
now.
punch? One hit KO. Oh, you go. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind. Okay, whatever. It's probably workable, but shout out to Jack who sent in the 5. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let me see if my thing will show up. Are we good now? Man, how is it still say I'm lagging? What did I do to you, YouTube.com? Did I hurt you, YouTube.com? Why is it saying there's not enough video being received? Man, we might be cooked, but we'll try our best. It's raining bad everywhere. Okay. Alright, so I wanted to watch some games. I laddered some earlier. It took me like an hour to play 5 sets. Because I wanted to ladder only on BO3, not BO1. Because BO1 is like, what am I going to do with BO1, you know? That's not officially how they play. So I know BO1 is like a casual ladder, but I wanted to play on BO3 ladder. So I did. I recorded it too. I have like 55 minutes of gameplay. Watch this real quick. Hold on. I got 4-0'd one game. Peep this. Let me find it. Oh, so there's no data collection in game 1. Exactly. In one game. No data collection equals I'm out of here. Alright, where's my VLC media player? Peep this. Alright. So this was leading off with her Shifu. I love this piece of shit. It's fucking OP. Let's see. This is because I was recording it. That's where the audio's from. I don't want to have a Whimsicott in the back. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, I think it's fixed. I see 3 green bars on my Wi-Fi right now.
How
Never
come
mind. That should
Amogus
just went
have
red
both
again.
Pollen Puff and Protect?
Bro, have some shame, bro. All right, watch this. Watch this. All right, cool. So he's gonna click Tailwind and then Water Spout. Ain't shit I could do about that. Ain't shit I could do about that. So, like, all right, wait, whatever. Forget this game. I won this game.
Encore on the moon.
Cause like, watch this. Watch this. And then that's gonna be that. Cause even with Protect in the back, like, it's not gonna do anything for him. I could literally stun on him and go Miraidon here on his Protect. Just
Almost made
annoying.
a shit play and stunned it on myself.
And I think I will do that. Where'd I get the sets
Actually,
from?
there's
I
no
stole
reason to
it.
have an Encore here.
Everything on here is 252, 252. I just stole it off the. Yeah, he already lost. What am I talking about? Yo, Encore is a godly move in this. This guy's cooked. Nice.
Him, he
All right,
led off
watch this
with
game. Watch this game. Watch this
Ogre
game.
X thingy.
So this is
I wanna
game 2,
try
right?
something weird.
In the BO3. Weird. I want to try something different, rather. What's the Terra on this? Terra Grass. Got it. It's lagging too much
So
again.
I could
fucking ball sack, bro. I don't know what to do. I might just be fucked. The fucking storm might just be like too powerful. It's not like I even did anything either. Piece of shit fucking storm outside. Yeah, maybe I just can't stream today. If that's the case. Cause I don't know what to say. Alright, too much crying in the chat. I think I will stream another day, cause from what I can tell, this shit's lagging way too hard. Fucking ball sack. Okay. How do I like should I like change my output from like 4,000 to 2,000 bitrate? Like what? Man. Shit is a travesty. Fucking every time it rains out here, every internet service provider goes to 0. Okay, New York has the worst Wi-Fi probably in the entire United States. It's like not even a question. This is the worst fucking Wi-Fi of all time. Fuck. I think my shit is just dead. Let me know. I know the audio is probably fine, right? Okay. Even if I lower stream quality, I don't think that's gonna stop the Let me see. Damn, bruh. What if I made the bitrate something fucking terrible, like 2,000? You think that would fix it? Let's see. Oh, I think I just blew up my own OBS. That's the thing, I'm not even on Spectrum. I'm on fucking Verizon, so you would expect better, wouldn't you? Yeah, I know the audio is fine. It's this. Okay. Okay, I dropped the bitrate like a motherfucker. I think it might be good now. Or it might like temporarily be okay. Anyways, watch this game where I got 4-0'd. Let's see him. I want to try Miraidon X Whimsicott. Sorry,
and then
sorry
keep
if
Urshifu and Lunala in the back.
the fucking visual quality's bad. Yeah, let's try this. Let's see. Cause he could definitely Rage Powder lead again, which is like pretty solid for him. But I still get a lead light screen off, and his entire team is pretty specially oriented. So I'm not.
All right, watch this. Watch this.
Watch
Watch
this. So this is Terra Fairy, which is completely fine. He's obviously gonna Tailwind turn 1 and then kill my Miraidon though. So, I'm thinking I click electro drift
Watch this,
on
watch
the
this, watch this,
Garchomp
watch this.
Terra immediately. First off,
On
I'm not
some
even
G
faster
shit,
than the
and then click
Garchomp
tailwind
because my
myself
Miraidon isn't
here.
speed
But
invested.
that might be so fucking out of this world unnecessary, but like whatever. Let's try it out.
Watch this,
I
watch this.
have tailwind. He knows I have tailwind, so maybe like, I mean, I'm probably slower though, bruh. Is the thing. Whatever. Let's see.
Watch
Oh,
this,
he
watch
didn't
this.
tear. I'm shit. Okay. I mean, he was faster anyway, so I don't think I really.
No, this is me recording
Had a way out
earlier
of that.
myself playing. All right, watch turn one. Now watch this. Now watch this.
That's pretty bad though. I'm not gonna cap.
No, this is a video of me playing. That's why there's a voice in the
But
background.
Encore the Torn and he switches, then it's a bitch. If he switches out on my Moonblast
Should I
into
mute
the
this?
what's it called, dude? It's
I can just
definitely a
mute this
bitch
in.
as well. I might just click.
All right, I muted it. All right, watch this.
Click light screen, but I get taunted, and then he just keeps on EQing my shit.
And then I think I moonblasted. Yeah, keep watching, keep watching. Keep watching. Just got blown away. Just keep watching. I wanted to keep my real reaction. That's why I had the volume on. But anyways, yeah, after Miraidon goes down, I then decide that it's time to look at the open team sheet and try and analyze what's going on. Me trying to click light screen when I've already seen taunt in the open team sheet, but you know what I'm saying? Anyways, he bleak windstorms and earthquakes again, and then I go into Urshifu. Look. When you see that I'm ready at the end, got 4-0'd in game 2. Got fucking 4-0'd. I was like, bro, what the fuck just happened? Anyways, that was all data collection, as I've said many times. Data collection is an important part of anything. So that was I got washed 4-0. I was like, bro, what? I didn't even kill one Pokemon. I was stunned. I was stunned. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. This was a shice game. Seriously. I had to work for this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I know he's gonna predict the fake out from my Incineroar. I know that. But even then, I still click it because I was shitting bricks at the thought of Garchomp killing everybody again. So I was like, I gotta click fake out, or I'm gonna lose my fucking Garchomp yet again. I mean, I'm gonna lose my Miraidon yet again. Oh, he goes into Incineroar here as I fake that shit out. He gets up tailwind because all these guys be doing, they be tailwinding. But I clicked Electro Drift this time, buddy. So we're safe. We're safe. And then Garchomp comes in, and then I instantly click Terra Bug, but I'm like, no, we can't exhaust, even though this is like, exhausting early is not even wrong in VGC, so I gotta remember that never exhaust isn't even like a VGC thing. That's just some dumb singles shit. That shit might be completely different over here. Alright, what did I do here? I don't remember. But watch this, watch this, watch this. I go Lunala, and I think I take a lot. Yeah, I took the Earthquake and the knockoff like a boss. My Lunala ate that shit up. I don't know how Lunala was able to eat that up. I don't know how Lunala ate the I mean, I know I have Electric Seed, but still. Anyways, watch this, watch this, watch this. This was genius plays. So then I click. What did I click? Oh, then I realize I have Wide Guard. Facts. So I click Moonblast into the Garchomp, and I Wide Guard like a boss as he attacks his own Incineroar. And I get that goob half HP damage off because I'm shiced. You see that? Downloaded. What, did my shit die? Did my stream die? Or what? Shit telling me it didn't die. Oh, just click refresh, man.
Anyways, watch this, watch this, watch this. So it's looking pretty nasty, but watch this, watch this. I fake out the Kyogre like a boss, I think. Probably. I love when they have a choice mon and they can't protect. When they can't protect, I feel like LeBron. When they can protect, oh my God. I feel like Dylan Brooks. All right, watch this. I fake out the Kyogre, Satanic Mon. Click the light screen so that next time he clicks Origin Pulse Water Spout, it ain't enough. It ain't enough. What do I click here? I think I Moonblast. Or did I Tailwind? If YouTube is tweaking, I might have to come back to this later. Let me know. But I got that Terra Bug U-turn on deck, that extra chip. You know what I'm saying? Alright, watch this. I Tailwind up so that mine's faster. Still does no damage. I think he Origin Pulses and misses. No, he doesn't miss. Whimsicott also takes 47 through light screen, even though it's a spread move, which is fried. But, I mean, Specs Kyogre, Specs Kyogre. Whimsicott's never been famous for tanking hits. It's kind of the Whimsicott way. Let's see. What did I do here? Did I win this? I think I did. Yeah, and then I Draco Meteor. Anyways, basically I recovered from the 4-0. How? Data collection. So I kind of like this best of three open team sheet because you can download quite a lot. You see this shit? Like that 4-0 was all strategic. It was all strategic. Then I go for the Terra Bug U-turn, but I cancel it because I realize that maybe I need my Terra Electric guy. But Miraidon is so cheap. Miraidon is so cheap. I'm always if I was playing in this regulation I would be bringing Miraidon every game I could. With Assault Vest, it felt like I had 900 EVs on my guy. So then I Electro Drifted the Kyogre. And then and then I killed him with U-turn. He Ice Beamed me, but it was all good. It was all good at the end of the day. I was able to handle him. What did I say in here? Nice. Hell yeah. Nice. Hell yeah. My Incineroar continues to U-turn and we fucking did it. Oh my God. Oh, I was so tired recording this, but you know, did what I had to do. We got out of there alive. It was crazy. There was one guy I played that I hacked. I'll show you exactly what happened. I hacked him. It was pretty shiced. It's turn one I hacked him. Hold on. Nice. I think I was 5-0 when I ended. Like a complete boss. Alright, doesn't even show. Okay, wait. Let me show you the guy I hacked real quick. This was pretty shiced. Watch this. This guy owned him. Game 1. Watch this. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Watch this turn 1. If this happened to me, after I just spent $500 to get to the plane ticket and all that, and for this, well, watch what happened turn 1 here. Let's see. What did I click? I always be clicking that Terrastalize too. Watch this, watch this. I thought he would Draco my Miraidon, as if that's the right play when I have Assault Vest. Anyways, watch this. This is the worst plays of all time, but I got rewarded. Watch this bullshit. Also, the timer had me shitting bricks. Watch this, watch this. I'm ass. But I gotta wait with the shit. Shout out Neutral 12, but yeah, I was like, damn, I'm definitely garbage for this one. But I'm learning. We not all Joe who can wild charge me right on and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this guy, I hacked him. I hacked him pretty badly, but yeah. Anyways, let's go actually watch the battles of quality. I just had to show you guys my juvenile intro battles as I tried my best, but I was pretty I was pretty terrible, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn, and I will learn in due time. It's like fun though. I like the data collection aspect, as I told you guys before. It's pretty cool. BO3 is not like that in singles, obviously, since you're not team locked. You can bring the same team, but it's probably not a good idea, especially when your opponent has the ability to switch it up. Alright, let's watch this. My boy sent me this. Shouts to my boy Auntie. He said that I would enjoy this set a lot. He said it's a very aggro set. He says a lot of good stuff. Michael Kelsch, he's a Smogon player. I've played him twice before. I'm 1-1 versus him. Very good player. He known for being super aggressive, super read heavy. He's a very like, I don't know how to explain it, like suffocating player. He's a great player. I'm not too familiar with this guy, Federico, but my boy told me that they both play super gooper aggressive and that I would enjoy it for that reason. So let's take a look.
Oh, let us see.
Teams wise, I couldn't even tell you what I'm understanding, because I see this as bullet seed with loaded dice, which is dope. I see double king gambit. I guess that was the shit back then, because I didn't see a single king gambit when I was watching yesterday. I know Magmar be doing the follow me flame body, right? Sneasler, I played Sneasler today, and the shit kept using coaching with Groudon and turning Groudon into King Von. I didn't know what to do. I was scared as shit the whole time. I was like, why does Groudon have +1/+1? And it didn't click bulk up. Shit took me a minute to understand. I see Bascule Legion. I see Rain. What is this? What is this shit even called? Electabuzz? This is the same thing as Magmar, right? Except we're going for follow me into Paralyze, or what? What's the... So what, there were no Ubers back then? Was this an enjoyed format? Did people enjoy this? Follow me into Vital Spirit. Vital Spirit, so what? You can't go to sleep? So they like cock blocks Amoonguss? Okay. Thank you. Got it. These are damn near two OU teams, especially Federico's team. I would bring this to OU with a Raging Bolt and go stupid over this. But yeah, I'm on my learning shit.
Here we go. Let us see. It's going to be Michael leading with his Sneasler and King Gambit against Federico's Bascule Legion and Pelipper, bringing in the storm and ready to wash away the opposing team.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen this before recently. And like we mentioned, we are immediately into those mind games. We saw straight away it was Diaclaw and Protect coming out from Michael.
Diaclaw and Protect. Why is he protecting here? Because the Pelipper's attack, or what?
Immediately into those mind games. We saw straight away it was Diaclaw and Protect coming out from Michael in that first game. Federico would surely know that that was the play. And now there's all the mind games. Do you Terra as to avoid
Look
the
like a sucker punch.
One
Yeah, facts.
That
That shit died. That shit was black glasses.
Again, turn one, getting the correct read.
Oh no. Oh shit. Yo. You're right, level 50. I'm also is black glasses, right?
KO'd two of that
Yeah.
sucker punch. Here's the Diaclaw from
Oh,
the Sneasler
no.
as well, doing massive damage to the Pelipper, breaking the Focus Sash. Why not get the poison?
Wait,
to
can
boot?
someone explain to me why it was a 50-50 turn one? Is it because if this clicks Terra Water, then it's gonna kill? Is that what the 50-50 is? And so how did Michael know that he wouldn't Terra? Huh. Yo, that's pretty shiced. Alright. I see.
Poison, actually the best status move you want to get. Pelipper now getting the tailwind off, so getting the speed advantage.
It ain't even bad. It ain't even bad. We can recover from this. Because I have to take the side of the guy that looks like he's down. Shout out to Federico. That was a tough turn to handle. But Archelodon is in the back with the speed boost. It ain't over till it's over. But it looks pretty bad. I'm not going cap.
Absolutely fantastic play there.
That was a
Taking care
crazy
of
play, I'm
one
not
of
gonna
the
lie.
biggest damage dealers that Federico does have available to him. He did get the tailwind, so now the Archelodon should be able to outspeed both the Sneasler and the
Is he not gonna
Gambit
sucker
here.
punch the
You can very
Pelipper?
easily go for the double up into the Sneasler because you're faster with both Pokemon
Is he
now.
not gonna,
in
is he
the
not gonna
tailwind,
sucker punch the
that would be
Pelipper
a
and just kill
KO,
that
but then
shit?
you
Let's see.
delete the King Gambit
I'm mad
completely
curious.
free, maybe even
Because if
go
I'm
for
Sash on my
so they
Sneasler,
can
I'ma
get
CC
massive
the
damage with Sucker Punch in
Archelodon.
the future.
Go
And
from
it
there.
looks like a terrestrialization is going to come out.
Oh,
onto
shit.
Sneasler. So a Terra Stellar Sneasler wanting to boost the damage of its attacks.
So,
even
Terra
more.
Stellar so that
This Sneasler
CC
is just
kills
looking
the,
absolutely
kills the
radiant
Arch?
on the field right now. Sucker Punch coming
Oh,
out
shit.
towards the Pelipper
Yo, is it
before
Terra
he can
Stellar so he get the
chance
boost to kill the
any
Arch?
hits
Yo,
off,
he's
and
going
Pelipper
crazy.
is down, leaving Federico down to his final 2 Pokemon.
Bro, this is gonna
Pelipper
die
now,
because of the
Pelipper
1.2x
with the
boost from
Electro Shot in the
CC.
rain. It's going to get that boost to
Bro,
its
this is
special
fire.
attack. And we're going to see which target did it go for. If it goes into Sneasler, that's going to survive because of the Focus Sash.
It's gonna survive anyway, isn't it? Yeah, Sneasler has good
Actually
spit out.
just surviving comfortably, not even knocked down to his Focus Sash.
Oh, he's trying to predict Terra Fairy. Or what, right? Oh my goodness. I thought he clicked CC. Oh my goodness. So he was trying to catch Terra Fairy. I thought he clicked CC. I thought that's why he terrored. Because Arch has a lot of defensive. Oh my god. Oh nah, he was going for all the way. After that turn 1. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I get why he did that, right? Because Claw not going to kill. Yo, he's nuts for that. And then Federico realizes that if he gets CC'd, then he's just going to take the L, basically. Whoa.
Oh,
It's pretty tough.
wow, if that would have been the close combat with the Terra Stellar boost, that would have been able to one-hit.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to
And
CC to just bait out the Terra.
would have absolutely been
But I
game over
understand just going for the
immediately,
hard.
but yeah, Michelle doing so well in the
I thought the sucker on the Pelipper, what we saw was always going to happen, but I guess he doesn't really have the ability to switch out when Pelipper is poisoned and already at 40%. Like, you'd rather
first
just
turns. This turn
have
two,
something coming for
not
free.
Quite. That wasn't a KO to Sneasler. The Sucker Punch made it incredibly safe. For
Wait, he's going to bullet seed the Arch for max BizDev? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. So that's what bullet seed X Arch is for. That's some evil shit.
But yeah, very, very nicely done from Federico there.
Nah, that's
Hold this
filthy.
up and
That's
not go for that
filthy.
first round.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very resisted bullet seed going into that Archelodon that is now boosting up its
Nah, this is this. I thought it was for focus sash shit. The whole time it was to turn. Well, now how is Michelle gonna kill this? Yo, this is pretty exciting. Let's find out.
Is it gonna get another hit? No, 4 hits this time. But
I remember back in the day. This is gonna die, right? Oh, never mind. It was only +4.
And Kowtow Cleave now following up on the Rillaboom.
Shit is so strong.
Very nice bit of damage, but Archelodon now fully set up. And
Yeah,
ready to go.
Archelodon looks
Nicely
fucking
done there for
unstoppable.
Federico. There's 3 physical attackers on Michelle's side
Dude,
of the field
what?
at the moment. We'll have to
Yeah,
see
just kill the
if
King
there's gonna be a
Gambit,
special
and then does
attacker.
Rilla have a
Because if
non-attacking
there's not,
move?
that Archelodon is going to be incredibly difficult to break through now. The King Gambit was ignored. It could have been knocked out to that body press there, but instead getting
What
very
if
good
my-
damage into that opposing Rillaboom.
What if
With
Michelle
Cal-
clicks
Can-
Grassy Glide on the
fake
thingy?
out,
Is that
go
gonna
for the fake out
neutral?
into the
No.
Archelodon. At this point, you don't really care that you're getting a
Rilla's gonna die, right? You just gotta take it.
It's already
Oh,
boosted up.
right.
Plus
You
another
can.
plus
So now he
one
can
on top
target
of a plus
the
one
Rilla and
already.
take it out,
Oh,
right?
look at
And
that.
then
Another stamina boost. Archelodon now at +5. Bullet seed coming up.
If you can get 5 hits, I think this will
Such a
kill.
funny animation. Just
Oh, nice
Rillaboom
crit.
as well.
He's gonna kill with 4 hits.
Critical hit onto that Rillaboom, and it looks like Rillaboom on Michelle.
Yo, this is a Shai's game, yo. How the fuck is he gonna beat Archelodon? This reminds me of that old Gen 5 shit, the beat up Whimsicott plus Terrakion. You guys remember that? With rocks and then rock slide Terrakion. This shit was so cheap. Okay, well, I'm really curious what Michelle has in the back. He has Primarina, right? Maybe he brought it. I don't know if he brought it, but yeah.
Another boost up to all the way up to +6 won't make too much difference here, but that would allow your King Gambit
Oh
to be able
shit!
to go for it
So he's going for
and
just extra
then get
damage
off
as
the
much as he
Sucker
can
Punch
get.
into this Archelodon before it gets KO'd almost certainly to the body right
Yeah,
there.
because King Gambit is walled. You can leave that to the end. CC is not gonna do anything here to Federico's thing. Goes for fake out. Yeah, you might as well, right? Yeah, but Federico set up the OP grassy terrain. He's just giving it boost. Oh my god, this is actually pretty shice. I'm so. Ooh. I mean, yeah, but okay, but like I get it, because Because Michelle needs to crit anyway, so he might as well go for the most damage. Because even CC plus Sucker is not going to do shit to this. Just kill the... Why not? What is he thinking about? Why not kill the...
Yeah, for sure.
The Sneasler.
Sneasler probably wants to go for close combat here, because if you go for the
Okay,
Terra on
so this is going to do what, 20?
Archaeolon, you're opening yourself up to
20%?
the
Yeah, more or less that
direct.
did
Just a little
20%.
bit of chip damage for the Sucker.
This probably does like
Still a
25,
Terra
30%.
Stellar boosted close
Because
combat is
Terra
super
Stellar.
effective.
Wait, that did a lot. That
Archaeolon
did like
quite
25%.
below
Okay,
par,
that's not
still
even bad.
Significant chip damage there.
Yes, the Archaeolon taking that so comfortably and answering back with a body press, which easily enough to knock out.
Yeah, but now the Terra Stellar boost is gone, so it's gonna do about 20% less on average. Is terrain still up? Or has that ended yet?
Federico has managed to keep his cool and claw his way back.
Okay, what's the
into this
last?
game, and this Archaeolon is just
Prim has to be in the
so
back,
hard to
right?
break
Oh,
through.
oh, Polt, but his
It's
Polt was
not
banded.
going
He's
to
goobed.
be able to break through this
Wait,
Archaeolon, not without
dude,
the
I
help of
think he's goobed. Because I saw in the preview, yeah, and it says it right there on the top right that it's banded. So Dart, oh, nice protect.
And then that would buy an extra turn potentially to go for an attack. Okay, Phantom
Oh,
is the choice.
yo, this is a okay.
Definitely get the two attacks off this
Nice,
turn, because
nice.
there's no target.
He did the combination to get maximum attacks off. Oh shit! Install out another turn of Grassy. Yo, that was a shot. Yo, that was genius. But I think it's gonna live. Yeah, too easy. Cause even CC is not gonna do more than 40 HP. I think. Yeah, it did like 44 HP. It's over. It's over. No way after the lead, this guy instantly killed everything with Arch. This was such a tough game. What? Yo. You thought Arch was bad in OU. Holy cow. Nah, that was tough. Nah, this is demonic shit.
Dragon move of choice on Federico, because if it was Dragon Pulse, then this should be pretty much sealed up. You got to crit the Phantom Force, or you've got to dodge the Dragon
Oh my
Meteor.
goodness,
Like,
that was
there
actually
needs to be three
insanity.
Phantom Forces based on the previous damage.
You would have thought after the turn one sucker and then the Pelipper dying misses one, but you still gotta crit and miss. Bro, I would be shitting bricks right now as Federico. Because if you miss another one, you're gonna lose.
Is there a critical hit? Is there a Draco Meteor dodge? Because if there is a dodge, another Phantom Force would do it here.
Yeah, Dragapult now emerging from the other dimension.
Oh my god, I hope it hits, bro.
Is it going to hit the second Draco?
Okay.
It does.
Bro, that was a crazy game,
He is going to
yo!
get knocked out by this Archaeolon. A very close.
Hold on. Never Terrad. Never exhaust? Might be something there. Might be something there.
Missed, it could have easily
Just noticing.
gone the win could have gone to Michael.
Yo, that was a
Michael
crazy
getting
game.
that turn one correct.
What tournament is
Didn't
this?
quite get the close
2025?
combat read onto this Archaeolon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if it would have just been close combat on that turn too, definitely over predicting there.
These guys are tough.
It made perfect sense to go for Diaclaw if you are
What is this,
fully
Poland?
expecting a Terra Fairy to come out from the Archaeolon, because of course a Terra Stellar Diaclaw with neutral defense onto the Archaeolon.
Oh, he locking
that
in
probably
now.
knocks it out. But if there had been just
The
any
four
close
physical.
combat, even if it went
Yo,
for
the
Terra
background
Fairy
is cool.
and
The
they
background
could
is really cool.
combated a Terra Fairy, that doesn't really matter, because then the bullet seed into your cell bullet seed, that would have been neutral and actually done some noticeable chip damage.
Whoa. So does Michelle basically have to bring Primarina, or he's gonna have the same thing happen? Actually, if he doesn't Dire Claw turn one, then it's like, but I understand why he did it, because this thing has a fairy type. Arch as a fairy type also walls and kills everything. But because the Sneasler still had its sash intact, it probably didn't need to do that, right? Maybe it was too late. This is dope.
And because the Archaeolon was left on 13 HP at the end,
10-0.
you just need
Damn.
any extra kind of chip into it.
Yes, just
Crazy.
so well played by Federico. Losing that Basque Legion turn one, but keeping his cool, not using up the terrestrialization that first turn, so keeping that option in the back and very bravely leaving the Archaeolon on the field in the face of a Sneasler that could have
Damn,
gone
these
for the
dudes are
Terrastella
thinking like
close combat.
anything.
And it didn't, and then allowing a
Damn.
Rillaboom.
This is literally how I would look if I was playing a tournament. I would literally be like, chewing on a nail, like one of my fingernails or something, trying to figure out what I want to do. I got this same really bad habit of this.
Yeah, I think if also the Magmar was waiting in the back row, the Dragon Pulse, that would have probably won the game for Michael, because you'd been able to follow me away the +6 body press against an EVO like Magmar that's not going to KO. And then that frees up 2 close combat from the Sneasler. We saw it was actually doing noticeable damage, even at +6 with the close combat. So just
how much time do they get between each game like this?
Free up 3
you get it like how much time do you get per game like this to just kind of take in what happened?
This is the 3rd close combat. So Magmar we saw at the end of the top 16. Maybe that
this is Michel the Bestie too, from a small gun.
But it came back to bite
You get 90 seconds.
Yeah, this could
Copy
be a
that.
really interesting adaptation, and as you heard earlier, the Dragon did a lot of damage, but we're gonna go straight into our game to Sneasler and King Gambit once again. The
3
same
minutes.
Leads from Michael
Same
and
leads.
And Basque Legion once again.
I'm clicking flip turn again. I don't give a fuck.
So
Yeah, just wave crash. That sucker punch is not happening
Do
again.
you sucker punch? Do you Terra? Do you switch? Do you...
Shit is not happening
There's so
again.
much that can
Oh,
happen.
I'm garbage.
Another sucker punch.
Yo, they always do the same shit in VGC. Bro, this is what my bros told me. They said if it wins game 1, it's happening again every time. They say it's happening again every time.
And the Basque Legion is KO'd.
Bro, stop bringing Basque
Once
Legion.
again, and the Caesar is free to just go for once again. A
Bruh.
Dinosaur, and it likes to get its stasis.
I hope this doesn't
See if it
sleep
gets
this thing
the
or it's
poison
lights
again or
out.
something different.
Oh, bro, please no full
Paralysis.
para.
So that might stop the Pelipper from even moving here.
Alright.
No, it does get the tailwind, but that means the Pelipper's still going to be slower than the Sneasler on Michel's side of the field.
Well, it looks like Federico has brought the same Pokemon from the previous game.
Hell yeah, he brought the same. I don't know what else to do. Alright, CC is getting clicked on this arch this time.
For Michael to take down in that previous game, and
Okay,
Michael will have
swaps
to find
Rilla?
a way to break through this
No way.
Pelipper paralyzed.
You can't swap Rilla on Dire Claw. Yeah, you got a sack to get the free switch, no? Yeah.
Job set up the tailwind, and now Chaladon in quite a nice position to start firing off the electro shots.
Oh my god, I would just raw CC the thing and try to bait out
Yeah,
Terra.
it definitely can start
Like
to get
bait out,
boosted
but
here.
like...
But you still have to contend with this. Well,
Okay, wants to keep the Gambit this time.
Punch now because the King Gambit just switched out. We
Brought
saw
Magmar.
and there is the
Cool,
adaptation.
cool,
The
cool.
Magmar has joined the field this time, so that is the adaptation that Michel has done. That means that the
Oh,
Dragon
so this
Ball
time,
is probably left on,
who
on the bench
is
here.
the
And there
Sneasler
is
getting
a
Terra?
crystallization.
Oh no,
It's
so
not the
Federico
Sneasler
did
this
not
time.
want to
There
get
is that Terra Fairy.
did
This
not
is
want to
the
get caught up
play
by the
that Michel
CC this
was
turn.
calling in that first game
Okay.
in the second turn, but no
Yeah, because
Terastallization
CC
from the Sneasler here.
blows this up,
See what the
as we
Sneasler
know.
End up going for. So electro shot is going to come off first from this Chaladon due to the tailwind that got set up. Now, which target did this Chaladon go for? Did it go into the King
think it hit the
Because
Sneasler, right? 'Cause it was
goes
Sash?
to the Sneasler, so breaking, it's
Yeah, you got to get rid of this. Oh, and he might have been able to just kill the Sneasler right here. Oh no, never mind. He double attacked Pelipper. But I feel like this is great for Federico.
Down to his final 2 Pokemon, but
Because-
now we've got this, oh, this is a Magmar
Actually,
on
wait,
Michel's
Rillaboom is
side.
probably
But
faster,
long,
right?
so
Than
it can. Now that this
Arch,
Chaladon
so he can redirect the bullet seed.
no longer a steel type, you can
If
get
it's not
rid of all
faster-
its defense boosts.
I mean, it doesn't have any at the moment, and you can
If
even
Rilla's
put a
not
stop to that
faster
by
than
just going
Arch,
for follow me as
then
well.
it's not gonna
Can't
matter,
follow
right?
seeds
Because he can
yourself
just
if the
attack
follow me
into. Oh, I think my shit froze for a second.
erection comes out, you do have to contend with the fact that there's fake out pressure on
So
the
he clicks
field
protect
at
here.
the moment, but there's just the protect coming out from the Sneasler going to keep
Is he
itself
gonna-
safe here. Are we going
what's
to
he
see
gonna
the
do?
follow-up protect from the
Oh,
Magma? Yes, we
okay,
are.
okay.
So that is actually a free bullet seed.
But
into
isn't-
the opposing
wait, but
attack.
why?
However, it's not going to resist. So this is actually going to do.
Oh,
something
it doesn't
to
resist.
itself.
Wait, it's actually gonna do
Chaladon
like a
now
good
taking
20% then.
Second hit. Are we going to see 4 hits?
Interesting,
Or are we going to
interesting.
see 5
Yeah,
hits?
but from Federico, oh, that was a crit.
5 hits this
Why did
time.
that? Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, there's a
well,
crit.
that's tough. But I mean, you are hitting yourself like 4 to 5 times, so the odds of that go up. Oh nah, I didn't realize he terrored himself.
This isn't the worst situation, but no.
Why did he
It's
follow me
Chaladon,
here?
but doesn't allow
It's gonna, it's not, is it gonna?
fully set
But
up.
farms
It
another
gets another
boost here.
special attack
Yeah.
in the rain due to getting the electro shot off. Of
Damn.
course, it's not going to matter in the face of both protects from Michael.
Well, you, doing
Oh,
extra
stalling the
damage to Magmar
tailwind?
in the future turns now. A +2 is a Draco Meteor enough to be able to kill the Magma? It would have to be Draco Meteor, but
Nah, Electroshot's fine to
to
kill Magmar. +3 is gonna kill that shit, is it not? There's no way +3 Electroshock doesn't kill Magmar.
Very easily just go for follow me and Diaclaw. quite comfortably. And if we're seeing the terrestrialization come out, this
From
might be a
Sneasler?
Terrastella boosted Diaclaw as well.
Oh, Terrastella Sneasler is going to deal so much damage if he can manage to get an attack off. This is the final turn of Tailwind, so Sneasler will be going
feel like-
second after
Okay,
all
so
this.
this is gonna
Magma
die
are
right here to
going for the
Electro Shot
follow me,
if
just
the
keeping
thingy's
Sneasler
faster.
safe
But it's
from
not
any
faster.
attacks.
Rillaboom's,
Crafty Guy coming
we already
up,
saw it's
not very
faster.
effective against the Magma, doing a nice bit of chip damage, but now we see the
No way
strong
this
hit,
doesn't
the Electro
KO.
Shot
Even with
coming
the
off now
Violet,
from
no
a
way it doesn't KO. It's plus 3.
Archaladon going to be
This is like 1 trillion
redirected
special
into this
attack.
Magma, which is bulky, but
And then
is
what?
it bulky
Michelle
enough
probably clicked
to
Dire
hang
Claw
on
against the
onto
bridge?
this? And it is
What?
enough.
Yo, how bulky is
Enough to
this?
survive, I should say. And
Yo, the
now-
commentators are really good, by the way, because they said only Draco's gonna be able to kill this. But I thought Electroshot would for sure kill it. They know their shit. Then again, Electroshot and Draco are the same power. So actually, Electroshot was stronger now that I think about it.
Boosted Diaclaw
Either
is
way,
definitely
how is this
enough
crap
to be
so
able to
bulky?
KO this Rillaboom. So you can either go for
Yo, what is Magmar?
and
Yo,
then
what
get
is
some sort of
Magmar's
stasis,
EV
or, like
spread?
we mentioned,
Or like,
there
what
is
is his
clear
BST
smog available in this
with the
Magmar.
Violet? Holy
With the
cow.
Tailwind ending,
Yo.
Magmar might be faster than Archaladon. It's going to be close. Magmar is
Draco
slightly
has stab?
faster
Oh wait,
than
so
Archaladon.
it's
It will come down
130
to
times
speed training,
2.5
or if you don't even want
versus
to go for the clear smog,
195
then you can just go for
x2.
redirection and Diaclaws, and that might be
Right, Draco's 130. 130 times 1.5 is 195 times 2 is 390. Electroshot times 2.5 is 260 plus 65, 325. You're right. You're right. Draco probably would have killed it then.
enough. And
You're
that
right,
is
you're
the
right,
path
you're
that
right.
Michelle is ending up taking here.
Yes, looks like the redirection now coming off, allowing the Sneasler to get
Wow.
that Diaclaw off immediately. Oh, not super effective, but oh!
Oh, I'd be tight. I'd be tight. I'd be
Shutting it
tight.
down for one turn, but critically, now Magma can go for the clear smog.
Next turn it can,
Yes.
but it has to contend with the Archaladon.
Nah, bro, Sneasler is horrible to face, bro.
Between the Magmar and the Archaladon there, because the Magmar did go for that very safe follow me. But now you can, for sure.
Michelle
let's
is
go
up
for
a lot,
Diaclaw
though,
and
I'm not
Clear
gonna
Smog,
lie.
make use of the potential sleeps that are coming out from
Oh, he's
the
gonna
opposing
run?
Archaladon. Even if
Yeah.
it does wake up and attacks the Sneasler, doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
because
matter.
then the Clear Smog
was
would
already-
be able
it was
to
already
stop
pressed
that,
too much.
And that's the end of the game.
Even without that proc, though, it
Going
wasn't
into-
like Michelle lost. Right? Even without that proc, I feel like he was still.
It has to
Because
contend
look, this is at half. I don't know.
Maybe Archaladon
Maybe it was close.
potentially
But I don't
for
think
that
it was
wake
just
up.
like
We didn't
clipped.
get to see the speed interactions between the
I think he
Magmar
still
and
had
the
a chance,
Archaladon there,
right?
Because the Magmar did go for that very safe follow me.
Like, yeah,
But
this
now you
this
can, for
took
sure,
all
just
of
go
his
for Diaclaw and Clear Smog, make
potential
use of the
out the way,
potential,
but
sleeps that are coming out from the opposing Archaladon. Even if it does
Sneasler
wake
is
up and
disgusting,
attacks the
bro.
Sneasler, doesn't really matter because then the Clear Smog would be able to put a stop to that. And
He's hyped.
going into that game 3.
Amazing. We actually got a glimpse in that last round. The Magma gained health before the Archaladon.
Oh, good spot.
So
Good spot.
it could be an indication that the Magma is faster and might be why
Yeah.
Federico then forfeited, knowing that the clear smog was
Lock
coming.
in, gang.
All the Sneasler had
Lock
to do was
in.
go for the protect,
Lock in,
put out
we
the
got-
Magma, get that clear smog off, and then it'll just be at +1 because it would have been hit by the clear smog and Diaclaw, plus was the King Gambit in the back that he
Yeah, he
threw, yes,
was at the King
then
Gambit,
would have been able
yeah.
to.
Alright, so
stand
are we
back
gonna
up
see
and knock it out? So
Is it
Basket
going to be
Legion
a repeat
get
of
sacked for the
Because-
third time
it's
and the
mind-
third
I
sucker
think so.
punch?
There's always mind games, and Michelle has got it right twice. Do you sucker punch the Basket Legion for a third time?
Yo, they reading my mind.
Make the same move again is always the mind game that we need to play.
Yo, that dude, the mind games in this bitch are ridiculous. And also
Michelle,
we don't even know what Michelle's 4th Pokemon was, do we? Or did it show? Do we know what it was? I wasn't paying attention. Somebody tell me what it was. Anyways, I would Katal cleave the Basket Legion. If we see the same leads, I would do that.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, if I want to say anything, Michelle is very, very good at reading his opponents. Of course, Federico is also a phenomenal
Why does
player, so he's
Federico
not
have
going
to
make
always
this
lead
easy.
off with
And I think
Pelipper plus
part of
Basket
Federico's
Legion?
game
Is it
plan
because
might
that's
be
his
to
best
take
odds
Basket
versus
Legion,
the
get
Sneasler?
knocked out. I've
Is
got
that
my
why?
Archaladon, and you gotta take
'Cause I'm
that
thinking,
out.
why do we have to
Your
keep
team is
leading
heavily
the same way?
physical. Good luck.
Yeah, the only special attacker that's been brought to the game is the Magmar. The only other one is Primarina, and that's been left on the bench for all of the rain matchups that Michelle has been facing here. There's the Sneasler Gambit.
And that's
Oh,
really-
hell no, hell no. I'm clicking Katal on the
We know
fucking
what
thingy.
could happen here.
But I get why he
What is going
keeps
to
keeps
happen?
suckering, right? Because it's not like Jet does anything. Bro, he clicks so fast.
Going to be another
Bro.
sucker punch into that Basket
Oh my
Legion.
god.
Because again,
Okay,
surely
so
the-
new strategy this time. This time he's like, fuck the Sneasler. We're gonna break the focus sash. And then, okay, he's ready to take the. He's ready to take the, what's it called? Okay.
Don't make the same play 3 times in a
Oh, I knew he could tell this time. I told you he would tell this time. 3 times is too much. Federico standing on business. Oh,
That is not a
nah, he stood on business.
Probably didn't matter in the rain. That is a KO'd King Gambit.
Told you he wouldn't do it 3 times. It's fucking crazy.
Maybe not quite brave to go for that, but let's go back into the basket.
Oh, wait. So he wait, what? Wait, what was this for?
Michelle going
Oh,
so
hell, he's
aggressive
cooked.
this time.
Wait, but what was the CC for?
Sneasel knocked out
Was he expecting Terra Water? No way you would
focus
CC
attack
though
from
instead of
this
Claw.
hurricane by the Pelopon.
In case-
And what a fantastic turn 1 here.
Arch?
Federico, because
And
now
then what, Tailwind
Sneasel
here?
is going to be outsped.
Nah, that's OD, bro.
So free to start going for the wave crashes.
Yo, that's
Coming
OD
in
though.
Really fantastic for Michelle though, because now they can go for the grassy glide on the Basque Legion. In that range, it will get a
Oh
KO.
my
Basque
God.
Legion, of course, can also go for that terrestrialization
Yo.
to make sure that it resists.
Nah, that was too heavy. That was one of them
Two of them
ones.
back that will really easily take the grassy glide, and one of them that actually
So he was
wants
reading
to
flip turn?
get a stamina
Okay.
boost if a grassy glide goes
I
fast.
understand
But yeah,
that
it
because
has
it's
to
like
happen
if it flip turns instead of wave crashes, then it's not gonna kill Gambit anyways, and the only mon to switch into is.
at some point.
Nah, but that's-
Michelle, it seems, cannot get every single turn 1 spot on. Federico
Yo,
getting
that
the
was
upper
too
end of this. Probably making the same play
What the
every
fuck?
single time, but paying off this time. Michelle not predicting the same thing for the 3rd time. There we go. The Basque Legion playing it extra safe. Does not want to take the grassy glide.
Okay.
Not the Archaladon here, just the Rillaboom instead to soak this up.
Nice play.
Sneasel now going for a protect, wanting to preserve itself for one more turn on the field. And
On-
Woodhammer coming
this is
off
gonna kill?
onto this Pelipper and knocks the Pelipper down
Oh,
to its
sash.
focus
Oh my
sash.
God.
Now, Pelipper, I wonder what we went for. Did it
I can't
go
believe
for
that brings it-
tailwind,
okay, it's
which then
offensive, though.
gives a speed advantage, and
Oh,
yes,
no, but the
Pelipper
tailwind's
going
up.
for the tailwind. Fantastic positioning of Federico.
Nah,
And now
Federico
Rillaboom
looks ready to
come
cook
back in
because at
and
this
start going
point,
for the fake outs.
Yeah, you
the
could just
Sneasler's
go
gonna
back out
die
Sneasler, and that's a
to-
KO.
to
Not
whatever,
like forget about
Woodhammer,
just flinching
Bullet
it,
Seed,
it would
whatever.
KO the Sneasler outright. And then Hurricane's going to be incredibly close if it would
Why
KO
would you
the
don't have
opposing
horsepower?
Rillaboom.
You're gonna miss,
But
gang.
then now the Pelipper's just in grassy glide
There's
range,
like
so you
there's
can
like no way
snipe
Michael
off
can win anymore.
pretty
There's an arch in the
comfortably.
back.
But then at the same
Yeah,
time,
facts.
there
Arch
is
is
a Pokemon
completely
that likes
free
to
because you
switch
can
into
bullet
grassy
seed the
glide, but
Sneasler slot, and if he
wants to
switches,
switch
then it's
into
over.
grassy glide.
And if
And
you
that
attack
might
the
be exactly
Pelipper
what
slot,
we're
you're gonna
seeing
give this shit a
Yeah,
+1
Pelipper
defense
going to withdraw.
anyways.
The Archaladon is coming back in.
Yo, the hard reads in
Federico
this
wants
game
to
were
once
out of
again
this world,
to get his Archaladon
especially
fully
this game
set
for
up
no
again.
reason.
Terrestrialization coming off. Which player
Shout out
is
my
it
boy
going to be?
Monty,
Must
long
be
time
Michelle,
no
'cause I
see.
don't think you
Sucker
want to.
Punch the
And
single
yes,
best
it's
evidence
going
of
to be
99% of
Terra
gamblers quit before they hit a big knee.
Sneasler. So
This was
Michelle
actually ridiculous,
must be very
though.
confident that the Sneasler is not going to be targeted. And did he get the call correct? So Bullet Seed now coming off into the Sneasler, so knocking it out before it even
Shout out
has
Sapphire,
the
having
chance
60
for
seconds per turn.
Michelle
I thought you only had
down
45
with his
seconds per
Terra
turn.
option and forced down to his final 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, you can see what Michelle was going for there. You need the Terra Stella boost to be able to knock out an opposing Rillaboom. With the Diaclaw, okay, that was not a grassy glide. That was a higher horsepower.
That shit did a lot,
into
though.
Pelipper. So
It's 45,
maybe the
right?
play
Yeah, it's
unnecessary
45,
to be
not
able to
60.
come back
Yeah.
into this game, but it might be a little bit too late at this point. Yes, that was good damage into that opposing Archaladon.
It's
but your
clipped,
only
it's
damage
clipped.
output now is this Rillaboom because Magmar again is the final Pokemon to be joining the field. You can redirect away any of those bullet seeds that can be coming out to be able to boost up the stamina of the Archaladon.
What do you do here? Do you just double attack the Rilla slot?
Yeah, you've
Even
taken
if-
so much damage on Michelle's side
even
of the
if,
field. You've lost 2 of your heavy
yeah, 'cause this is gonna do half.
as well.
Yup,
Ooh,
and
Rillaboom
then-
has got on the offense there. Like Rillaboom, high horsepower. That
I don't know
just
if
half
Electroshock
damage.
kills. I
That
feel like it
might-
doesn't,
that might
but
put it in
we'll
range
see.
of this +1 Electroshock.
Yeah, Archaladon and Federico side just off to a fantastic start.
Actually, I think it
Getting
does
now
kill.
That special attack boost at this stage, it's a really comfortable game for Federico. That, like,
Oh!
Not quite.
Magmar's
not
OP.
not the Magmar, but Magmar just not
Okay,
in a
Will-O-Wisps
happy spot.
the Rilla.
Going for a Will-O-Wisp, just trying to nullify any damage from
Alright,
this
so,
Rillaboom, but
okay.
I think at this stage, it's
So
a
Michelle's
little too
entire way
Yeah,
is
it
that
does
he
seem
has
like
to,
a high
but this only does
horsepower
like,
is going to be
yeah,
doing
it's
again
clipped now.
some noticeable damage, but that's now
Jeez,
+2
I understand
on
the
the
Wisp because he
Archaladon.
has to
It seems like it
let
would be able to
Rillaboom
survive
take
another one of those high
everything at
horsepowers
this
based
point.
on that damage, especially with the grassy terrain recovery. The Magmar's so low now, it's going to be in range of basically whatever.
Yeah, but
attack
Michelle
that
can win
Federico
if he
wants to go
crits
for. Even a
the
burn high horsepower
if he
would
crits
get it.
the
And then you get to electroshock
the
once again to boost yourself
Celesteela
even
or
further.
Chaladon.
Yeah, not to mention the Basque Legion is also Terra Grass. Federico
Oh, he's
has
bullet
not
seeding
gone for it,
himself
so he could just bring
to
that
stop
Basque
the
Legion out and then
possibility
go
of
for the
what?
last respect
Or to get
once
the
one of his
strongest
Pokemon
hit.
knocked out. Man,
Oh, yo, he's
Michael trying
crazy.
desperately to claw his way back into
Bruh.
Rillaboom going for that bullet seed to his own
Even less because of the burn now as well.
Yes. How was that one damage?
That's one damage.
Bruh,
Zero
he's
one
smart as fuck for
damage.
that.
Chaladon so,
Oh, he got it
so
now at this point.
comfortable
I mean, high
in this
horsepower was
position.
already
He's
not gonna
really
kill, but
free
now
to
it's
start
like,
spamming body presses,
this is to get the
electroshock.
strongest hit pop. I mean,
The
this is
rain
how he can get the.
This is Federico's match.
Yeah, but even if he clicked follow me with Magmar, it was over. It was over, even because even if you click. Oh my God, it lived.
Lives, but yeah.
Clicks wood hammer on the Rilla, but yeah, it's rap. Yo, this game was nuts. Yo, this game was hype. What the fuck?
This top 4 here instead of the wood hammer. That Magmar's not going to be able to do it.
Holy
Even
cow.
if it could break through this Rillaboom and the Archelodon, there's rain waiting in the back. So
Yo.
yeah, I think we summed it up pretty well. The turn 1
Wow.
would have been so decisive in every single one of these
Wow.
games. The sucker punch catching the Basque Legion twice. And then
Favorite
not
game I watched
catching it
today?
in
This is the
third
first game I'm watching
That
today.
gave way too much
My stream was
momentum
lagging, so it took me a
Federico
while to get
here.
started.
Magmar's gonna
But
try its best. It's going to OB.
oh, crit. But it's too late.
At least you KO the Archelodon. But Rillaboom should be
Damn,
able to wrap
bro,
this
that
up.
was one of them
Federico.
series though where afterwards you're like, I had
Well
fun.
done
Like I'm not
to
I'm not being
Federico
ironic
getting
here.
that turn
It was one of them. This is one of them ones where it's like,
Knocking it
I had a
out.
good time though.
Well done,
You know.
Federico, for advancing to the top 4 of the Gdansk Regional Championships.
Bro, the intro read was crazy. Yo, why is he staring into my soul? But the intro, the beginning attempt was too insane. Like actually too insane. I definitely understand Wave Crash a third time. And I definitely understand why Michelle thought after the first two, fuck it, it's too obvious, the switches. It was the CC on the thing that was insane. Is that not like insanely greedy? Because if you're already not sucker punching and you're going for Katao, the arch is going to take a decent amount. So is it not insane to have CC'd there? I mean, obviously if it worked, it's the greatest play of all time, but is because you're already going for one hard read with one mon. So going for 2 hard reads is like way too much. Like you're going too hard, isn't it? Oh man. Because if you're already going for the Katao, you're already getting off a lot of damage. Also, after the arch takes the Katao, assuming that's what he attacked into. Because we can't see his perspective, obviously, but
King Gambit turn 1. Federico getting it this time.
Yeah, Michael, maybe not quite brave to go for that, but let's go back into the masculine.
yo, this was still a sick game, bro. I'm like, yo. Nah, this was a cool one though. I actually really enjoyed this. This was fucking nuts. Like, bro, they were playing on like a different plane of understanding. This is some shit that I'm not even. It took me a minute to like. The problem is stamina boost can still put the game out of reach. Yeah, that is true. After I saw the craziest thing though was how Federico brought back game 1. After the beginning of game 1, I was like, he's finished. Like, it looked so bad. And then the Rilla did an amazing. Yo.
Michelle going so aggressive this turn and getting punished for it, and now Sneasel knocked out to its focus sash from this hurricane by the
Nah,
Pelipper.
nuts.
And what a fantastic turn 1 here for Federico, because now the Sneasel is going to be outsped by the Basque Legion. Basque Legion's just so free to start going for the wave crashes. Rillaboom coming in really fantastic for Michelle though, because now they can go for the grassy glide on the Basque Legion. In that range, it will get the KO, but Basque Legion, of course, can also go for that terrestrialization and make sure that it resists those
Nah,
grass.
this was really amazing. Or at least it was like beyond hype. Me and CTC had this conversation yesterday. He's like, IRL shit is so crazy hype. And I was like, yeah, dude, this shit is nuts. Seeing like a crowd and shit is so crazy. And even past like a crowd, it's just like playing the what's it called? Playing on cart is always really satisfying to see because Showdown is a hideous game. Like, objectively. Alright, I have this one next. I heard this is a crazy set. That's what my My friends told me this is a incredible set. Who just subbed me? Is it on Twitch? Let me go check on Twitch. My bad. I literally had to stop streaming on Twitch because my internet was so fucking terrible. Maybe I can go back to it now. Let me take a look. But yeah. This is what I was told. This one is crazy good. That's what I was told. But yeah, let's see. Don't worry, I have a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff here. So I'll try to hit as many as I can. Let's see. Give me a second though. Give me a second though. One second. My phone started lagging too. Everything lagging on this bullshit. Bruh. Anyways, who can give me the lowdown on these guys? My guys told me that Shiliang Tang is the best builder. And he's like the secret final boss. That's what my boys told me. They told me this guy's like the secret final boss. That's literally what they told me. They say he is literally the secret final boss of this shit. That's what they said. So that's pretty fire. That's a pretty fire, what's it called? Title to have. The secret final boss. Victor Medina's the best player never to win an event. Alright, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shiliang's understanding of the game is unrivaled. And Victor is consistent as fuck too. Dude, yeah, I love lore around it. I love lore going into stuff. I love knowing like who's who, what the backstory is, because otherwise it's like dry, you know? I gotta know the lore. I got to. Alright, but yeah. I heard yeah, I was told that this Shiliang Tang is like the greatest builder. Like, and all his teams always win. Damn. He the CTC of VGC? All his teams are hits? All hits, no misses? I already see some strong shit on here. I played a guy today with substitute protect Landers Eye on the ladder. That shit pissed me the fuck off. Landers Eye, sub protect. I was tight playing that shit today. I see Farid Giraffe here. I see he cut worlds with Grass Pawn. It's some new shit. Alright, bet. I'm excited to watch.
Has the opportunity to go for it here.
Alright, this is only in 360p. The video I'm watching, so apologies if the quality is a little bit lacking. But also, I went live on Twitch again. I think my internet stabilized after a bit.
But what an interesting matchup we have.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is the most
What year is this? 2024?
Matchup you could have had where you see
August?
they both have CowerX Ice Rider. It must be
Where did this take place? Oh, this is World Championship? Where does Worlds take place? Is it always California?
Shiliang Tang and his friends is the Tang gang, Justin Tang. They love running Rain, right? Shiliang, Rain, Kyogre, NAIC.
Where was this?
Now you have
Hawaii?
Pelipper, the NAIC hero, Pelipper on his team. But if you take a look at Victor's...
Alright, this is the worst quality ever given my stream, plus it's 360p, but we can still see it. Spiky Shield followed me. That's about what we would expect, right? This is like that Among Us type LARP, but it's strong. Rilla regular set. They're always AV in this bitch. Shout out Ancient Kazan for 28 months with the lieutenants. Thank you, boss. Last year was Honolulu. This year's Anaheim, and next year is San Francisco. Anaheim is when in August. I have a lot of friends going to that just to like link up. Not even like my friends that play VGC. Well, some of them are going, but I'm going to whatever event Emilio Forbes is going to. That's my hero. So whatever next event he goes to, I'm going to that. But you'll see me in due time. I'll definitely go to an event because I want to experience what IRL Pokemon is like, which I have never experienced. I wanna see what that's like. I wanna see people excited about Pokemon in real life. Like that's something I've never seen. Except for when my friends occasionally come over and we play Mons, but we haven't done that in a long time. So yeah, I need to see that basically. Even Joe told me, he's like, there's nothing like what I experienced in Milwaukee. That's what he told me. He's like, you have to go. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, dude, He's like, it's insane. And I was like, all right, bet. I'm definitely going to go. You being hyped for seeing your boys win. Dude, seeing Joe go to top 8 yesterday was like, bro did it. Bro did the impossible, bro. Like, shit was out of this world, bro. If I was there in person, I would have been ejected from the venue for getting too crazy. I would have been like, that's what the fuck we on. And they would have been like, yeah, you gotta go. They'd be like, you gotta go, bro. I'd have been like, my bad. That's literally what happened. I would have literally said word for word, you know what the fuck we on? Banned from the event immediately. I'm telling you, like, immediately kicked out of the event. Taken away by 2 6'5" bodyguards, I'm telling you. All right, anyways, this team is strong. We see some trick room action. Focus Sash or Shifu is pretty tough.
Squad, it is that Ogrepon corner.
Is this the same metagame as the one we just saw in this? Is this the same metagame?
Support Pokemon in the format.
Especially for
It's different?
trainers who have elected to pick Calyrex Ice Rider
One restricted. Oh, there's a fucking Calyrex. My
as
bad,
their
my bad.
restricted
Let me lock
Pokemon.
in. Let me lock
I
in.
feel
Let me
like
lock in.
Victor
Let me
is
lock in.
running a
Let me lock in.
very
Sorry.
standard
There's
expected
Calyrex on my
version of
screen.
this team with
Sorry,
a clear
sorry.
Amulet, Terra Fire to
No
make
shit,
sure
it's not the
Incineroar is not a
same.
problem for that Pokemon. You have the support of Booster Energy Raging Bolt to deal big
As if both of
damage,
the
maybe
both
clean
the
up
dudes in the
after
last
Trick Room.
battle were
But
about to
most
not bring.
importantly, thanks to the Ogrepon Cornerstone's sturdy ability, you have the opportunity to use Follow Me, redirect any attacks towards it, and then use Trick Room on either your Farigiraf or your Calyrex Ice Rider to give you the advantage at the beginning of a match.
Right, for sure. And Raging Bolt and Urshifu are just such strong Pokemon.
Yeah, my
They
best
almost
odds
feel
are
like
whenever a
having
new format
additional
starts, and
restricted
aka
on-
everybody has
on
had the
your
least
team,
amount of time to
especially
learn.
with that Booster
Because
Energy
I'm already gonna be a
impacting
scrub,
how
but
much
if everybody
damage
else is
Raging
scrubbed
Bolt
out too,
can
odds
produce.
going
It's
up.
gonna be a tough task. As you look at the other side, there is a Calyrex Ice Rider on Shiliang Tang's.
Me when I go for the handshake pre-battle and pull the other dude across the table.
But this is much different than the Ice Rider teams we've been showcasing throughout the weekend, Gabby, with the Rain core on his side of Urshifu Rapid Strike as well.
All right, let's see this. Weather Ball, Hurricane, Wide Guard, Helping Hand, No Protect, Boss. Landers in the rain, hitting the Scarf, Sandsear, Storm, even though you literally cannot make out what this says. You have to know it says Sandsear Storm, because what else is it going to be, right? Focus Sash with Close Combat, Aqua Jet, Detect, Surging Strikes. Bullet Seed, Loaded Dice. What is this for? Sash guys? And just because it's stronger than Cudgel? But no crit. No crit built in. So how come? What is this move? This isn't Protect. Is it? What is this? Right? What is this? This is Spiky Shield, so there's no... What is that? Can anyone make out what that said? Encore. Okay, thank you. I was like, man. Thank you. I was like, man, what did that shit say? Shout out Tonebreaker. Do you know the VGC lore where some guy pulled up with a Charizard X plush, but his team actually had a Charizard Y? What the fuck? No, but that's tough. That's some good LARP. That's some good LARP. He had a Charizard X plushie, but his team had a Zard Y. I would definitely go, Ref, do something. Ref, he used that IRL misdirection. I would have definitely called the ref and said, Ref, he's cheating. He's cheating. Oh yeah, that was before open team sheets. Shout outs to all of y'all in the chat, by the way, that are giving me all the information on this. Shout outs to Lily in the chat, who's been giving me a lot of updates on how this works. Shout outs to all of y'all that are knowledgeable about VGC, because I really have never tapped in except for like yesterday for the most part. Like, I'll watch the occasional so I've seen the occasional Smogon doubles OU, because that's in the same tournaments I used to play. Like the team tournaments I used to play in always would have doubles OU, but that's 6v6. So it's like a completely different kind of, I mean, it's still 2v2, but it's so different. Like the way it plays out is so different comparatively. And even then I barely understand 6v6 doubles. So for me, I think the hardest part of this, and I was talking about it with Joe, I was like, the hardest part to me of this would be picking 4 out of 6 and being confident in that 4. Because even when I was laddering today earlier, I was like, man, what am I gonna pick? You know? And it's like, even if even if like game 1 I won, I would be like, is this gonna work again if they already know? But the open team sheet definitely helps with that, because at least you can't get like surprised. Is open team sheet a Gen 9 thing? It is, right? It is, right? Because of the Terra and all that. Like, I mean, I don't know if they ever said why, but I know, right? Open team sheet. Yeah, okay. I like this though. I think it's dope. Because I never played with well, first off, I've always liked Team Lock, like a lot. One time back in the day, I hosted a singles tournament and I had the entire top 8. It was on one day, and I told all the top 8 finalists, this top 8 is gonna happen live in one day, and you have to lock all 5 of your teams in. And you can choose what order you want to bring them in, but you got to lock in all 5 and you can't switch it up. Just because I wanted to see what would happen if you force people not to counter team, kind of, and just kind of bring. Because you like VGC, you got to bring like some 6 that you believe in like no other. It's not like if you're playing one opponent and you just, counter team them. That's not how this works. So I like that a lot. If you want to win, just use GOAT Brian Hands. It has won every world championship. Also, Shilling brought Wo-Chan to NAIC, and Def would have won if he didn't get hexed. All right, we're tapping in for that. I need to see what the fuck Wo-Chan was on. Every opponent is usually trying to see what 4 Pokemon work best for handling the majority. Got it.
As a Pelipper and the Ogerpon Teal Mask, that's a nifty held item.
It's a
Also, my bros told me Japan is so good at this that. And BO1 in particular, that they have like their own thing going on. I don't know. I didn't ask him to explain, but that's what he told me. He said Japan is so good, especially at BO1, that they have like some of their own shit going on. Is that true? I gotta go watch some Japanese players too. But yeah.
Loaded Dice Bullet Seed Ogerpon Teal Mask. There is no Ivy Cudgel on that Pokemon, and I believe it's because the Bullet Seed will hit multiple times, and when you're looking at a
They have their
field
own
that has
tourneys that
so
don't
many
follow the other
Urshifu
region
Rapid
rules,
Strike in
copy.
format with Focus Sash,
Their
being able
Worlds
to hit it
qualifiers are
twice,
closed
3
team
times
sheet
with an
BO1.
attack Will break the Focus Sash
Damn.
and give you that opportunity to knock it out. It also has Follow Me and Encore, so definitely a more supportive Pokemon here, looking to redirect attacks.
Best
just
of one
like we
closed
saw
team
on
sheet is
Victor's
like
side of the
super
field.
duper
But
hard.
given that the rest of the team is a bit faster,
Somebody challenged me today earlier. Like it was just a challenge. It wasn't a ladder match. Probably because I tweeted out that I was laddering and I posted my ult, and so somebody challenged me, and they had Yon Dondozo plus Rilla plus Cosmic Power Eternatus, and it was BO1, and I got blown away. I was like, what's going on? The Eternatus kept clicking Cosmic Power, and I tried to fake out, but it had Cobra Cloak, and I was like, help! And then Rillaboom came in and started healing it up, and then Dondozo came in and started yawning it up, and I was like, help me please. Don't help the Dondozo, help me. But it wasn't even the Dondozo, it was the Eternatus. It was at +2/+2, clicking Sludge Bomb, doing 70%, poison and everything, but it didn't matter. I couldn't even inflict damage at that point. I was like, bro,
was a bit more powerful.
I'm
that
finished.
Landorus Incarnate
I was
with
completely
the Choice Scarf,
finished.
for example. I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised
it had
to see
Santoon
CPA
Ting Lu with
go for
Yondozo.
him entirely
Oh
in
my, I
terms
got
of a
beyond
strategy here and
finished.
just go for damage.
I was
Yeah,
cooked.
that Landorus Incarnate was an absolute menace.
I was literally
Prior
screaming, "Ref, do
regulations,
something."
Regulation F, it was about. You felt like it was a 45-50% usage Pokemon because of how powerful that sheer force is. But he doesn't have Life Orb, as you mentioned. It's Choice Scarf. So this Landorus is. It seems like more of a counter meta Pokemon, maybe counter Miraidon, counter Raging Bolt, because you're not getting the full power since it's not Life Orb sheer force. It's just the regular sheer force damage.
That makes sense.
Here we go into game number
I like
one
Scarf
of
Sandsear
this
Storm.
final
That's super
round of
dope.
Swiss.
Because
Two Cali Red
Sandsear Storm is
Ice
100 base
Riders
power,
facing
which is
off.
already
Two
stronger than
very
Earth
different
power.
approaches to the battle,
Then you already
and
have the
as a
sheer force
result,
boost,
two
and you're hitting both.
incredibly
And it can. Oh wait, no, it can't
different
burn
leads
because
with
you're sheer
Cali Red
force.
Ice
But yeah.
Rider
The fact that it hits both is crazy.
and Urshifu out on the field
Oh, so he led it. Okay.
for Victor, and Landorus Incarnate and the Urshifu for Shi Liangtang.
Yeah, who is going to be happy in Honolulu? These are some heavy hitters, of course.
Happy in
Calyrex
Honolulu.
Ice Rider is the slowest Pokemon on the field. That might be something that
Lagged for a second.
Victor.
Give me a second. Let me go back.
Yeah,
I lagged
who
for a
is going to
second.
be happy in Honolulu?
So he's gonna
These are
obviously
some
target
heavy
the
hitters. Of
Landorus,
course,
right?
Calyrex Ice Rider is the
Why is my thing lagging?
slowest Pokemon.
Oh. Why is it lagging at the same
These are
spot
some
every
heavy
time?
hitters. Of course, Calyrex Ice Rider is
Okay, we're good.
the slowest.
Okay, good. So
Pokemon
he does
on
clip the
field.
Landorus.
That might be
Okay.
something that
I was
Victor
gonna say.
is angling for, because you can try to twist those dimensions and have the advantage. But with two Urshifu on the field now, you have to worry about how those two Pokemon
Yo, what is going on? Why am I like, what is going on here?
speeds are trained.
First, though, we will get a U-turn into this Calyrex Ice Rider, giving Shi Liang the opportunity to pivot, and I like how he's immediately going for the pivot here. Given that the Landorus Incarnate will be taking super effective damage from a Glacial Lance, it
Oh, he's
also
taking.
would
I was
not
like, yo, did the game
appreciate
lag? But he was taking a
sticking
minute
around in
to
Trick Room.
pick
I
who
think
was coming
this is
in.
a very safe play.
This is
Feel
gonna
out how
die.
Your opponent is going to approach the
All right, man. What is going on here? What is going on here? I gotta put this bitch in 240. What is going on here? Why won't the video just play for me?
Trick Room. I think this is a very
What the hell
safe
is
play.
going on?
Feel out how your opponent is
Am
going
I-
to
am I losing
approach
frames
the
right now?
matchup,
No, my
and
frames
then
aren't even going
respond
down.
to the next turn.
And Incineroar will go into that spot, but Surging Strikes into Incineroar on the swap. Not necessarily a prediction, as both Incineroar
Wait,
and
Surging Strikes
Landorus
didn't even kill
Incarnate
this?
are weak to water.
This is
just
ungodly
a really
Pokemon,
smart
man.
play for Victor to target into that position. Rocky
What?
Helmet is the held item for the Incineroar, so that's going to do
Nah,
3
if I'm
ticks
Shi
of
Liang, I'm
damage
happy
onto
because I can
Urshifu,
just 2-hit
breaking that
KO
sash
now,
and
right?
actually
You can
doing
double
a
attack.
considerable amount of
Oh, he
damage.
went for
Now
Calyrex
Shi
double
Liang
hit.
will respond with the three critical
Wait, but this
hits
is a
of
good
his
trade.
own into Calyrex. Nowhere near
Oh.
enough for the knockout.
Because
however,
he already
so
got the
now it's
biggest
just up to
threat on the
Calyrex
field
going
weakened, and this is one of the.
this turn with a Glacial Lance.
This
Incineroar
is this
taking
even
a
gonna
lot of
kill
damage. It
Incineroar?
is resistant,
Oh, it
but
did kill,
is enough
even with
for the
Intimidate.
knockout
Ooh.
and the
Oh, and he
attack
crit. I was gonna say
No
45 is
trigger
not
was set
real.
up this turn though, so if Shi Liang
Ooh.
wants, now that the Calyrex Ice Rider has taken some
Yeah, but now he can
significant
just come right
damage
back
in
and
this
Sand Seer
previous
Storm
turn,
both, but he has
you
to
can
hit
go
both,
ahead
right?
and target it with
But
either
that's what I'm
Urshifu
clicking.
once again, or
Facts,
Landorus
facts. He got the-
to ensure that
he got the
you deal
chip.
damage. Now we did
Oh,
see
clear
that
amulet.
Shi Liang's
Okay, okay, thank you,
Urshifu,
thank you.
moved second that time around. I'm not sure if that's something that we'll have to watch out for again moving forwards. But if you're certain that
Yeah, just
the
get your
opposing
chip here on
Urshifu
Landorus.
is faster in this instance, I think you can safely target down that Pokemon with the Landorus. And again, another Surging Strike should do more than enough damage.
I feel like
to pick up the
Sand Seer
KO on
Storm is gonna
Calyrex.
destroy the
Yeah,
Urshifu,
Calyrex, as
right?
you mentioned,
Even if it's
you know,
spread.
It's already under half HP. We
It's
saw
way
how
too
much
strong.
damage the U-turn did on the prior
All right, man. Piece of shit
turn,
computer.
so it's something that Victor understands. His Calyrex is not necessarily safe on the field while Shi Liang's Pokemon are faster.
Exactly, and I think the one nice thing as well about going for that Surging Strikes first initially
Oh, he clicked
is that you
detect.
still get some chip damage down onto that Pokemon, even if the
So
Calyrex
double-
protect.
okay.
But no protect last turn, which
Wait, but
means
why?
it's certainly available for this turn.
Well, you can only protect against Landorus as the Earth Power goes into the Urshifu slot instead, so no damage coming out from Shi Liang's Landorus, and he is Choice Lock into the Earth Power. But of course, Calyrex is going to have to eat those.
Why did Calyrex protect too? Because we know just to scout. Okay. I don't, but why? But we already know. Shot to spin the block. We know that Urshifu was gonna get attacked. We know that for a fact because otherwise, Landorus is gonna die to Surging Strikes. So he has to attack. He has to attack that. We know that for sure. But why Calyrex? Okay. Okay. I mean, because I completely understand why Urshifu protected, because Landorus has to attack here in this spot, otherwise. But I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because even if he attacks, it doesn't change anything. It's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I guess also in case Sand Seer Storm gets clicked for some crazy reason, right? Then it's like
Unseen fists from Surging Strikes Urshifu.
because we know this is always protecting. Okay.
Just enough on that third hit for the knockout.
So
Oh, also because if Sand Seer Storm was clicked and this dies, then this, even though it detects, has to take the attack from Surging Strikes, right?
So no damage coming out.
Is that
from
why?
Shields
Just in
Landers, and
case?
he is choice locked into the Earth Power. But of course,
I feel like that's
Calyrex
plausible.
is gonna have to eat those
Right.
unseen fists.
All right, I get it
from
then.
Surging
All right, I
Strikes
get why
for
Protect
Shifu.
was clicked. I
Just
agree.
enough on that
I agree.
third
I
hit
agree.
for the knockout.
I agree.
So it looked like it was indeed the U-turn that made all
Think
the
he was
difference in
thinking
that
too long and
previous
locked in
turn.
Protect.
So good notes
Oh.
for Victor.
Okay.
To
But I
consider
definitely understand
when
why
we're talking
double
about
protect
game
was
number
clicked. At
2
first
in
I
the
didn't
set,
get it, but
because
now I
given
totally
that
get it. Because if you click
I think that
if
the
you click
Calyrex
Sanseer
is
Storm,
hoping to
then
get Trick Room
it's gonna
up a
it's like you
little bit
protected for no
sooner on
reason
in
with the
this matchup.
Urshifu. Or not
Because
protected
again,
for
if
no
you look at
reason,
how
but
these
it's
teams
taking
match up
damage
on
for no reason,
paper,
basically, right?
a little bit sooner on in this matchup. Because again, if you look at how these teams match up on paper, Victor's team it would be more suited to play in a Trick Room environment. But Xi Liang has been able to remove that threat from the field.
This is
It did
dope.
cost him the Incineroar, but I do think that the Incineroar's best positioning in this matchup is to face off against that Calyrex.
So Surging
That was a
Strikes
great
again
trade
clicked
for Xi
here.
Liang. And now you just have to get
Follow
some
me,
damage on
Ogre.
the field. Maybe break the Ogre Palm's
Okay.
sturdy ability so you can
Dude, this
get,
is where EVs come into
KO
play
there,
so
and
heavily
then
too.
see
We
what
got this
Victor brought into
Urshifu
the left
standing
slot.
off, but I feel
Yeah,
like
that
Urshifu
Ogerpon's
probably
gonna be
runs
really
max
crucial here
max
in
speed
game
more
one
often than
for
not, right? Since
Victor
Urshifu's
as
like
its
the
support
best mon
with
ever.
Follow Me being able to redirect attacks away from his own Urshifu. But now it's
Okay.
time to lock in the terrestrialization turn or game one
There's water?
for Victor. That's Terra Water going to be doing way more damage now with your Surging Strikes. And you have that comfort of knowing because Ogerpon can redirect the attacks away that your Urshifu is
Okay,
not
so Landorus
worried
should be
about
good to
getting
smoke
KO'd.
this.
Earth Power is a neutral hit into Ogerpon, but he does take that pretty well. And of course, you have Sturdy as the ability anyway, so no threat of being knocked out. But there's the Terra Water boosted Surging Strikes into the Landorus, and it's going to be a KO.
That was
Why did he Terra? Why did he Terra? Because we know it's gonna kill regardless. Is it because he probably didn't see a better Terra? Is that a possibility? Is that why he did it? Because we know it's gonna kill this regardless. So is it to cover opposing Terra? Okay. Okay. Because Landorus is Terra Ghost. Got it. Okay. But yeah, it makes sense too, because right there's no better Terra. You're not gonna Terra Rock in this battle. That's not gonna help you defensively. When one mon is clicking the special ground move and the other one is, I mean, I don't know what his last is obviously, but okay. -1 doesn't matter. It's clicking Surging Strikes. It crits, it goes through.
was more than a one-hit KO technically, but still enough damage to remove that Pokemon from the field. So great use of Follow Me from Victor there. Will trade.
Yeah, that was a great
Ogerpon
Follow Me.
for
You got the biggest
opposing
threat ever out the way.
but
Landorus
once
was looking
again,
scary.
We saw that opposing Urshifu on Victor's side of
Yo,
the
Landorus seems like a beast in this format. I mean, obviously Sanseer Storm is 80%, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's always gonna hit. That's gonna get you cooked if you think it's always gonna hit. Shout out to Assess the Threat. Appreciate you. That's why I was really impressed yesterday when we were talking about on my stream. Who was it? Riley Factura, who doesn't use inaccurate moves. Like that guy uses Stomping Tantrum over high horsepower even, which is like, I think that's like insanely impressive because, I mean, high power moves, you know what I'm saying? High power moves are a big deal. Sometimes you need the extra damage. A lot of time it's easy to click Draco, but making everything an accurate move and trusting your plays solely, that's some powerful stuff. Seriously. Yeah, that is some powerful stuff.
field move first. So really, assuming that Xi Liang doesn't have another speedy Pokemon in the back, maybe his own Ogerpon, you've put yourself in a great position to clean up this game number 1.
And Raging Bolt will swap onto the field for Victor as both of these trainers are down to their 2 final Pokemon in game 1. It's Xi Liang's restricted Calyrex Ice Rider coming in. Xi Liang's Urshifu cannot get out of this electric weakness on the other side because it is a stellar
Okay,
terror.
let's
So
try
Raging
and
Bolt
read
goes
what's
for
gonna
any
happen
attacks into
here.
that slot. It will be super effective.
You
So,
do
I
mention
think-
terrestrialization though.
Sorry, what's the item on the bolt? They're always AV. Is that what we're seeing here? Are they? Is this always the case with Raging Bolts? I feel like I've seen this bulky electric type. This bulky electric type is the GOAT of VGC. That's what it's. Oh wait, it was booster. Oh, I didn't even see it. My bad.
of the Yang's restricted Calyrex Ice Rider coming in. Shiliang's Urshifu cannot get out of this electric weakness on the other side because it is a stellar Terra. So if Raging Bolt goes for any attacks into that slot, it will be super effective.
You do mention terrestrialization, though. Raging Bolt cannot.
Yeah, I would double attack the Rex, right? Yeah, yeah.
And as of
Yeah,
right now,
just like
Calyrex
Shiliang did in the
Ice Rider
beginning.
on Shiliang's
Oh!
side of the field is at full health and will continue to be at full
Oh,
health.
greedy
I think all
greedy
Shiliang
play,
needs
trying to
is
hit
the
him
opportunity to get some
with
damage
the
down on
bolt.
that
But this
Pokemon.
is still gonna do what,
Shiliang
half?
Also protecting in front of an Urshifu. We've seen it 2 times now in this first game. The Unseen Fist ability putting in so much work for both of these trainers, bringing Shiliang's Pokemon down to half.
Okay, this is good though. The
Here's
Urshifu had to
close
go. The
combat into
Urshifu had to
Victor's
go.
Urshifu, and that will be enough for the knockout.
Wow, that was that was huge. Cause now, oh whoa.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's gonna
those
be.
defense drops to get
Wait,
rid of Victor's Urshifu.
I feel like
Now
Bolt.
it's all
I feel like
down
Bolt has
to
it.
The Raging Bolt in a 1v2 scenario against Shiliang's
This is gonna be
Pokemon.
crazy.
Winning this game is going to be so crucial. Draco Meteor only 90% accurate, but goes into Protect anyway. Not
Yeah,
matter.
so we know
I know
Bolt.
you were gearing yourself up
Oh
for
man,
it,
so
dude.
so
I was
what?
like,
So now we know that Terra is happening here
Yeah.
from Shiliang,
I
right?
know. I feel like my heart always.
It's probably your
skips a beat
Shifu
when
Terra,
it's
right?
like, okay,
Because you
where's
probably
the
already
target?
died a
Is
Thunderclap
that
at this
me?
range.
That
You
is
might
not
as well
going to
take the
attack?
Terra.
No, that
And
was
the
a really
Rex
great
is
turn
what,
there from
ice- not
Shiliang,
ice
and
fire
now we get
Terra,
to
or
see
what?
The reveal of the stellar terrestrialization as
Oh,
well.
Terra.
On his Urshifu,
Okay, okay,
and
okay. So
I
CC is
love
gonna do
the
a shit
stellar
ton,
terrestrialization
especially with the
adaptation that
1.2x.
many trainers made coming into this tournament. Because
this is
in
gonna do like
situations like
65,
this,
70%.
Yes, you only can boost every attack type once per game.
What?
This is where it counts. That
That's
did so much damage.
Essentially
What?
an adaptability boost onto that close combat, doing massive amounts of damage. Draco Meteor will
this is so
respond
hype.
with the KO into Shiliang's end. So you do have a -2 special attack.
But now Aqua
Raging
Jet
Bolt
kills.
with the
Yo,
rise
that was
of
yo.
features. But of course, Shiliang's Urshifu is faster anyway and has his own priority.
Oh,
Aqua Jet
wow, that
will
was
have to
awesome.
handle
That was
these
an
10
awesome
hit
ending.
points, and Shiliang's gonna win game 1.
Oh, he locked it down well.
A fantastic end game.
That Stellar won the
there
game.
by
That Stellar
Shiliang.
won. Without Stellar, he's gonna die to Thunderclap next turn. Unless, of course, he Aqua Jets like 12 times and outplays the. Whoa. Yo, that Stellar was dope.
Nerve-wracking in
Whoa,
that
that
final
was
turn.
cool.
I
That
think
was
trying
really
to
cool. I
determine
like that a
if your
lot.
opponent would try to go for a Thunderclap, maybe to pick up the KO on the Urshifu.
All right,
or
let's
target
try and analyze now. Let's try and analyze. So Landorus let off last time and clicked U-turn immediately on the thingy, but that could be a risky play, right? If this was to click protect in the second game. So what if? Well, we already know.
down the Calyrex
We already
Ice
know
Rider.
Urshifu's
As
gonna be leading off from both
of
sides.
those Pokemon were
They're both
capable of
sashed.
cleaning up that
That's a
game.
great
But
lead into
Shiliang
both
correctly
teams.
making the call there to go on the offense
Yo,
with
that
huge
Stellar
close
Terra was
combat
really cool though,
into
and
the
like
opposing
because he needed the
Pokemon,
damage,
save
you know.
the Calyrex Ice Rider for the next turn, at which point
The protect
Aqua
on the
Jet
thing
plus
was
any
amazing,
attack,
too.
depending on what that Raging Bolt would have picked.
Oh, the game already started,
locked in that KO.
or what?
Now I'm wondering on.
Oh no, this is. Oh, they're
on
showing back the
Shiliang's
first
end
game. I was like,
because
oh.
He was able to preserve the Calyrex.
But yeah, this
so
was the
much
big. This
later
was
on.
that was the big play, right? In the
Here's the close combat into
Not going
adaptability.
in situ-
nah, clicking protect with the Rex was the clutch ass play at the end because if he attacks here, he's gonna kill the Rex next turn. So that was really just like it really came down to the literal final turn, huh? Because if he attacks Shifu here, but he gets Glacial Lance, he knows he loses. Tough play. Tough play.
To that close combat, doing massive amounts of damage. Draco Meteor will respond.
Beastly
with the
protect.
KO into Shiliang's end. So
Damn.
you do have a -2 special attack. Raging Bolt with the worries of speed tiers, but of course Shiliang's Urshifu is faster anyway. And has
Nah,
his
that
own
was crazy
priority.
cool.
At the same time, that if you're Victor, do you kind of steal that strategy? And
Yo,
and
that was
don't
such a
let your
clutch
Calyrex Ice Rider
end.
get knocked
Bro,
out
I would be so like, man.
as early as it did. in
Especially with the
game
low
one.
timer, man.
You know,
Jesus.
looking at these teams as well, I do have to wonder if Shiliang even wants to try and go for a trick room approach. I don't think he does, and I think Victor, while it would have given him a bit of an advantage if he had brought different Pokemon to that game number one, given that he led with the Urshifu, we also saw the Ogerpon, the Raging Bolt. Those are all naturally fast Pokemon.
I cannot
think
believe CC did as much
that
as
if
it
you're
just did
confident-
there. Why is my... It's not even like I'm lagging. It's like my OBS. It's my monitor that's
You can-
lagging. It's not that I'm lagging. It's my monitor.
Make the call in team preview. Like, I don't want to go for
It's
Trick Room
not an
this
internet
time.
thing. I don't know why this is happening.
That
now,
all
but
being
whatever.
said, I do know that some trainers preparing for the World
You
Championships.
liking VGC?
were actually
I
looking
love
at
watching.
running-
Like watching this shit is so entertaining because it's like I literally cannot call the majority of the plays, but like by the time we get to game 3, I'm like starting to understand more and more. I love that first set though. That Federico versus Michal was absolutely incredible. That was so exciting to watch. I gotta watch these live. I gotta watch all these live. These are tough. And shout out to Jacob in the chat. Yeah, dude. Shout out to Milwaukee. That the venue and everything looked so good too. It looked like a good ass time. And also, you have to know your calcs off your dome. Not allowed to have them in person. That is one thing I'm really solid at least. Like you guys know me. Whenever I play, I very rarely calc. Like I know all the calcs by heart. So I think I would at least be able to be pretty good at that. But level 50 is completely different, right? On average, level 50 you do a lot more damage. Do we know an exact like percentage? Someone probably has done the math by now, right? As to what how much more damage do you take in level 50 than level 100? What's the math? Like on average, what's the math there? Let me Google this. VGC, how much more damage in level 50 than 100? Let me see. Like I've always been told like yeah, it does more damage, but I want to know like but how much? It's like 2% more compared. Really? It's only really? I thought it was like a lot more. I thought it was gonna be like 10% more on average. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that's true. The EV spreads are always slightly different. It's not like it's a bunch of 252 stuff. People really Okay.
more neutral speed Calyrex Ice Rider or even invested
Copy.
speed Calyrex Ice Rider, specifically for situations like this. And given how quickly we're jumping into game number 2 here, I think both these trainers have their game plans ready to go.
All right, well, Victor's hopes of making
Bro. Monitor. Stop this. Give me a second. I paused it.
top cut here in
Yeah, this is like a okay.
Honolulu are on.
Game plans ready to go.
All right, well, Victor's hopes of making top cut here in Honolulu are on the line as he is down a game to Shiliang 10.
Alright, so we knew they were gonna lead Urshifu. We already knew that though, because they're both sashed. Nothing too crazy. Leading Incineroar this time is a fire because Shiliang already did this last game where you turned out. But I guess it could have got dicey if this thing clicked protect or whatever. So completely gets rid of that from the equation and leads off with this. This is clear amulet though, so I guess the intimidate doesn't mean anything. But still, that's solid for him, right?
With the lead of Incineroar or Shifu. This time, Incineroar can't take a bunch of damage on the swap in.
I would Surging Strikes on the Incineroar, even though it's helmet. Actually, that doesn't just that makes sense. To take the damage again. I think you still kill it though and go for Glacial Lance.
Because it's already on the field.
It is already on the field, but that does mean it is also
Terra Water, so
threatened by
that
the
it for
presence
sure
of
kills
the
it.
Opposing Urshifu. So Shiliang does have access
Right,
to Fake
right,
Out
right,
for
because
this
we knew last
turn,
time it did
but will have
80%.
to look towards that Pokemon to stop it from getting a really one-turn
Nice.
knockout. At which point the Calyrex could go for Trick Room, could really do what it wants in this situation.
Victor going for the Terra straight up.
So
on
he's
turn
predicting
one,
no
waiting
fake
a
out,
couple of
basically.
turns. The last game.
Bro, why is this lagging for me, bro? Bro. About to get tight, bro. Give me a second. Let me pause all my other sources. See what the fuck the issue is. Okay.
Victor going for the Terra straight up on turn 1. Waited a couple of turns the last game to, kind of see
Oh, so
the
there was no
situation.
fake out.
But here's the Terra Water surging
Oh my
strike
God.
right into that Incineroar.
So
You
either
know, there's no
didn't
citrus
expect
berry, it's
fake,
the Rocky
didn't expect
helmet
the
on this
terror
time.
that
So
would kill,
Shiliang, is
and
he
didn't
willing
even
to
want to
trade
spend a
these
turn
3
faking out.
ticks
Holy
of
cow.
damage from Rocky Helmet to lose the Incineroar? Remember, no fake out.
Oh
on
my
that
God.
turn either. Technically, the 3-hit, 1-hit KO. However you want to determine it. Always a fun discussion. But regardless, it leads to Incineroar getting knocked out on turn 1 without really doing anything beneficial for the Shiliang. Now Urshifu's going to respond with his own surge.
Nah, this looks
The big
already
question
terrible
here,
now.
though, is what
For
strategy is Victor going to take moving forward with this Calyrex, as the Incineroar
I mean,
was
both these
one of
guys are
the
at half,
best
but
answers
Sanseer's
to
not
this
gonna kill
Pokemon
the
in game
Earth
number
Power's not gonna
1.
kill Rex
Going into
either,
this
and this is gonna
game
do
number
30
2,
something,
we see a
right?
single target glacial
Oh my
lance
God.
into a
Oh,
lot of
single
damage
target.
to
Okay, that makes
opposing
sense why I did like
Urshifu, but
35.
Victor once again indicating that he is confident for going Trick Room
Has to go
on
land
a
it,
turn that
okay.
otherwise would have been a very easy opportunity for him to go for that.
That's right, Gabby. 2 game ones or turn ones in a row has not clicked the Trick Room, instead going for the Glacial Lance. Now Choice Scarf Landorus Incarnate
Okay.
comes onto the field. Can only lock into one thing. Do you try to prioritize the U-turn damage? We saw how much it did to Calyrex.
I feel like I would
Sand
Sandseer Storm as Landorus and double attack the Rex with Surging Strikes plus Sandseer Storm. That's what I think I would do. But maybe doesn't want to risk clicking Sandseer. But I think that's what I would do, because otherwise you're going to lose Landorus, right?
So Rillaboom will swap onto the field in
Yeah, okay, exactly. Exactly, okay, okay, that makes sense.
Not the easiest thing to do.
Right? But yeah, that's for sure the right play. Okay, okay. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm locked in, and it's the most obvious play he has to make. But nah, that is really okay.
On the opposing Calyrex to ensure that KO.
God, Sandseer Storm would have me shitting my pants in terms of like, oh man, I lost today. I got 4-0'd because the dude Bleak Wind Stormed and just killed everything on the field. But yeah, jeez.
And while Sandseer Storm isn't the most accurate move, it is Landorus Incarnate Form's only opportunity to go for double target damage, as
makes
they
sense.
are typically trained in special attack, as opposed to the other form, which will run physical attack, rock slide, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
That's nice though. He gets to keep the Urshifu in the back too. Okay. This is pretty nasty now for Shiliang. I think he's cooked because this Rilla's a big ass threat too. Already knows because of the open team sheet that this is a Scarf Landers too, correct? So it's like, this is pretty nasty. This is pretty difficult stuff, right? How do you respond here?
Love though how Shiliang
I think you protect your Urshifu so you don't die to Sandseer Storm, because Shiliang knows that he's not gonna lose his Landers here. So I think you protect,
again is
and I think you would hammer the Landorus.
prioritizing knocking out that Calyrex Ice Rider initially to open things up for presumably once again his own Ice
Nah,
Rider.
we on the same wave. We on the same wave.
Victor feels really confident with the Rillaboom.
Yes, sir. I know. See, one thing, if I got the lead in the game, I know how to go from there.
Can't Terraslize out of it because of Stellar Terra.
Yes,
And
sir.
Landorus is choice locked into Sandseer Storm, so you're not threatened by Sludge Bomb whatsoever. Shiliang would actually have to swap out to reset its
Bree.
attack.
I'm gonna shoot this monitor.
You're not threatened by Sludge Bomb whatsoever. Shiliang would actually have to swap out to reset its attack.
And if it is indeed the Calyrex
Bree.
Ice Rider in the back of his party, I don't think he wants to risk making that switch and taking any damage in the process.
Rillaboom does get hit by the Sandseer Storm, but remember, because of the sheer force ability, there is no secondary effect
Very
from
true.
the Landorus. Urshifu on Shiliang.
Dang, so
and
even with
will
Detect, it
knock
still
out
died.
its counterpart, so
Holy
Victor's
cow.
Terraslize Pokemon has been knocked out here in game 2, but it's up to
Oh my God.
Rillaboom
I didn't think it
on
was gonna
this
die.
side. Urshifu, because of the sheer force
Oh wait, no, it was a
ability,
half.
there is-
Us.
Rillaboom does get hit by
Wants to risk
But should he
making
just have
that.
Aqua Jetted then
Sludge
instead
Bomb
of Detect?
whatsoever. Shiliang, Landorus is choice locked into Sandseer Storm, so you're not threatened by Sludge Bomb whatsoever. Shiliang would actually have to swap out to reset its attack.
And if it is indeed the Calyrex Ice Rider in the back
maybe
of his party,
Thorilla
I
was
don't
gonna
think
get
he wants
targeted.
to risk making that switch and taking any damage.
Was the best play to Aqua Jet? Is that like the cover all? I mean, Jet plus Glide. I don't know if it kills Landorus. He was playing on Urshifu, protecting for Glide. Fake out. Lando plus Aqua Jet.
in the process.
Rillaboom does get hit by the Sandsear
Sandsear
Storm, but
Storm is
remember,
nice,
because of
nice
the
chip
sheer
though.
force ability, there is no
Still did a good
secondary
amount to
effect
the
from the
Rilla. Can't be
Urshifu
mad.
on Shiliang's end will knock out its counterpart. So Victor's terrestrialized Pokemon has been knocked out here in game 2, but it's up to Rillaboom on this turn. Which of the 2 Pokemon on Shiliang's end did he target? That's a Woodhammer with a grassy terrain boost into the Landorus for a
What?
1-hit KO.
And that was the Pokemon he needed to knock
That
out.
extra 2%, that extra 2% from level 50 be hitting. What? Oko. What? No way. What? I mean, I get it, because Woodhammer in terrain is effectively 156 base power, but I guess I've never seen this calc in my life, because there's no Lando I in OU. Sheesh. No, but I thought it would do like 95. I thought it would live with like 1 HP or something like that. Good God.
Out if he's worried about the possibility of Raging Bolt succeeding in the future of this game. Sandsear Storm would have done so much damage. It is actually the Ogerpon in the back of his party, but still, Sandsear Storm, an incredible attack against this Pokemon in particular. You still have the Grassy Glide available for the opposing Urshifu, but now you have the opportunity to go for a Rock-type Ivy Cudgel against the opposing Calyrex
All right, let's see.
Ice Rider. There's still a couple of tricks up Shiliang's sleeve, though, that he could fall on here. One thing in particular, we have not seen Shiliang terrestrialize yet, and this Calyrex Ice Rider is actually
1v1. It's looking pretty good though.
Terra normal.
For
if you were running the standard
Victor.
Terra Fire Calyrex Ice Rider in this position, you'd still be taking super effective damage from that Ogerpon.
right,
You
you
can
can't
at
even
least
click
reduce
Terra
things
Fire.
to a neutral hit.
Ogre's a nice
This will
pick.
Sort of
Ogre goes
open
crazy
things
into
up a little bit
Shiliang's
more,
team,
but
honestly.
Still, Victor has found an out here to chase to bring us to a game 3.
Yeah, I think that Terra Normal here we're going to see from Shiliang can be crucial because it was set as a Calyrex Shadow Rider counter, but really it's benefiting Shiliang right now.
Yeah, this is actually really
against
nice because the usual Fire Terra would have got blown up by Cudgel. Well, Fire Terra is what I saw yesterday.
Victor's
I don't know if that was
team making
I didn't know if
those
that was
hits
the
neutral instead of
usual.
super effective. Aqua Jet doesn't do too much
Bro,
damage.
even no, I feel like even Jet did a lot, bro.
Team
Given
making
Ogre
those
has like a
hits
passable
neutral
defense.
instead of super effective. Aqua
Shit
Jet
was
doesn't
so
do too much
annoying.
damage to the
This is gonna do
Ogerpon,
half,
but the
right?
Power Whip into Calyrex
So
brings it down under
strong,
half
bro.
HP.
Nice
Both
double
of these
attack.
grass
All right, so that's a
types
win
are
for
taking advantage of
Victor.
the grassy terrain, and that's another KO for Rillaboom.
Awesome.
Victor, following what Shiliang did earlier on in this game, double targeting the opposing Calyrex and opening
that was
up
really
the
strong.
door for him to
That was really
stay
strong.
in this competition.
And what's it called was
Two
the best
grass
pick
types
ever.
against an Urshifu.
Ogre.
Even if it could use its stellar terrestrialization,
That Landorus is
it
a
does
gigantic
not
threat.
have enough damage
This
to
AV
take
really
down
helps a
these
lot.
two Pokemon.
Yeah, that is
Sheesh.
the absolutely crucial play of this game was Rillaboom one-hitting Landorus.
I'm still
because
so
once
shocked
Sludge
at
Bomb is
that
out
one
of the
hit.
game,
Makes me
you
want to pull
don't
up the
have
calc
to worry about
and see what that
threatening
is.
Rillaboom anymore.
I mean, I
You
assume
can
it always
sit here
kills 'cause
and use those grassy terrain
Rilla's so
boosted
strong,
Woodhammers,
but still.
and at any point now it's just your Shifu. You can
You know
even
what?
click Grassy
I'm
Glide
pulling up
if
the
you
damage
want.
calc. I need to
still
see
have to-
this in a level 100 versus level. I need to see this from like a level 100 to level 50 standpoint. I'm mad curious about this. It's not banded. Alright, so doubles OU assault. Well, this is doubles OU, but whatever. Level 50. Whatever, just Landorus. 93 to 110. Okay, so it's a roll straight up, right? Okay. I was going to say, there's no way. I made them both 50, right? Okay. Okay. It was 176. I was going to say, I was just like, I mean, okay, so it can definitely OHKO. It has more of a chance to OHKO, but I was like, it has to be a roll or something. So they don't run max attack. So if it was 176, it's probably like a 40% chance to kill. Oh, 31%. Okay. Terrain's up. Is my terrain not up in the calc? Ooh. It is up. It literally says right here in grassy terrain. Oh, wow. I mean, I get it though. 62 if max attack, 26. But I mean, or rules are part of the game. I'm just curious what the difference is from level 100. That's what I really want to know. 62.5% versus 56.3. Okay. So really it is a negligible difference like you guys told me. Yeah. Okay. 25% chance to kill if it had at level 100, but if it was level 50, then it would have a 31.3%. Okay, yeah, you guys were right. It's like extremely marginal. I was just curious. I had to do the math for my own stake, that data collection.
To be a little bit careful here with how you approach things just to be safe. However, Victor will
That was an awesome
indeed
game.
win that match thanks to the forfeit from Xiliang Tang. And we're getting a game number 3 in this final round of Swiss at the World
Okay, so now they're
Championship.
thinking, dang, he looks pressed. I think if he leads Rillaboom, it's not bad because you can fake out the Incineroar lead if Xiliang does that again. But also, it just has a good matchup into everything, right?
That's all we can ask for, Gabby.
Maybe I'm wrong, though.
Honestly, game 3s are so intense.
Yeah, game 3s are so intense. We saw that Wave Crash Basket Legion work on the game 3. Data
Well,
collection.
since the matchup is so close. Just like you said, it was the Woodhammer into that Landorus Incarnate that gave Victor Mendina the opportunity to fight back. Xiliang could have very easily made a switch there or otherwise tried to stop that Rillaboom from finding
This
that
pretty hype,
alignment.
though.
I think going into game number 3, you have to respect that threat from
But
your
yeah,
opponent.
I'm thinking he can lead off with Rilla.
As the
'cause
Landorus Incarnate
you can
was
trap the
a
you can
huge
stop the
important
Incineroar's
Pokemon
fake
for
out,
Xiliang.
and then
I don't think you necessarily can
I don't know what
comfortably lock
the
into
next
Sandstorm
side should be.
Storm,
Probably just
especially
Urshifu
knowing
again
that
though,
your
because
opponent had 2 Grass-type Pokemon
we
in
know
the back.
Xiliang is probably
So
bringing
going into this
Landorus
game
every
number
time
3,
since
I'm really
it
curious if we're
can,
gonna see
you know,
Xiliang try and
hit
preserve
Calyrex
that
hard.
Landorus.
It can
So
hit
that Sludge
Urshifu
Bomb
really
is
hard.
available
It's the
when you need
fastest
it.
mon
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
field
Landorus
between all the
Incarnate is in
Pokemon
such
here.
a difficult position because it is absolutely crucial to Xiliang's success in this set. And the issue is if it goes
That was a
down,
nice game.
you're kind of losing a lot of the checks into Victor's team. There is the chance Ogerpon
Lando lead
Steelmask
exists.
doesn't mind taking
I don't think he's
grass
gonna lead
attacks, right?
Landorus
It
though
takes
because
time for
game 1
Landorus.
Landorus lead was so difficult. He had to U-turn on the Rex, and if
As
he
a
got
grass-type Pokemon, so we'll see if there are any
oh shit,
adjustments
okay.
in this crucial
Hey, yo,
game
he
three.
did lead Rilla. Write that down. Write that down. He must have heard my advice.
Winning in for top cut of the World Championships. Urshifu
I don't know what
Rillaboom
you
for
click here, though.
Victor, and Incineroar Urshifu for Xiliang.
That Incineroar loves connecting the Intimidate against
This is a
the
spicy-
Rillaboom.
this is a spicy
Also,
turn.
seeing the
We're gonna see fake out on
turn one
thing. Okay.
from Victor
Interesting,
will help
interesting.
Xiliang pivot a potential Landorus Incarnate in the back a bit more correctly. Both these trainers have access to
fake out the
this
Shifu
turn. I
turn
wouldn't
one,
be surprised
expecting
if
the
we just see
attack.
2 fake outs thrown in the Urshifu's directions, just because that will stop them from attacking for this turn and then give you a little bit more time to figure
both
out
dudes,
this
both dudes
landscape.
fake out
Also
into
break
the
focus sashes
thing would be
as well,
crazy.
so that's something that these trainers have to be worried about. Do you
Does
protect
Xiliang even have
on
a
this
switch
turn,
into
trying to
Rillaboom
preserve
and that
against
monster?
Fake Out? That's
But then again,
the
fake out
perfect
is so
provides.
Exactly.
is
and
so
then you add an
guaranteed
additional
almost from
mind game
Rilla,
on top of
right?
that of,
Because
well, if I think my opponent is going to use Detect
I don't
this
know.
turn,
I don't know.
could try and target down my own Urshifu's attack into that Pokemon. So I think the safest play is to just click fake out into the opposing Urshifu and try and power things through.
so we
But
see a
Xiliang,
switch
I think
into who?
maybe, assuming the fake out was going in that direction, making a switch.
Okay.
Let's see. There is the Ogerpon Teal Mesh, the hero.
Oh, wow,
of the
Insta-Terra?
DLC.
Okay.
From Kitakami to Honolulu, Xiliang brings Ogerpon
Grass Terra?
out, and it's Terra Grass Incineroar.
Oh,
for
that-
Xiliang
well, that
in this
checks
game. So
everything.
completely swapping up his strategy.
Yeah,
from the
that
first two
completely
games of this
that
set.
completely checks
Opens
everything.
fake out,
Nice
goes towards
switch.
Ogerpon on the swap in. That doesn't matter since
Oh,
it's on
no.
tap. And the surge
Yo,
is
that was a
grass
beast.
type. Resistant.
Ooh.
Rocky Helmet's gonna do more damage than
Nah,
Surge
going real.
Strikes.
I mean, going
Great
Ogre was so
adjustment
good.
from Xiliang because his terrestrialization in game number 2
Oh,
ended up
no.
not helping him win the board state. If his Incineroar was able to hold on, break the focus sash thanks to Rocky Helmet, and
Oh,
honestly
man.
do more damage to the opposing Urshifu. and
Goob, the Urshifu's done now.
Burns the Urshifu.
Ooh, this is a nasty, nasty
Already
start.
half HP, gonna take
Oh,
even more
no.
recoil
Oh,
from
that was
the
a-
burn.
oh, that
As
was a
great
great-
of a turn one as Shilian could
I
possibly
like
ask
Julian
for.
kept keeping Terra for the
This
end that I
Incineroar
even
is ready to
forgot
go
that
on the
he
offense.
had
Honestly,
Terra
could try
in the
and
last
connect
game
with
until
a
he clicked
Will-O-Wisp
it.
against the opposing
He was
Rillaboom
playing.
as well. If that
He
Pokemon
played
switches
under.
out
He
to the
underplayed it and then
Calyrex Ice
overplayed.
Rider,
He
it won't be
insta Terra'd
able to
here,
terrestrialize.
and the
If
dude
you
was
land
so
a bird
used to
against
surging
Ogerpon,
striking
it's gonna
the
have its
the
attack.
Incineroar off the
There
rip.
is so much
That now it's like, oh man. I mean, Rex is pretty scary, but
opportunity for
now you can just bully the Urshifu slot.
Incineroar,
Rex is still a big
thanks
threat
to
though,
that grass-type
but as long as
terrestrialization.
Urshifu's in the back, Rex can't OHKO
The
everybody
opposing Ogerpon
in one
as
hit.
well could throw a bullet seed into the opposing Urshifu,
Ooh.
and regardless of what Pokemon comes in, that is
Hard
damage.
Rex. Got it.
Shiliang has so much momentum in this position.
Okay. So I'm gonna assume expects the Rillaboom set to get double attacked, seeing as Urshifu does no damage, so didn't want each mon to get picked off one by one.
Right now.
And the beauty of Ogerpon Tiamat on the other side as a grass type with Follow Me is that you're not able. Oh, actually, he's encoring it into
Oh,
the
no.
figure. Encore, the tech that Ogerpon has used, it's probably helped Shilian get to this
Completely
position.
forgot.
Now Rillaboom is locked into fake
Oh
out, and
no,
it's
everybody's getting it.
Rillaboom's attack will be halved for the remainder of this match. Rillaboom also can't do anything.
I mean, Rillaboom is already bad into these two, but now it's like
thanks to
super
that encore.
duper
A
bad.
Great play there
It's
from
basically
Shiliang.
just slowly,
The way that those speeds
like
hit
OHKOing each Pokemon. Because once you burn these, they're not doing no damage, so they're
Encore
basically dead,
on the
dead weight.
Ogerpon Teal Mask. It
Oh,
is not
no.
a Pokemon with Prankster like you typically see on Whimsicott.
How the hell is he
So you
supposed to
have
win from this
predict that
position
your
if he has to
opponent
keep
is
on
not gonna go for
switching?
Grassy Glide, a priority attack, at which point you would lock
Dude,
them into
how does he
that
fight
move.
back from this
Now,
position?
Mind you, not the worst move to lock a Pokemon into in this board state.
So switched
but
out
still, the fact that it was fake
into
out
his
that got
own.
encored is such a punishing move.
Oh my god.
In Shiliang's
Well, he has to
case.
switch out regardless, but yeah,
Because that
damn.
essentially means Rillaboom is useless. It is forced to swap out on Victor's end. This is
Yeah, so he forces the switch. That's like a guaranteed you have to switch.
information Shilian can take advantage of. You know, there's only one.
Yo, this
potential
grass palm is cooking.
coming from
I mean, not grass palm,
Victor's
this
end
grass
of the board this time.
Incineroar.
But it's
I mean, the
time to
grass palm is also
terrestrialize in game
cooking.
3, and Victor bringing his restricted. It's going to be Calyrex Ice Rider, the most important
Terrifier.
Pokemon turning into a fire type.
Not bad, not bad.
There still is that water type Rapid Striker Shifu in the back of Shiliang's party, though.
But even
so-
water type Urshifu can't OHKO Rilla, so it can Woodhammer back for like a shit ton of damage. So it's not the end of the
While
world
this
yet.
Calyrex may have
Parting
escaped,
shot is a crazy,
not only just
has a crazy
parting
design,
shot, thanks to the
a
clear
crazy
amulet,
animation.
but the threat of Will-O-Wisp as well. This is the perfect opportunity for Shiliang to send in a Pokemon.
Oh my goodness. Monitor. Let me take a look.
Thanks to
Okay.
the clear amulet, but the threat of Will-O-Wisp as well. This is the perfect opportunity for Shiliang to send in a Pokemon that can deal that super effective damage.
Yeah, he does have. We do see that is revealed now that Shiliang has revealed all 4 Pokemon.
All right, Shifu come
that
back
the,
in.
Landorus was not brought in this battle. It was the Ogerpon Teal Mask replacing it for the crew. Glacial Lance will connect onto both, breaking the focus sash, not doing too much damage to the opposing Calyrex on the other end. But Ogerpon
because you're
Cornerstone
here.
crucially still has its sturdy intact and can follow me away. The attacks away
This
from
is-
this
this is getting
Urshifu
bad.
that would be threatening Calyrex.
It's a tough prediction to make here. I do think that there's benefit for going on the offense with Victor with both of these Pokemon because you know the opposing Urshifu would be faster than your Calyrex.
That's right, Rocket
your
Ice!
Ogerpon is faster
Super
too.
effective, critical
That crit
hit,
mattered.
Ivy Cudgel, 2 different
'Cause I think that's 150
underrepresented
defense,
Ogerpon
right?
forms are taking over the stage right now here in round 11.
I mean, yeah, this
Surging
thing just
strikes
lives strikes,
from the Urshifu
so
is super effective.
that
but
100%
Calyrex
mattered,
is
right?
just
There's no
so
chance it didn't
bulky,
matter.
it's able
Yeah.
to endure those 3
Yeah.
hits.
That
We know
critical hit on
Calyrex
the
is
Ivy
unkillable
Cudgel
by-
was huge
by
as
any
well because
attack.
We saw that Ogerpon take an attack drop
Oh,
from the
no.
parting shot earlier.
That's really
Calyrex
difficult.
was forced to go
That being
for
said,
a high horsepower just to get a
still-
little bit more damage down on that opposing
still has
Urshifu,
some good
but
mons
we've
in the
seen how
back
speeds interact. We
with
know that the
Incineroar and
Ogerpon
Ogre.
Cornerstone on
Okay.
Victor's side of the field would be faster. You do have to worry about fake out here
If it
now.
doesn't get faked out.
from the
Okay, so
Incineroar,
here
but I do
he's
think
gonna
that
be able to
Victor
fake out the
can
ogre
simply
slot
go
and
for a
surging
protected
strike,
spiky shield this turn if fake
or
out is what
CC
you're
even
worried about.
the
You cannot
Rex
risk
slot,
switching
correct?
in your own ogre pawn in this position. Just
Do you
because
CC the
Calyrex
Rex?
Ice Rider is
Fake
still
out
on
is
the
so
field and
obvious on
is
ogre.
Still able to use Glacial Lance, at least until your Urshifu knocks
So
out.
let's
And
see.
Shieling has such a strong defensive core.
Switches
Instead
out,
of
not
the
even
Rillaboom
trying to
being
deal with
his
the-
buddies or Shifu and Incineroar, it's
the
the
Shifu
Ogre
attacking
Pawn
him
as the grass
on
type
the-
of choice.
on the ogre
Victor's
slot.
two
I get that
Pokemon
for
in the
sure.
back Are both burned and physical
Oh, it was
attackers,
-1 on the
so a lot
ogre.
of
I didn't
this
even
damage
realize it was
output has
-1.
been
That would have done
in-
like 50% then the
It has,
Rex.
but these
That was a
Pokemon
super
as
duper crit.
well,
Oh, he
switching
clicked the
in,
Aqua
you
Jet.
didn't have to use Protect.
That's right. Willowlips is going to go into the Rillaboom, who is
Oh, wow.
already burned, but trying to play supportive with this Terra, Grass, Incineroar. Don't want to go for any damaging moves. Just try potentially burn the rest of the team down.
Damn,
Even
that
though the
sucked,
Rillaboom is
bro.
burned on the opposing side of the field, it can still go for
That
fake
sucked,
out. It is
bro.
still a useful Pokemon for Victor in this situation. So by switching both these Pokemon in the previous turn, you don't have to worry about Will-O-Wisp, you don't have to worry about being flinched, and you
Okay,
buy
you
yourself
turn.
more time, as Victor still has the Pokemon advantage in this matchup.
Right, especially important considering how
Yeah,
those
you
first
gotta-
couple of turns
oh,
went
okay.
in
This is gonna
Shielding's
die here to
favor
CC
here.
regardless.
Shifu will detect,
Oh, wait, no, the
keeping
thing is
himself
burned,
safe
isn't
from
it?
an attack from Rillaboom, but
Yeah,
not from
I was gonna say it was burned, it's not gonna die.
Unseen Fist does not finish the job. Shielding is still gonna hang on in the red with his Urshifu. There's the Rillaboom, but it goes into the protect. So
Rilla would've
smart
lived U-turn
play
anyway
from
'cause it's
Shielding,
burned.
not
I mean,
allowing Rillaboom
Urshifu
to
would've lived
swap
anyways.
out and reset that grassy terrain. Insult to injury as I stop your U-turn, but Parting Shot lets Incineroar swap out for free.
That Urshifu
Yo,
on
it's
Shielding's
getting-
side of the field, though, is very low in health to the point where an attack from either of Victor's
I
two
like this, though.
Pokemon would do enough
I like
damage
this.
to knock
He's
it
bringing-
out. And
he's-
Shielding's win condition right now is keeping that Urshifu around.
Yeah, he has to
for
keep
the
Urshifu
return
alive, so
of
that's
the
why he brought in the
Terrifier.
follow me-
Calyrex in the back of
follow
Victor's
me guy.
party. Shiliang switching in the Ogre Pawn Teal Mask in this board position.
Oh, this is
does
getting really
mean that he
crazy.
can then switch in the Incineroar again for that
This is getting really,
Urshifu.
really exciting.
But Victor can easily punish that play. You just double into that Ogre Pawn, maybe you double into the Incineroar, depending on what moves you want to target. Yes, you do have to worry about the burn modification on the damage on the field, but 2 attacks from these Pokemon is still going to put Shi Liang's Pokemon closer to knockout range from the Glacial Lance, which is
Right,
really
exactly.
Victor's winning condition for this game.
At a certain
Yeah, has
point,
to keep the
Shielding, even
Urshifu.
if he is
We know
static,
that.
you know, given the stats
Damn,
conditions
he's
to his opponent,
fucking
he's
trying
running out of
everything
health
to-
on the three
Exactly.
to keep his
Pokemon that are
Mons alive
still
after that
on
crit.
his side and
Damn,
available
he has
to him.
to
Of course,
play like
Incineroar
the-
is still very healthy,
he has to
but
play
that
like the most
Urshifu is
perfect
not
game.
long for the match. There's the
Great
Aqua
switch,
Jet, so a
great
perfect
switch.
swap-in,
Has to keep the
bringing
Shifu alive.
grass type, even with a critical hit, hardly
Nice
doing
extra helmet
any
damage.
damage there and taking even more back. There's the bullet seed we talked about in team
Yup,
preview. It's
yup.
not
Kill the
going into
Rillaboom
Urshifu, but,
so that
you know, let's see how
so
many
that
hits you
Urshifu
get
can
with
at
the
the
low
end,
dice bullet
because he
seed
needs
with the
Urshifu.
Rillaboom.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
yo,
3
it's getting
hits.
spicy.
That's
Four
4.
is guaranteed, so it's always 4 or 5 hits. Oh, and then the Ogre Pawn doesn't come through.
Okay,
with
but
the
U-turn
fifth
was
hit.
clicked,
Finally,
so now he's able to bring in the-
swap out with its
Shout out to
U-turn.
Noobish. It's
Still,
my
though,
work
that was a
Friday, and
very
boss letting me go home
significant amount of
early.
damage
Thanks for
onto
making
that
some
Rillaboom
calls.
at the end of the day. Yes, those are resistant
You're right, I'm in a
hits,
boss
but
you said I'm in a
still
boss call to
down
get you out of
about
work?
half its health. The
I've been
only
known
Pokemon
to-
with full health on
I've been known to
Victor's
boss
side of the
call.
field will be his Ogre Pawn Cornerstone, which critically still also has that sturdy ability in play. While Calyrex is very tempting to send in on this board position, you're staring down 2 grass-type Pokemon. I don't think you can take that risk, as a Bullet Seed with 4 hits plus a knockoff certainly would do enough damage to pick up that KO. And if you leave that Urshifu just unattended on the opposing side of the field, I'm not sure it's going to be able to do much either. So really, all Shiliang has to do in this board position is focus down on that Calyrex Ice Rider. Sure, maybe you wait a turn here. Maybe Victor's probably going to go for Protect on that Calyrex Ice Rider to buy himself one more turn. But there's really nothing that's going to stop your 2 Pokemon, barring a critical hit. And even then, they just have so much health.
Yeah, there's a lot of health on the other side, and even if Victor's Pokemon, their hit points are going lower, you'd argue the one Pokemon you want to stay at full HP is Ogre Pawn Cornerstone, so you have access to the sturdy that you were talking about,
Protect.
Gabby. On this turn, though, Victor crucially will protect himself from the Fake Out. Fake Out goes into the Calyrex, so
Beast play.
now it's going to be up to the Ogre Pawn, who is faster than Urshifu, clicking a Follow Me to redirect the attack.
Oh my God, bro.
Will be close combat onto the Ogre Pawn.
Yo,
How
this
will
is
he
so
take it?
like,
That's a crit.
yo.
It brings Ogre Pawn down to half. That's not
Bro,
what
this is like the
Shiliang
most
wanted to
intricate
see.
endgame ever. I mean, I've only seen the yo, but this is nuts.
Well, ensures that this Urshifu will be KO'd at the end of this turn.
This guy is a fucking max crit magnet on him though.
And honestly, seeing that
It's like the third crit Victor got in like the last 4 turns.
Go for it again.
Damn.
Your opponent most likely, your opponent wouldn't waste time picking up the KO there unless they had a spread move.
But the team is so weakened.
Like
Like
Calyrex Ice Rider is so scary. But remember, with the pressure of Encore on the field as
Rilla
well,
comes
this
right back
switch is
in.
such a safe play from Victor.
Has to.
And it's also crucial for Rillaboom to swap on to reactivate grassy terrain since the burn.
Yeah, but that what's it called? The okay, this is gonna live. Yeah, okay, good. No crit. I was like, bro, no crit. Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Gets to keep his Ogerpon on the field, -2 into its defenses.
Yup. Let's see 5 hits. We need Shiliang to get some type of revenge hacks.
It adds up over time, especially when you get some nice critical hits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we might not even kill with 5.
3 hits of the bullet seed. This is the 4th. That's the guaranteed.
Oh,
Can he
dude.
get the 5th one?
Bro.
No, 2 times loaded dice has come up.
He
short,
double
but
attacked
the
anyways.
knockoff
Okay.
follow-up will
I was
be
like,
more than enough to take
I'm not
out
picking
Rillaboom.
any sides, but of course we need an
Urshifu,
even.
though, like
We
you
need an
just
even
said,
hacks.
sticking
We
around
need
for
even.
one more turn thanks
Holy
to the
cow.
help of that grassy terrain.
This
But grassy terrain's
this
also gonna
grass
heal up the Pokemon
Incineroar
on
has
the
gone
opposing
out.
side of the field
You know,
as
this
well.
is
And again,
it's going on a
we
LeBron
know
James
that
run.
Urshifu needs close combat to get a critical hit to pick up the KO on the Ogerpon from this
This is a never give up
range.
classic.
Victor is down to his final 3 Pokemon with that Ogerpon cornerstone.
But that Ogre
Still
corner
the
is really
only
scary
Pokemon
too.
on his side of the field at full health.
But then again,
And with
Incineroar
follow-me,
is
it would
so
redirect the
healthy
attacks away, meaning this
that I feel like it's
low
going to
health
piece
Urshifu
up
with
the
all
Ogre with
defense traps
ease.
can continue to
And it's a
go
grass.
for these critical hits
Spiky
because the
shields,
grassy terrain
CC into the
activates
thing.
before the burn damage kicks in.
What would I
It
click here as
does, but how
Shiliang?
many turns are you gonna have
Would
the
I bullet seed the
opportunity to do
Ogre
this?
slot and try to win the
the
speed
off
tie?
chance that you think your
Is that some noob
opponent-
shit?
This is such a tough position to be in. I feel like you want to go for the Ivy Cudgel here just to get the KO on the opposing Ogerpon, to force out the opposing Urshifu, and just hope that you can pick up the knockout on
Wait, so
it.
it's Spiky Shield and Rocky Helmet on the other
Oh,
end, so no
no!
matter what Victor targets into, he's going to take the recoil
Yo!
damage and knock itself out there. The close combat does so much damage, but the... Oh, it hangs on to the red! I thought that was going to be enough. I thought he got the grassy
Yo.
terrain recovery. Helped Shiliang hang
Whoa.
on in that fight.
Bro is
there.
hanging on for
The
dear
body
life.
Shot is able to lower the attack even more. He's already been burned. It feels so hurtful to do it there.
Jeez.
But no,
And he keeps it
Urshifu
alive for the
didn't
pivot
make
yet
contact
again.
because it broke through the Spiky Shield.
Exactly. I know that's one of those mechanics
Yeah.
that you have to really keep queued up and ready to
Urshifu is
go.
alive
But I
and
think
well.
More importantly, the fact that we see the Urshifu return to the field on Shiliang's side of the field, get that little bit of health back, probably to help it try and hold on through an Aqua Jet from the opposing Urshifu, and a further end game is something important to keep an eye on. Shiliang most likely will be returning that Incineroar to the field though this turn. I think that you want to get those Intimidates down onto the opposing Ogerpon.
Incineroar's
and
coming
I'm
right
just
back
worried
in,
that if
right?
you leave the Urshifu on the field while the opposing
Wow.
Ogerpon is still at such full health, you're going to end up in a situation where the Ogerpon naturally faster
Yo,
will be
this
able
guy's
to
a
pick up
god.
KO there, and then you just have your entire strategy, unfortunately, start to crumble. So Shiliang needs to get that Incineroar back out onto the field and really needs to put the pressure down on this opposing Ogerpon, who has critically become the cornerstone of Victor's strategy in this end game.
That's why they
I like
pay
that
you the
pun.
big bucks, Gabby. That's a
I like that
great
pun. I like that
Always
pun.
a fan of the puns on the broadcast.
All right, finally we see Urshifu
Finally
dead.
deals with Victor's Urshifu, which hung on at 7 HP for 3 turns, finally getting knocked out. Power whip into the low health.
But Incineroar's
Pokemon
gonna
will be
come
more
back
than enough
in,
for the
intimidate
KO.
this
So
yet
Shiliang
again.
down to his last 2 Pokemon, gonna be but 2 Pokemon you'd love
Yo,
to
but that
have.
Glacial
Urshifu
Lance guy
and
is
Incineroar
looking.
versus Ogerpon
Oh, it's only at
Cornerstone
50
and a
HP. I
low-health
completely
Calyrex.
forgot.
Sturdy is still
You know, this
active
reminds me of when I
on
saw this
Ogerpon
one-
Cornerstone, and Incineroar returning to the field will intimidate
I love
that
how when you
Pokemon,
burn a
though, and
Pokemon,
also
you basically
bring
have to
back
get it out the
with
way.
the
Like you
threat
have to
of
switch it out
takeout.
yourself.
One
Otherwise,
of
you're
this
just letting them bully your other guy.
Ogerpon could go for a follow me redirection here.
Because if your thing is
to
doing no
ensure
damage,
that
they
the
can just
Calyrex
dance
gets
around
the
you like
opportunity
crazy.
to attack. You do have to wonder how many Glacial Lances will it take to pick up the KO on the opposing Incineroar. Yes, the Urshifu will be KO'd in one hit, but Calyrex, with such low health, the fact that its clear amulet is
Wow.
still held on does mean that knockoff should do enough damage to pick up the KO there. So Shiliang really needs to find the opportunity to focus in on this opposing Ogerpon. Doesn't have to worry
Click
as much about the
Spiky.
threat of a Spiky Shield here, but still, Everything comes down
Double
to this
attack
turn.
on
Let's see what
Rex.
Shilian can do. The fake out goes into Ogerpon Cornerstones.
Or
Spiky
just has to
shield, so
attack
gonna get a
Rex
little
once,
bit
really.
Of a taste of your own medicine from the Rocky helmet, right? Incineroar's going to take a little bit of
Yep.
recoil damage.
Yep.
Surging
Yo.
strikes from Urshifu takes out the Calyrex.
Yo, bringing
And
this
now
back
that
after the
Calyrex
crit
has
and
been
basically getting
knocked
all the
out,
switches right was
Mr.
ridiculous
Shifu
because
is
now he
free to
got it.
Focus in on the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Will be dealing
And it's been
neutral
intimidated
damage
so
to
much
Grass
that
Rock type Pokemon,
what's it called?
But still, the combination
Yo.
of that Urshifu, of the Incineroar,
Wow.
at so much health, is giving.
This is why I
Shiliang
never believe
the
people when they say,
motivation he needs
got
to find
hacked,
his way into the
lost.
finals.
Shilian goes
There's
to
something
the
always
protect
more to
on
this is
turn, wants to
crazy.
see what Victor's up to. The power-up goes
Beast
into that
protect,
spot.
beast
So
protect,
Shilian
knowing that
calls it correctly.
the only way to
Now
win is to, what's it
the
called,
Incineroar going for
crit
a
the
will-o-wisp,
Incineroar to
landing
begin with, so
on
not even giving him the
all
chance.
three of his will-o-wisps
Not even gonna
connecting
give him the
on
chance.
Game 3 crucial.
It's a good insurance though to have.
Nah, it's over now,
You're able to
100%. Even with
lower
crits,
the attack
Incineroar's not
of
getting
this
touched.
Ogerpon Cornerstone
Not even
as
gonna
much
give
as
him the
possible.
chance.
While you do still have to worry about that
This
power
was
whip
nuts.
dealing damage to the opposing Urshifu, it's not necessarily that Pokemon that you're trying to protect from the
Bruh,
burn.
this
You're
was
trying to give
nuts.
This Incineroar enough time to
Yeah, if
endure
Wisp
that.
missed, then he could have lost
Regardless
it.
of
Nah,
how
he's
much it
yo,
does
this is
to the Ogerpon,
crazy.
Incineroar is able to beat Ogerpon in the end game.
Power Whip super effective, taking
Grass
out
Incineroar
Urshifu.
went
Now it's
so
one-on-one.
crazy this game.
Terra Grass
Also, did you see how he didn't even bring
Incineroar
Lando
that
Eye?
Shilian
I'm just
dealt
noticing
on
now how he
turn
didn't even
one
bring
of
Lando
game
Eye,
three
even though it
is
was
potentially
solid.
the way he can win this. There's
Holy
3 minutes left.
shit.
There's no shot this match is gonna last 3 minutes with just 2 Pokemon left.
A spiky shield here is a good play from this Ogerpon to see what Shiliang's going to lock into, but critically
Damn.
will be dealing a bit of chip damage
Damn.
thanks to the
That was
shield
amazing.
recoil. And critically,
That was
He's
amazing.
been- the Ogerpon's been parted
Yes.
shot. It's been burned, but there's
What's
so
the full
many
timer at?
chances for Ogerpon
What-
to
oh,
try to come
Okay,
back
it says it on the.
into this,
Okay. Hold on.
But there's so many chances for
Okay, so you see how it says 246, right? So if this runs out, the win goes to whoever has more HP on combined mons, right? Because I had a friend who was at my crib one time playing VGC on PS, and he was like, "I'm gonna lose, but my mons have more HP, so watch how I switch stall." And then he did that, and he won the game, even though he's like, "I can't win this, but I'm gonna win off of HP because I'm gonna switch stall." And this guy doesn't know how to do damage to my team, and he's like, "I can't win, but I'm gonna win because of that." And he literally did it, and I was like, "Huh." That's the individual player's time? Oh, okay. So where's the actual match time? Where does it show that on here? Or it doesn't show it on here or what? You don't see the match time? You don't know what it is? I see.
for Ogerpon to try to come back in this game.
he got the double!
Spiky shield
Okay.
means that Shiliang has now taken 2 more turns of recoil from these
Hidden
hits
by
on Incineroar.
player
It's
cam?
put him
It's above it?
lower,
Okay.
And all you need is a crit.
all you need is a crit, and I believe Ivy Cudgel's raised crit rate is going to be so important here in this endgame.
Nah, it's
you
too
could
late.
try and go for a third spiky shield,
He's gonna
but
go
that
for
has
it. It's
such
only a
low
10%
odds.
chance. Victor doesn't
Damn.
get the spiky shield, and Shiliang is gonna knock off.
I mean, even if he
Victor's
got it,
Ogerpon
it didn't
and knock
matter.
him out of contention
That's
for the
Incineroar. It's not
World
dying to no crit.
Championship. Shiliang Tang
Incineroar's the
will
bulkiest Pokemon ever. Wow.
Important Pokemon.
That was really epic. Even crit wasn't going to do it at that point. Incineroar is way too bulky. We've seen Incineroar live everything. It's burned. So, wow. That was really awesome. That was very, very, very exciting, bro. Wow. He really pulled that back, too. After the, wow. Those were some plays. It's like every protect was right. Even on both sides, the protect calls were really, really good. Urshifu was so, like, warping before the Ubers pulled up. I know Miraidon and all them be doing a lot nowadays. But, jeez. I have a couple other games. You guys can pick which one. Because I'm going to go to sleep after whichever next one I watch. I have this one. between these two, I have Joe UX9 versus Andrew Zhang. I have Marco Fierro versus Wolf. I have Gavin Michaels versus, how do I say this? Yusuke. And I have Wolf Glick versus Dill. So you guys can pick. I heard that Marco is inarguably top 3. So I wanted to watch this. That's what I heard from my friends. But I'm going to watch the other ones tomorrow. It's not like I'm not going to watch those. I just have a lot like in the back. Okay. Okay. I'll watch this. I'll watch everything though. I'll just watch the rest tomorrow.
And someone like Marco who has some incredible recent success.
Jeez. He was cooking in 2024. Jeez. And he's hot off a lot of wins. So what, this is the strongest ever versus the strongest of today? Yeah, but even Wolf in 2024 cleaned up. Double regional. And then I know he won the online. This is pretty exciting. Jump love. He's nasty for that. I played a guy this afternoon who had that has Scarf Zard Y. Not Zard Y, Scarf Zard plus.
The double defending LAIC champion, already a regional.
So this is Wolf's infamous Paris Trap team. I've never even seen Wolf play with the Paris Trap. I just know everybody talks about how Wolf is the best Paris Trap player. And like nobody else can play it like he does.
Final to his name this year.
So I'm pretty interested in seeing how this is.
Of course, the Stockholm top 4 and 2020 OCIC champion. Someone that has played in many major.
He's the only Paris user? I see. This is Marco's 3rd finals in a row. What the fuck? Damn.
Finals now, and has the experience to draw on to make sure that he is, on top of his game, holding his nerve when it comes to these big moments. When we talk about big moments, I don't know that anyone has more of them under their belt than Wolf.
4 times in VGC,
and that's the conversation when we were talking about the best players of all time. Because if you're looking back historically, you're looking at accomplishment.
So Wolf is the only one that sequences it correctly?
I mean, Wolf is right up there in the conversation, but if you're looking as well.
Choice specs, heat wave, Torkoal eject pack. Ooh. And then Trick Room Porygon plus Ursa combo in the back. I want to see Wolf's team.
The caliber.
This team is pretty nasty though. I like that the Zard is not scarfed, it's just specs. Going for the KO on everything ever. Porygon 2 is pretty cool too. What is this, Terrablast fight?
Of play. Even if you don't have that same list of accomplishments, you don't have that world championship title. Marco Silva has been considered as one of the best modern day players, and it's so easy to see why. Even playing a team that there's not necessarily the most people on.
3rd finals in a row is incredible though. Damn. I like this team. This is sick. And I always thought Sleep is pretty cheap when I see Yondon Dozo. But yeah. Pretty dope.
He's been able to accomplish so much. This team got 2nd at Gdansk. It got the LAIC title.
Oh, so he stays bringing this team?
Has the possibility to take down Toronto. Charizard, Torkoal, Jump Left, you have the Sun, but then also key pieces, the Ursa Luna with a Guts Flame Orb and a Porygon 2. So even when the dimensions aren't quite in your favor, the game still can be.
Plenty of tools to get around Shadow Tag as well. Again, we talked about that eject pack tech on the Torkoal, which can allow it to swap itself out after losing any kind of stat drops. But at the same time, there are 3 ghost type.
This Torkoal set is cool. Overheat eject pack is something we even used in OU at one point because you want the sun up and then you want to leave the field. But obviously 8 turns of sun matters more. in OU because you got walking
Terra's
and all
on
that
Marco's
shit.
team, so you can only use one of those in
But
any
either way,
given game.
I like
but
that
the option
offensive
is
style.
there. Of course, parting shot on Incineroar also will be able to pivot it out, is not blocked by that shadow tag. So no shortage of tools that he can use, just has to very carefully pick which ones to bring to any given game.
And that terrestrialization with all these Pokemon is going to be so important because you
What's he writing down? Okay, let's take a look at this team. This is what I'm interested in. Jeez, this is nasty. So Toad is the one clicking the parish. Video might be a little loud. Yeah, the audio from the Pokemon company is pretty solid compared to the last video. Let me turn it down a little bit. Sturdy Archaludon. He got that BSS set. But yeah, he doesn't have anything to really farm the... I like seeing Kingdra. Kingdra with muddy water too. Nasty. All right, let's see. I'm really curious to see how this Parish Trap works.
want the ghost.
I've never seen this in action. I've only heard the legends of Wolf's Parish Trap. I've never actually seen it.
Stuff that's not going to be perishing to a Kingdra. That is going to be key.
Eject button makes sense though, even though I've never seen it before in BGC. I get it. The lore is that Marco ran into Wolf with the same Parish team at an online tour, infamously reacting with the quote, "Wolfie con Parish." No, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm missing some important lore.
For Wolf, very familiar spawn, and a team that we've become quite familiar with through the course of this competition. And again, the Parish song, you have the Polytoad, but Kingdra as well is something that in this, if you can get the weather in your favor, can output so much pressure. Of course, Marco does have two ways of setting that.
That being said, being able to stop the rain is pretty strong with the Torkoal, so that's pretty dope.
Weather. He does have both Sunny Day on that jump bluff if he chooses to bring it, as well as the Torkoal. So the Kingdra might not necessarily be in its prime position, but even a
Bro, I would lose because I would misclick with the Joy-Con. I'm so serious.
Draco Meteor is something that can start to shred through Marco's team.
Especially given that the Kingdra is the stellar Terra. It's not just water to boost the Muddy Water and Weather Balls, but you do have the one-time boost to Draco Meteor as well. And looking at Marco's team, there isn't too much that can stomach that. I think maybe Porygon 2 could, just because it is so bulky, but otherwise, there are no Dragon resistances, either in natural types or Terra typing.
So this video has so many views, 577K.
Look at kind of the lack of water resistances. You have the Jump Off, which will resist it, but the other 5 Pokemon, 4 of them are straight up weak to water, and the last is Porygon, so you don't really have a great way to stomach these water type attacks in the rain.
And if you want to try and win out this weather war and be able to bring the sun, well then maybe you're going to be a little bit more susceptible to the other key pieces of this team, which is going to be...
They say in this set won an Oscar. That's funny. Shout out Draco Meteor. Wolf with Parish Trap is like Mozart in his piano. Absolute art. Oh.
Super dangerous within this, and even something like the Sartalidon.
This is cool. This must have been the hypest shit ever to watch.
Seeing as
really you guys said
attack. So
Marco came off 2 straight dubs, and this is the third finals. Is nuts.
So let's see how this changes up as we head.
Let off with Kingdra.
Into the grand finals.
Oh my God! Neither of them let off with their weather guy. Noticing so that they can send the weather guy in after this turn, in case the other guy led with the weather guy. I'm noticing.
Here in Toronto, make some noise. Jump Bluff Incineroar for Marco. For Wolf, that's Gothitelle and Kingdra.
I really, really love this Gothitelle Kingdra lead from Wolf.
All right, so what? Gothitelle got to get out of here. It's either going to get slept or faked out or what? Or Kingdra? Oh, man. I also noticed that Wolf had Protect on all 6 of his Pokemon. That's got to be mad annoying to battle.
In general, it's a very flexible lead.
Wait, it has all support. I didn't even realize that. Oh, my God. There's levels to this shit.
It traps
so we're gonna see Tailwind? So that Kingdra isn't unstoppable?
And most importantly, it gives...
Or does it even matter?
Wolf the option to pivot that Gothitelle out into Polytoad, set up the rain, and immediately activate Swift Swim and power up those water type moves.
Knock off Kingdra's Life Orb immediately?
I like the Jump Life here as well, though the Covert Cloak means it can't be faked out by Gothitelle, and you do have the option to start spreading
Alright, Goth gotta switch out, because Goth don't want to be in versus either of these moves,
like right? Speed control, seeing that there is this Kingdra on the other end, you could have been punished with the potential of something like this Trick Room, but instead the swap out. That's Gothitelle leaving in Incineroar coming on in as Tailwind. Marco is going to have the speed favor in his turn for the next few turns, as now a knockoff into that Kingdra. A little bit of damage, Life Orb gone.
Well, Muddy
this is going
Water,
to be reducing the
if he
amount of
clicked it,
damage as
but-
Draco Meteor
okay.
into the jump bluff,
Did
brings
nothing.
it down to just below half health, and with that special attack drop, the Kingdra
I like that knockoff. That shit was mad smart. Oh, oops.
goes on the next turn.
So now Sleep
Big
Powder on
knockoff
what?
there, some
Incineroar,
decent
right?
damage into Kingdra, but importantly
Or does it not
removing the
matter?
Life Orb, which is a big
Because
source
the
of damage.
Kingdra's already useless on the current field if it's -2.
That's one multiplier lost when you start stacking them with the Rain, with the possible Stellar Terra. And so that's a lot of damage that also kept this jump off
You
relatively
switch?
healthy.
You switch?
I don't know if one more Draco Meteor would finish the job, and of course no Water type move would knock it out from here as well.
Do you switch out the Incineroar expecting a
But this Incineroar switch
I'm
from World
overthinking
also
this.
very, very
Just watch
safe.
this.
You know, it can't be put to sleep because of that, because of the safety goggles. You now have the option to go for your own fake out on this coming turn, and of course you can just pivot right back out.
Oh, I
with
didn't even
Parting
see
Shot.
that it had
Even if
goggles.
one
Oh my god, I gotta pay attention.
Pokemon is safe from the Sleep Powder, the other is not, and Kingdra doesn't do the most damage and now won't do any damage
Turn
as
it
it has
down?
to take a
Okay.
turn of sleep. Parting Shot into the Incineroar. That's going to be attack drop as well as a way to pivot out into something that could take a little bit more advantage of his situation and a chance and opportunity for us to see what Marco has brought to this match. Ursaluna and Porygon 2.
Wow.
You better hope there's no knockoff coming into that slot, though, because losing that Flame Orb would be very, very rough for Marco. That is a big bit of damage that would no longer be available. Kingdra takes its first mandatory sleep turn from that Sleep Powder and knockoff.
But this is nice.
Straight into Ursaluna. There
rid
is
of the
no
Flame
Flame
Orb
Orb, there
immediately.
is no burn, there is no guts for the remainder of this game.
And
That's really nice. Can't click Facade and eliminate every single mon one by
And
one.
when you need the damage,
pretty good.
Marco's
That's
team,
super
when
good.
you're eyeing up this
Wait, that was a
Jump
great
Up
knock.
and Incineroar, the Porygon 2, it's the Ursaluna that you're really counting on.
Yeah,
In
just like
this
a
situation,
super
if
huge
you
play.
weren't able to get that swapped in
That's
that
like it's
burn,
fine
you
to-
pressure so
Because he has to. Oh, wow.
much damage with something like an
gotta watch
Earthquake on the
this back.
next, especially since you wouldn't be hitting into your own jump bluff, and you would hit everything else on the field. Now that damage is so heavily reduced.
Damn. So because we know that the jump bluff is Covert Cloak, that can't get faked out. So Marco predicted what? Fake out on his own Incineroar? Why did he hard switch? Why did he hard switch out? He predicted fake out? Or what? Right? Huh.
Not even just losing the guts
a big
boost,
fake out.
Facade
That's
will
a
now
big
be
knockoff.
locked at the 70 base power for
Oh,
the
he
rest of
parting
this game
shotted?
too.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
If Wolf
So
has
okay, so basically he just expected to leave.
something that can, you know, Terastallize into, maybe something that resists or is even just neutral to ground, Facade is usually the move of choice after that, but it will be mitigated for the rest of this game.
And that
Well, yeah,
can
because Marco's Incineroar is double walled here, even if this is sleeping. Oh, wow. That's still crazy, though. And I guess Wolf doesn't, like, lose that much if the Incineroar stayed. Because you're able to take the berry away.
a situation where you're then forced into something that's a single target, and doubly so now that Porygon 2 comes out onto the field, getting that attack boost. Terastallization, we got to see the lock-in. Make sure that this Ursaluna is nice and safe going into that Ghost Terastallization.
Ghost will mean that it is no longer weak to water, which could be a big deal for Marco later on in this game. Wolf not switching anything out, though, means that Kingdra will stay on the field and possibly even Terastallize, though I bet this is the Incineroar instead.
Even if this Ursaluna isn't doing as much damage, it could still do a lot when you see this headlong rush. So into this Ghost Terastallization, a way to make sure, again, less and less damage is coming on out. Into this Incineroar, lost that
That did
weakness,
nothing.
so much damage, but
Great
not
Terra.
nearly enough to get that KO. Of course, a defense, special defense.
And then what? Marco clicked Terra Ghost just in case Kingdra ended up getting the turn. The second turn wake
Robin
up.
Kingdra
And it did wake
is
up.
going to wake up. Draco Meteor yet again connected. It is
That's
negative
not
2
good, yeah.
into the Porygon. That's going to be fine, but still, you would have loved to see that sleeping for just a little bit longer.
Incineroar surviving
this
that
is
headlong
nerfed as
rush,
hell.
thanks to the Ghost Terastallization, means it will have the opportunity to parting shot this Ursaluna.
This
further
Kingdra's getting
mitigating
off a
its
decent
damage
amount
while
of-
it is on the field.
out of damage,
And
even
though
at
you could bring in
-4.
Gothitelle to activate the Shadow Tag, this is another
That's what I'm
reason
saying,
why
now
this
Goth
Ghost
can come
Terra
in
is
and
very
they already got
helpful
the guy.
For Marco, is that now that Ursaluna is a Ghost type, you do have the
Oh,
option.
he Terra'd so that he can't get trapped. Wow.
to swap it out, reset
I was
that
thinking he
parting
didn't
shot
want to take
drop.
the -2
you have to kind of imagine that King
attack as
probably
if that would
swaps
do
out his
anything.
turn because it is at -4, and the
shit.
Incineroar is right there for another Intimidate onto the
That's
Ursaluna, which could be another reason to get this Ursaluna off the field ASAP.
Yeah, especially
There's
too when you do
nasty.
have that Gothitelle, something like bringing in the Incineroar
Rather
is just
just
so
trapping
free.
in general.
You get
It's not like
another
Goth is,
attack
like,
drop onto that Ursaluna.
threat
You're not really
on its
worried about
own.
too much
You gotta
damage.
have the. It's not like Goth is a threat on its own, right? You gotta have the what's it called going. Jeez.
And Kingdra can get back in at a later time and be so good. And when I'm looking at the pieces of Marco's team, if Wolf can start damaging these down, we have Pokemon when you're eyeing up
Yeah,
that
I would just be
Porygon2
throwing
that
out
like that
attacks at this
longevity on
point.
the field. And of course, that's
Trying
not a
to chip.
playstyle that Wolf's going to allow you to do.
Jeez.
It's really
Well, Kingdra's
not.
not
You
doing
still
any
have to be very
damage
careful
anymore.
here.
Okay, so that leaves
Kingdra
the
will
field.
swap out to reset that -4 special attack. And we're going to see the Politoed
Politoed
come in
comes in.
instead. So no Incineroar just yet.
Okay.
We'll be there to set
The
up the
Politoed's
rain
definitely
with
super
Drizzle
duper
as the
bulky.
Gothitelle has the chance to go for something like a fake out on its first turn out, but no.
Holy
no,
cow,
no
that still
fake out
did
just
so
yet.
much.
Nope. Instead, we're going to see another move of choice, this Headlong Rush. Not even enough to bring the the Politoed, the other
Oof.
Pokemon down
Nice
below
chip.
half, as that's going to be Psychic into Ursaluna, doing more and more damage since we
And
have
this
been seeing
Ursaluna is having a
Ursaluna
good
lowering
time
its
at least
stats
spamming
through
the
these
attacks.
turns.
It's
Now,
not like
Porygon
it's
2
not like
is
this is
going
the
to be
end of the
one
world by any
twisting these
means.
dimensions.
He's having a good time
From
getting
set
up mad
up, so
attacks.
Ursaluna should be the first thing acting, which is, you know, a nice twist for Wolf here, for Marco here rather, especially because the Tailwind has just ended on Marco's side of the field. But if you are Wolf, you're now noticing that there is no Torkoal on Marco's side, so Rain will stick around for a little bit longer. Gothitelle, being the bulky Pokemon that it is, has the ability to
double
try and
attack.
reset Trick Room this
Double
turn if
attack
it wants
Politoed?
to, or even just
Oh,
go for a
protect.
second Psychic into that Ursaluna. Now at -3 special defense because of the
Thought
two
he would
Headlong
double
rushes
attack.
and the drop from the
No, no, okay,
Psychic on the
okay.
previous turn is vulnerable.
So with it being so vulnerable, a Protect makes sense. Or Psychic yet again, trying
Nice
to fire up
Protect,
into
nice
that slot,
Protect.
get rid of that big bad bear, nothing happening. Now the Porygon 2 will have the opportunity
This
to
got probably
attack
2 KO the Toad.
into
If
this
it's not Spadef.
Politoed.
Oh my
Just
god, that
another
shit is
attempt
super
at just
duper
shipping
Spadef.
away as Perish Song, the move of choice. Of course, since the Ursaluna has Terrasilize, it will be able to have this opportunity to swap out, but the Porygon 2 won't.
Super duper.
Interesting
I was
choice there
assuming it.
from
Well, I
Wolf.
knew
This
we knew it
Ursaluna
wasn't
will have the
Fizdef.
ability to swap
We knew
out
it
like
wasn't
just said,
Fizdef because there's
Sierra,
no way
which
Headlong
means
at
that the
-1 is
Parasong
doing
won't be
50
very
to some
effective on it.
Fizdef.
But this Porygon 2
It doesn't matter
is
the
locked on
download was
field.
attacked. It's
And
still
given that this
Porygon 2
Ursaluna
Terror
is at
Blast. There's gotta be
-1
some
attack,
Spadef on the
this
Toad.
Porygon 2 did not get a downloaded special attack boost. It got the attack boost instead. This Gothitelle isn't super threatened by anything, and this could be a good way for Wolf to get rid of just this Porygon, really. If you can get rid of Porygon with this Perish Song, that's the bulkiest thing that Marco has left on his team, and that can clear out an easier way for Kingdra to try and come in and win this game in the end.
And if this Ursaluna has to swap out at some point, this Incineroar would not appreciate a Weather Ball.
go to
and, well,
Amoonguss?
Jumpluff won't
Or do you
really
just
appreciate
spam
much
Protect
at this point,
as well?
considering the amount of
Wait, no, he
damage
doesn't
that
even
it's
have
already
Amoonguss, what am I
taken. So Ursaluna, that's finally going to be the swap out. But if Wolf decides not to just protect and hits into the other slot, Marco could still be down on this. It is going to be just a swap from both trainers as Jumpluff hits the field, Politoed leaves, make sure that Perish gets reset, and Incineroar for Wolf to have Fake Out on the next turn.
Fake Out
Okay, so
will
yeah, but
now
he
be
does
active.
switch.
Intimidate comes through, meaning absolutely nothing into these
Toad
two.
is 252
one
HP,
special
164
attacker and one
Spadef
no
Palm.
attacker.
Yeah, okay, I
Psychic
figured.
will be into
That's a nice-
this Jumpluff though, and it
that's a
barely
nice, like,
hangs on, which means that Wolf will not
balance
have
he
a Pokemon
has
advantage
from
just
Spadef
yet.
and
And
Fizdef.
Terrablast quickly targeting
I
that
did nothing to
Gothitelle
God.
as the Ghost type Incineroar that would have come in or
Oh,
would have taken
no.
0 damage.
Yeah,
This
and
P2 is
this
gonna be-
damage output from this Porygon 2 is not like maybe something that stacks up, maybe try and fish for
And he can fake
a
out
freeze or something,
the Jumpluff
but
because it's at 15 HP.
especially
It's
with
gonna
the
die.
speed
It doesn't
ordering
matter
that
if
you
it's
caused
covert,
yourself with
right?
your own Trick Room isn't something that's necessarily benefiting that Pokemon. And once this Ursaluna goes down, it already
Looks
wasn't
like Wolf
dealing the
is
most damage.
beyond
but then
ahead,
where's the damage really
right?
coming from? Sorry, the Ursaluna. Porygon 2. The Porygon 2 is probably the only thing that really does damage. Is
Why
this
did he fake out
Ursaluna doesn't
P2?
get that.
They don't want to
guts
take more Terror
boost.
Blast damage?
Exactly.
What am I?
All right, Rage Powder from this Jumpluff.
Yeah, I guess the
so
thing
it is
can't
in the
even
center
do any
attention,
damage, so
sliver
it's
of
like-
health. Porygon 2, it's going to have a little bit more opportunity to try and fight this battle.
Oh,
It's
man.
finally that second Psychic is going to be enough. Porygon 2, I mean, it doesn't even get to do anything because of the flinch. So yeah, we're just going to see a very sad Porygon after this next
Ice
turn
Beam
since it
could have
has
frozen.
one more turn of Perish left.
I really liked that Rage Powder play. If you caught it before the turn started, Marco actually targeted
Oh,
his
Goth
own
is
Jumpluff
faster
with
'cause of
Ice
Trick
Beam
Room.
as well,
Copy.
which is really
It didn't
cool.
make
It's
a
a nice
difference
way
then.
to make
Copy.
sure that Jumpluff goes down so you do get the swap into your Incineroar on this turn without
Yeah, I did notice that, by the way. Hold on.
Just this Ursaluna. coming from.
He ice beamed the jump left to get Kingdra, not
probably the only
Kingdra.
thing that really does damage.
He ice beamed that shit just to get Ursa in as fast as possible, or what?
All right, Rage Powder from this jump left. So it is going to be the center of attention. Sliver of health. Porygon 2 is going to have a little bit more opportunity to try and fight this battle. It's finally that second.
Is that why he ice beamed himself? So he could get the Ursa in ASAP?
I mean, it doesn't even get to do anything because of the flinch. So yeah, we're just going to see a very sad Porygon after this next turn, since it has one more turn of Perish left.
I really liked that Rage Powder play. If you caught it before the turn started, Marco actually targeted his own jump left with Ice Beam as well, which is really cool. It's a nice way to make sure that jump left goes down, so you do get the swap into your Incineroar on this turn without having to manually swap it back in. Of course, you couldn't even manually swap it because of that shadow tag. So it guarantees that this jump off isn't stuck on the field, being like an entirely sink of momentum that makes Marco, on the field, being like an entirely sink of momentum that makes Marco, have something to do on this turn. Porygon will faint at the end of this turn thanks to that Perish Song, which will open up the opportunity for Wolf to
ready to hit Weather Ball on everybody. The bulkiest mon is in the back. I mean, the bulkiest mon is about to die.
And now we're gonna have to protect from Incineroar for Wolf. As the one over on the
Wait,
other
it's also mad
field.
nice for
Another
Wolf because he
round
doesn't
of
even have
Psychic,
to
of
do
course,
any.
into this Porygon 2.
He doesn't even have to do any like preserving for no reason. The Goth dying means he gets the free switch.
Below half, which means it gets a Citrus Berry, and it gets to go kind of back where that turn started.
But it will actually be knocked out by a Perish Song at the end of this turn as well.
Yeah, so he can get the freest switch. And he already has Rain up for Kingdra, and then Kingdra's going to come in and kill everybody.
So Gothitelle and Porygon 2 will be knocked out. But I think that's a very worthwhile trade if you're Wolf. You no longer need Shadow Tag, as Marco only has 2 Pokemon remaining. Your Gothitelle, it's going to be hard to switch it in and out without giving your other Pokemon too much damage. And now that, especially that Trick Room has ended, you can bring Kingdra in here, you can swap the Incineroar to Politoed, and you have some pretty devastating Muddy Waters on the table.
Yeah, you don't even have to go for any sort of Perish Song to try and close this out. That mid-game Perish Song is going to be enough to possibly just get this done now that Kingdra's out on the field. And the Earth Splint is not doing much. Incineroar won't appreciate this, and Wolf in a really, really strong spot already.
Especially because this Kingdra doesn't have that Life Orb anymore, really doesn't need it for the power. One Weather Ball should be able to knock out Ursaluna from this low HP, and because it is missing that item, the knockoff from Marco's own Incineroar will not have the damage boost. So you can probably even ignore that Incineroar this turn, make sure that the Ursaluna doesn't get an attack off here, and go straight for that Weather Ball.
And already so low health.
It's like two
you
different
said, you don't
strategies
need
going
that
on.
Life Orb
Like a headache to play against
this
shit.
KO, and all of a sudden it's Incineroar against the world. And when we're eyeing up an Incineroar that only has the knockoff really for attacking, since Flare Blitz isn't really going to accomplish much against these Pokemon, nonetheless in the rain, it's going to be a situation where Wolf will be able to take this game 1, and Marco is going to go right.
I think once that Ursa got knocked, it was like
in the towel.
Impossible to even do damage. Look at the rest of his team. You can't even do damage once Ursa gets knocked. Whatever. This was a data collection game.
It looked like it was very back and forth at certain points, but looking at the end game state here, Wolf lost Gothitelle to his own Perish Song and then no other Pokemon. So essentially knocked out 5 Pokemon in one game, right? So Marco really didn't have the space to get a whole lot done, despite the fact that he had some windows there.
Because he has one guy that can do damage. He has literally one guy that can do damage, but it got insta-knocked. So it's like
first Luna was very nice because it afforded him the chance to do some switching alongside the parting shot, even with Gothitelle on the field. But losing
so now what? Do you gotta bring Sun to manage this? Because if he has one offensive guy,
Orb was huge because the damage that Ursaluna was doing was so heavily mitigated thanks to not having Guts active.
Looking at this match, Marco just needs to be a step ahead to be able to get this Ursaluna in on his switch, be able to shut things down with this jump.
He tried bringing Torkoal in their Swiss matchup and got 2-0'd.
Outplay and outcall these moves, and already what is a tough matchup for Marco. So being able to limit those options, just really close out any window.
You can't bring Sun. The Torkoal is gonna get trapped in the rain by Goth Toad. Oh, it's gonna get picked off, right?
You
can't even go for overheated jetpack because he's gonna get picked off by the water move before then, huh?
Where is this game to go? Because when you're looking at something like the jump left, well, you got the speed control, you got the sleep powder, and in the end, none of it mattered.
I think that what Wolf is doing is
team. It's hard to see what else could be a threat.
Yeah.
Incineroar is something on these Sun teams that can do a lot of damage with the Flare Blitz, but when the rain is up the entire time, it's just a sad little cat, unfortunately. The Porygon 2 did nothing and then was just Parasonged out of the entire game. And Charizard doesn't appreciate trying to hit fire moves into these water-type Pokemon. So kicking off our game number 2, we're going to see an Incineroar piece for our competitors, and Jumpluff yet again a reappearance, and Kingdra again for Wolf.
We're seeing the Intimidate come out from Marco's Incineroar first. I think that
Everybody on the field taking -1 attack. I'm trying to see Charizard.
makes sense given that, on a lot of Parasong teams, you kind of want
Okay.
your Pokemon to be slower, especially when you can take advantage of Trick Room as well. So it's probably safe to assume that Marco's Incineroar is just trained to be faster, which means that you do have the option to fake out first. You could possibly go for a fake out into the opposing Incineroar rather. But we did see the Ghost Terra on Incineroar put in so much work for Wolf in that first game, and it might be something that he opts to use in the second game as
So if you're Wolf, what do you like? You just Draco?
well.
Yeah, so it
Guess.
makes sense to look at something like this Kingdra. That is still really threatening on this turn. For Marco, you can see there's the decision, do I Sunny Day, do I Tailwind? Because all of a sudden, if Wolf does decide to swap out that Incineroar, bring this Politoed in and attack with this Kingdra, that could be bye-bye Incineroar for Marco. But instead,
Nose is
protect.
gonna get faked
no
out.
fake out, no damage. Kingdra's
So
going to be
what's
safe.
Incineroar
So
gonna pick
Marco
here?
will be able to go ahead and set up this Tailwind and get the speed in his favor. Now Wolf will have an Incineroar able to act, and where it's going to target, that'll be the knockoff. So
That's
just
nice.
a little bit of damage into that Jumpluff.
I really like the knockoff there too, because the damage is nice, but removing the Cobra Cloak is really big. That was preventing Wolf from going for fake outs
Yeah, he
into
can
that
fake
jump
that shit
off
out
in
next
that
time
first
after he
game.
parting shots
but now
out
that the
and
Cobra
leaves.
Cloak is
Yeah.
gone, fake out is on the table. Either the Gothitelle or the Incineroar on Wolf's side of the field now. Can prevent Jumpluff from moving, but not just
Knocks
yet as
this
Sleep
down
Powder comes
with
through.
Sleep Powder. But it's
Kingdra's
gonna
having a
burn off
bad
110
game
by the end of
so
this
far.
turn.
Going to be sleeping, and when we're talking about Pokemon getting things knocked
Knocks off this
that
thing's
is going to be
goggles.
Incineroar on
There's no sleep clause in this or what? Right? You can sleep everybody?
Marco's end, acting first, and safety goggles eliminated from the other end. So now Marco on this next turn can go ahead and try and Sleep Powder into that Incineroar as well. Parting shot, so that might be a Sleep Powder save for down the line, and a new target coming on into the field.
Two very convenient
I mean, he leaves
knockoffs
the
in a
field
row.
regardless.
First to enable
Supposed
fake out,
to
and
come
now
to
to enable Sleep Powder into that
What
slot.
do you do?
One of the strengths of the Incineroar on
Can
Wolf's
you
side
go
of the
Goth?
field is that it was very easily able to switch into this combination of Jumpluff and Incineroar, and now that is no longer the case.
think
This
I sleep
Gothitelle,
everything?
again, does have fake out active, so you can prevent either of these two Pokemon from acting this turn, but then what? Like, your Kingdra's asleep, maybe it can wake up this turn again, get that nice one-turn wake, but then
Hold on.
what? Like, your Kingdra's asleep, maybe it can
Okay. Just wanted to see the... Okay.
wake up this turn again, get that nice one-turn wake, but then you still have to worry about Sleep Powder coming through from Jumpluff. And if you're Marco, that can be a way to find some space in this matchup to, start getting some damage out and not let
Parting
Wolf control
shots
the
on his
game
own
again.
Mon, which is
I'm just looking
genius.
at the and then what coming out for Marco in this situation too, because the Kingdra's sleeping, but it can't be
Yo,
waking
parting
up
shot
at
your
any
own Mon
time.
is genius,
That's
so you
gonna
don't
be a
have to deal with
parting
any
shot. It's
protection
old
shenanigans.
Jumpluff to secure a promised switch out for the Incineroar in face of the fact it wouldn't be able to switch out before.
He
thanks
has
to
to
that
get out of there
shadow
no
tech.
matter what.
Parting
that
shotting
was-
yourself makes a
was
lot of
dope.
sense there because it guarantees
Yeah.
that even if Wolf
No reason to
happens
parting
to get a
shot on
double
a Mon
protect
that's
off on
not
this
even doing
turn,
much damage with
you are
Psychic to
able to
begin with,
swap
right?
out, and you don't care about lowering your Jumpluff stats because it doesn't have any attacking moves. Ursaluna is able to swap in here without taking any damage, without
This
taking
Ursa Terra is giga free now too, right?
a knockoff, and now Flame Orb activates, so we finally have the Guts Ursaluna, and now that Tailwind is up, these very strong Earthquakes that threaten damage into everything on Wolf's side of the field are on the table.
And this is where we can finally see this Pokemon be able to do some damage with the Ursaluna.
This is
and
dope,
where
this is
this
dope.
little change that Marco has on his team
Now that the Ursaluna is now burned, he's like,
in comparison to
he's in
other
like an
ways that these
infinitely
Jumpluffs
giga
are ran
better-
can be made. We do have this on his
whatever,
team in
that
comparison
was
to
checking.
other ways that these Jumpluffs
Sunny
are ran
Day.
can be made. We do have the Sunny Day. So if you are thinking that maybe Wolf is
kill
going to try and
Kingdra?
switch that Gothitelle out into the Politoed, since Kingdra does have a chance to wake up on this turn, you can just Sunny Day reset that and just go for a big attack with this Ursaluna. So eyeing it up. We'll have to see, of course, if the Kingdred's going to wake up. But
Intimidates
for now,
everybody.
Gothitelle is switching out. Polytoad is going to join the
Toad's
field.
coming in.
So it looks like Marco might have made the right call.
Nah,
'cause,
Marco's
of
a
course,
beast for this.
Polytoad is going to bring this rain.
Unless it wakes
but the
up.
jump left right after this terrestrialization moment. Let's
Holy
hold on
cow.
for a second. We'll get to see a weather rewrite
Damn,
real
what a
soon
fucking
as
read.
Kingdra. That's going to be the stellar terrestrialization, putting everything on this turn.
It's going to be interesting because the Sunny Day should come out here first thanks to the tailwind.
Yeah.
And after Kingdra
Oh my
loses its
God.
speed boost from Swift Swim, Ursaluna
Yo,
will
that
attack
was tough.
next. Unless it's trained to be very, very slow, but no, Earthquake comes out.
I would hope not.
Wow,
when you're
that was-
having it next to a
yeah.
tailwind.
He covered
Marco
everything.
knows what he's doing.
So
Kingdra
strong.
will wake up, taking a lot of damage, but
This is
Weather
going
Ball,
into
of
Ursa
course,
slot,
this is
right?
going to be a different type of Weather Ball now with that sun
Should
hitting
do what half?
into the Ursaluna.
Way
Good
more
amount of
than half.
damage, but that's not the damage
60
that we
plus.
would have liked to see if the weather was still the rain. And now you're still going to have the advantage of the speed onto this next turn.
A really nice turn from Marco there, knowing that
Wow.
Polytoad very
The
likely
tailwind, even
slots
when it
in
runs
for that
out, he's still
Gothitelle
gonna be able to get it
activate
back up
both
if
the
needed.
Swift Swim and the damage
Yo.
boost from the water typing.
And everything is
Weather Ball.
grounded,
even
and
though
Terra's
the Weather Ball's
exhausted,
still
so
a
it's
huge
like-
chunk of damage. Again, it is
use-
still boosted by the Stellar
use
Terra.
Earthquake,
so nice
right?
reason for that Stellar Terra to be on the team here. Kingdra didn't do
Oh, it's
nearly
wraps
enough this
for Wolf.
Ursaluna, and Polytoad
'Cause
is
there's
on
no
the
defensive
field
Terra to
with
get
the
outta
sun
here, right?
up. So this is probably the most
just
ideal
tailwind at EQ,
situation
right?
you could
It's-
ever
it-
hope
it
for
was
if
literally
you're Marco
wraps, no?
here. This Polytoad cannot hit the
If
field
Wolf switches
on this
anything,
coming
everyone's just
turn
gonna die.
to reset the rain because you have to swap it out first.
Yeah, and even if there is a switch going around with that tail,
You could ever
So
hope.
Wolf have Dracoed instead of Weatherballed? Because with Terra Stellar, it's gonna kill Ursa. Is it gonna kill Ursa? Weatherball is 150 base power. Draco's 195. Probably would have lived on
for
like
if
1
you're
HP.
Marco here. This Polytoad
It's probably a roll. I don't think it kills even. Because if Weatherball is 150 and Draco is 195. Oh, the boost is 1.2x versus 2x. So it's 1.33. Because of the stellar boost. It's a stronger than the stellar boost. Yeah, it's 1.33x versus 1.2. Right?
cannot hit the field on this coming turn to reset the rain because you have to swap it out
I'm
first.
just trying to analyze both sides.
Yeah, and even-
I'm not here fucking armchairing, don't worry.
and if there is a switch going around with that tailwind just
Okay.
leaving, Marco can go ahead and reset it up in a situation where this Ursaluna is still going to be able to attack. So it's just going to be a double switch. On
Yo, it's not
for
even like
Wolf.
Wolf's
So both
team
of
is
these
that great
are gonna be the
defensively either.
targets
Like he has no
of
switching to
this
EQ, so he
Earthquake.
really does have to
So
get all these
Incineroar
turns
will at
right,
least
or he's
try and
cooked.
drop the attack a little bit, but I still don't think it's going to appreciate what's coming next.
It really won't, especially because Tailwind immediately goes back up, reestablishing
What's
the
Marco's
speed boost
last?
on Marco's
That's
side
what I
of the
wanna
field.
know.
And another Earthquake comes through here. Intimidate is active, so maybe not big one-hit KOs here, but still so much damage.
The
Incineroar took more than I
is
thought.
just
I'm not even
hold
gonna
on
hold
a
you.
sliver
I mean,
of
obviously,
health,
it's a
so
super
Wolf's not
effective
gonna
guts
lose
booster,
either
but
Pokemon
jeez,
on
man.
this swap-in.
It's P2
and
again?
Now has
Okay,
a double
thanks.
fake-out pressure. And reminder, first turn of this match, we did see the knockoff into the jump left slot, so it doesn't have the Covert Cloak anymore, and it also doesn't have a way to protect.
It can't protect, but unless you fake it out, you could pretty easily go straight for more sunny days. You don't need the Tailwind boost anymore because you've already set that up.
Yeah, man,
Sleep
when
Hunter
there's a
doesn't
Spadaf
necessarily
toad in
buy
the
you a
back,
whole lot, but if you
that
do
Torkoal
Sunny Day
Exard
again,
is-
that would prevent
getting
Wolf's
farmed.
Polytoad from coming in and getting rid of
But
that
that Toad is
sun,
nasty.
which
The
could be a
dude has
big deal.
95
Also, I could
HP
Sleep Hunter
stat.
too.
I think
Maybe you could
Polytoad's
Sleep
HP
Hunter
is
either of
95.
these
It might be
Pokemon,
90.
because
I'm
again, that
pretty sure
safety
it's
goggles
95.
was knocked off.
And I know the
then try and buy
Spadaf is
some more
base 100,
time.
so.
You do have the Ghost Terrestrialization in play with Ursaluna as well, but no, straight for the fake.
Hold on.
I could Sleep Hunter too. Maybe you could Sleep Hunter either of these Pokemon because again that safety goggles was knocked off and then try and buy some more time. You do have the Ghost Terrestrialization in play with Ursaluna
Why Marco no Terra? Does it matter?
as well, but no, straight for the fake out.
Yeah, so that's going to be an Ursaluna.
Oh, no.
It doesn't act, and jump left that's not much better off is going to be a Sleep Powder miss. And Trick Room, Marco had the speed, and that is going to be to his detriment, as all of his speedy Pokemon are going to be oh so slow. Ursaluna at this point now, sure, that's a burn that you needed to get through this match and deal the damage, but it's a burn that you don't have
Yeah,
much
he already hit
attacking
Sleep
time
Powder,
left.
so you can't
You
expect to
really
hit them all.
don't, especially now because the
75
Ursaluna will
is
be
still
knocked out to
75.
2 more turns of burn. You're tempted to maybe try and protect it to make sure it doesn't take any damage on this turn from either Incineroar or Gothitelle. But if you do, you only have 1 more turn left.
You gotta be a brave man to run Sleep Powder in a tournament. You gotta be a brave man.
And given that we've talked about Wolf's team having 6
can't be
protects,
doing all that.
you can kind of guarantee that Ursaluna doesn't attack again
I'm too
unless
scared
it's
to
on
ever
this
click
turn.
that.
Yeah, and even
You
just
gotta
have
play
this
every game like you're gonna miss it.
speed on your favor, so you don't
gotta
even
at
have
least
to
be
play
ready,
the
which,
I'm just gonna wait you
of
out
course,
game if you
as
want
a
to. You can just go for
competitor,
this
you would be
straight. Hey,
ready
I'm
to
gonna
miss
take
it.
some KOs games. So
What else you
yeah,
gonna do?
Incineroar will be
75.
protecting on this one. You still have to be worried
really
about
hard
the
to make
threat
a-
of this jump up and the sleep powder. So
Okay.
we'll play the slow and steady game instead. Both of the Pokemon are
Protect
gonna
super
go ahead
free.
and protect.
Get some
You
burn
have to wonder
chip.
if the Trick Room actually helps Wolf that much going forward. Like, you do get to mitigate that Tailwind, but after these two Pokemon on Wolf's side of the field go down, you have the Politoed and the Kingdra left, and you don't necessarily want Trick Room up for that Kingdra. So you might think, you know, is Wolf going to try and reset Trick Room on this coming turn, knowing that Ursaluna will be knocked out, Tailwind will be running out soon, and
running
neither of these
Fissure?
Pokemon can switch out.
I don't even know.
And this is where, for the jump left, you're also just pinned
would be
into
mad to
just
play
having to click for this
opponent
rage
at
powder to
Fissure.
make
I'd be
sure
pretty
that this
tight.
Ursaluna does
like,
have an
what are we doing
opportunity
here?
to attack. And jump left does still have a good amount of health.
What are we
And
doing
even
here with
looking at the
Fissure,
fact this Incineroar for Wolf doesn't have Flare Blitz, it would most likely
point,
have
it's
to be
like,
this double up.
what are we doing?
Knockoff will be the first. A critical
gonna say, why they do
hit,
so
but it's
much
not going to be
critical
enough. The Psychic is going to be forced to target into this. Jump left goes down. Ursaluna, one more attack for the road before it too is going to be KO'd in this match. An Earthquake hits everything.
able to smoke
Incineroar on his
Incineroar,
sliver
keep
is
Goth low
gone,
as
and
well.
Gothitelle will hold on just a little longer.
Ursaluna will be knocked out by the burn, though, so the Pokemon count is now 3-2 in Wolf's favor. This is exactly the kind of situation where Wolf can potentially bring in Politoed and go straight for what could be a game-ending Perish Song. Sunlight does fade, and I do believe Tailwind is still active, so that means that since Trick Room is up, Wolf will have the speed advantage.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
that is
Porygon 2 is in the
exactly.
It just
back.
ended.
It just ended.
There it is.
When we're still looking at the features of the Pokemon, we will see Porygon 2
Terra
in the
is
back.
still
but
alive as
there you
well.
said it, Politoed. That'll be one that is hitting the field, though it does have an Incineroar to contend with on the other end.
This is really tough, you know, but this is a situation where the Porygon 2 is probably not going to be knocked out by a combination of attacks in the next few turns, but if you're not getting rid of this Politoed, you can just get Perish Songed, and if you ignore the Gothitelle, then
This is so fried because it's like if you don't fake out the Goth, Perish Song is getting clicked, but the Toad is gonna live Terra Blast raw, so you can't just attack Toad with the Terra Blast. You have to double attack to kill Toad.
then Kingdra might even come in and start
But
throwing
can
some
he
strong
even kill Porygon if he doesn't get the Perish Song off?
attacks here. So it's really tough position to be in if you're Marco, because I think if you get a single turn wrong, if
Oh
you
my
let Perish
goodness.
Song go up, if you give Kingdra a free swap to start firing off some strong water type attacks in the
Alright.
rain, this
So
game
does
can be
the
over
Perish
really
Song.
fast.
And that's the tricky situation. This is such a tough matchup for Marco, and it's been proven so even more up against an opponent
attack
like
the
Wolf.
Toad?
So two healthy Pokemon,
Fuck.
but definitely not in the greatest of situations.
'Cause if the
And if
Perish
you're
Song goes
looking
up,
at
you're
reversal, I
cooked.
mean, you have to call this right. Would this be enough?
I don't know. It just depends on what you do with this Incineroar as well. You can fake out either of these two Pokemon, but Gothitelle opts to not allow that to happen, going straight for the Protect instead.
When you're
Okay,
eyeing
okay,
up the
okay.
fake out on the other end and two Pokemon that are on a third of their health, the Protects just make so much sense, especially since it seems like the time is more so on your side. Now, no fake out, no hits coming out from this Porygon 2, but it does give a passive turn to reverse the speed order.
So now,
The
okay.
scary thing too now is that this Incineroar just used Fake Out in front of a Politoed with Encore. So if you don't know that your Incineroar is faster than Politoed, it could just be locked into Fake Out for the remainder of this game. There's a chance Politoed is slower. I don't know that we've seen that interaction just yet, but because, again,
Whoa.
Wolf really wants his Pokemon to be very slow for the purpose
Now
of
Trick Room
Perish
is
Song
done.
and for Trick Room, there's a very decent
Knock would
chance
kill Toad
Incineroar
from
has
this
just doomed
range.
itself
And
to
also
Fake Out for
Incineroar
the next
lives.
few turns.
Whatever,
We've
but
seen
they're
this
talking about
Politoed
Encore,
underspeed
which definitely makes
so
sense. If you
much
Encore this
in this
Incineroar,
match,
this
but
thing
it
is
seems
cooked.
like a Trick Room that had to happen to have any opportunity
let's
to
see.
try and make sure this Perish Song wasn't going to be happening. Maybe like a, you know, it's done if you do, it's done if you don't. But now it's going to be the Ghost Terrestrialization to at least try and set this Incineroar up for a little bit more success. Now we'll have to see where the speeding is going to be coming on out. Knock off in
So
the
it was
Politoed.
faster.
No
I guess that was like the
Perish Song
decider,
for
huh?
Wolf. No Politoed and two 2 Pokemon left.
All right, so it's
Thankfully,
wraps
that
now for
Incineroar
Wolf
is
because
faster for
you literally
Marco,
cannot
so
kill
a really
Porygon
important
too.
break there. Terra Blast into Gothitelle is not enough for a KO, which means Gothitelle does have the chance to Psychic this Porygon.
No, I'm not surprised
it
it killed because Politoed's Fizz Def is horrendously bad. It's like base 70 or something garbage.
Could be a little bit important.
And he has no investment
Yeah,
on the
when
Fizz
we're
Def. He's fully
looking
spit F. We already saw that
We're
from
looking at this
Headlong
Kingdra,
doing
and we're
50.
looking at a Porygon too that you kind of need to be sticking around. This Kingdra is, now that this Trick Room has been reversed, it does have the Swift Sim, so it's going to be fast. And it does have that Stellar Terastallization too.
But even
so
then, Terra Stellar is not going to kill.
Too. Would that be enough after
King,
that drop?
it's not
It
going
might
to
be
kill
enough, but
Porygon
then
with
you
Drake.
just leave this
It's not
Incineroar
gonna do
alone,
anything.
and if
I mean,
you do, then
it's
it
not
probably
going
just
to do
knocks
anything,
off
but it's
your
definitely not
Kingdra
going to
for a
kill.
KO here. This is actually, I think, a more strong position for Marco in this scenario because I don't
Wait,
know
where
that
did he
Wolf-
spit F drop? I wasn't watching. What did he spit F drop? He spit F drop P2? Is that what we saw? My bad, I wasn't watching. I know he used Psychic to spit F drop. Come on now. I'm saying which Mon got spit F dropped. Okay, thank you.
has the offense left, especially considering this Kingdra, has to go for these muddy waters now.
That's a double connect though onto this turn. Neither's gonna be super effective.
Holy
Both will be
shit.
hanging on through that. The Kingdra, so much damage with this muddy water in the rain. Have to see. I don't think any
I'm
of that-
shocked by how. I
gonna
mean,
be
I guess the
effective.
Porygon did get dropped, so it
Waters
makes
now.
sense for it
That's
to
a
do that
double
much.
connect though
Damn,
onto
though.
this turn. Neither's gonna be
Yo,
super
Incineroar is
effective. Both will be
him.
hanging on through that. The Kingdra, so much damage with this muddy water in the
Yo,
rain.
muddy water is
Have to see.
nasty.
I don't think
It can
any-
drop
I don't think it
accuracy
drops
too.
either. We get this
So you're really just
legendary
stuck in that.
recovery, and with
Oh, but he
that,
clutched it.
Marco will be able to follow up.
Oh
Knock
my
off is gonna
goodness.
take that Kingdra down. That was so
man,
close.
Stellar
That
is
could have been the
beast.
game winning, the regional winning muddy water, but holding on just a sliver of health. Now Terra Blast, the Porygon 2, wasn't able to finish the Gothitelle off
Nah,
last
muddy
time.
water is
Will
disgusting.
this time, we're now tied and get to go to a
What an evil strategy to pull up
regional
on somebody with.
champion deciding game 3.
Really
Oh,
well
man.
played by Marco after what was a pretty rough game 1. He really struggled to find footing in that
So
first
now
game,
Marco
but
just
in
has
the
to
second
always
game,
get
didn't
the
feel like
most
he was
out of
ever under
Ursa.
much of a threat
And so Wolf
from
probably
Wolf's
thinking,
Pokemon. Wolf never found a
as long as
position
I
where
can,
Kingdra
because
could
even
come
Wolf
in,
was close to winning
and
that
pretty
game.
freely
That was
start getting
like,
off those attacks.
I mean, I guess
And
if the
of course,
spit F drop
Ursaluna
didn't
on
happen,
Marco's
but
side,
also muddy
much
waters,
more
you
impactful
can't
in
really
this
play
game because it
around
did get to
muddy
fire off
water
those guts
like that
boosted
either.
earthquakes. And when you have
If
a
it
team like
drops-
Wolf's that
if
doesn't
it
really
drops, it
pack
drops,
ground
like,
resistance,
what's the
it's
chance of
really,
muddy
really
water to
important
drop?
keep
30?
that Ursaluna at bay.
And even the setup that Marco was able to do
that's
in
really
that,
annoying.
we were looking at the situation where, hey, this Ursaluna doesn't necessarily have the most health left and is going to be KO'd after a turn or two of this
Muddy water's
turn.
an evil move.
Well, then Wolf goes for the passive,
that'd be
decides
tight
to go
if
for
I
the
had that
double
used
protect,
against me.
and that just opens the window for Marco to reverse the Trick Room, get back into a regular. And I cannot wait.
A really big deal for Marco. That could be something he could have intuited going
Also,
into
I would
this
bring 2
game,
water bottles
just
up on
knowing that,
stage.
again, Paris Trap
I already
team,
be drinking
things
water
like to be very,
all the
very
time when I'm
slow,
playing any
especially if you
tournament
train your
game. I
Incineroar
drink
a
so
little
much
bit in
water.
speed, it might be safe to
So I
assume
already
that
know
it
if I had
moves
to play
first, but
live
now
like
you're no
this,
longer under the threat
45
of
second
that
timer
encore
per
after
turn,
Fake Out. Immediately
I would
with
have
the
251.7
weather mode, though, Wolf leading that
milliliter
Polytoad
water bottles
Kingdra,
on my
the
desk.
tried and true
It's
duo
impossible for
from
me to play
ages
otherwise.
past, taking the
Pass out.
Intimidate, but who really cares because they're both special attackers. Drizzle goes up, rain is set, and there is no Torkoal in the back, so no sun just yet.
And with this lead and making sure the weather is
So
set
this
for
time
Wolf,
so this time, game 3 we got the weather lead straight up.
this is dangerous because for Marco, if you want to make sure this Kingdra isn't going super duper fast, you either have to go for a fake out incident, in which case the Polytoad can try and go for something, or you got to go for a sunny day. But you can't
So what if Wolf clicks Terra Stellar Draco into Jump Bluff?
do everything. Sleep Powder also has
And
this
if you fake
opportunity
out the
to
Kingdra,
miss.
then you have
So
to
that's
take
that
Polytoad's
is a very
annoying
dangerous
ass.
prospect.
Oh,
Even with the protect,
caught his
though,
ass.
Of course, when you are looking at this fake out pressure on the opposing end, it is something that only the one actually, the Polytoad didn't protect.
No, it didn't. An Encore or Weather Ball here could be very devastating for Marco if Wolf calls this correctly. Tailwind is set up, which establishes the speed advantage, but what did this Polytoad do?
That's going to be the encore. And into this jump
Forced
bluff.
to switch
it's
immediately.
It's not going to have the opportunity to go for the
Oh, this looks horrible already now for Marco.
day on the next turn. That was the most important decision of the first.
Wait, that's great. You can Encore basically anything it goes for except for Powder. Because even if Sunny Day is clicked there, it has to switch out the next turn.
match and now forced into his swap. And when you're looking at this Kingdra that now has this swift swim, and that life orb still intact. There is about to be some devastating damage out on the board.
Despite the tailwind, this Incineroar will not act before Kingdra thanks to Swift Swim, and now you either have to switch in this Ursaluna to a possible Muddy Water, which might just knock it out right off the bat, or switch in your
Yo,
Porygon,
Muddy Water
which
is
you
so
really need
free.
to keep healthy. That is one
How
of
is
the most
Marco even
important
gonna win
pieces
now?
on this team, just to have a little bit of bulk. You know, maybe reverse some Trick Rooms or set up some Trick Rooms given the scenario. That is a really, really good encore from Wolf there.
Yeah, so
that
he
if
just
the jump
he
off,
tears
for
to
either
mitigate
Sunny Day or Tailwind,
the
that's so
Muddy
much
Water
momentum
killing
loss.
everything.
So we will have to see the jump left switch out onto this turret and Porygon too. Again, like you said, that
Even
Ursaluna
this is still
after
gonna do a
Muddy
shit
Water, that
ton.
would not be hanging on very well.
Oh,
so
man.
we'll have to see that swap.
And we already saw it.
Terastallization coming on out. Before we've gotten to see that it was the Kingdra for the Stellar Terastallization.
Yeah.
But it's going to be
Yeah, Marco literally
going
has
to
to
be
Terra,
Marco
otherwise everyone's gonna die to
into that
Muddy.
Ghost
Or
type.
Vince
Make
Silver's
sure
gonna die
that
to
you're
Muddy.
going to try and survive this hit at any edger. Now, Weather
Oh, he
Ball
clicked Weather
instead.
Ball, just to
We're
be
not going
certain.
to worry about accuracy checks. We're going for one Pokemon and one
What
Pokemon
the
only.
fuck is this damage, bro? I'm so
But
used to
not
Incineroar
enough to
taking
pick up the
nothing.
KO.
Kingdra's so
Huge burst
strong.
of damage there.
Even with
Incineroar
horrible
will be able to
95
aid
base
its
special
Citrus Berries,
attack.
heal up some of that damage,
Jeez.
but it still lost so much HP, and now it is in a space where it really can't
Why didn't he Terra? Is it just better to keep it because he's already ahead?
swap into moves anymore. Parting Shot coming out will lower the special attack of Kingdra, which helps a little bit, but at the same time, like, you're not doing any damage this turn.
Absolutely not. At least if you want to be eyeing up something like this jump left, you no longer are on court, so you can go for Weather Override. And since Politoed is out on the field still, it is going to be a weather that it can't override for
Oh,
a
he
little
double
bit.
attacked the
And
slot
Weather Ball
regardless, so
into
he
the
doesn't
jump left
care.
is not
Got
gonna
it, got it,
necessarily
got it.
be the most effective
Right,
of
if you're gonna double
cases,
attack,
so
it doesn't matter.
This is still dangerous because when you're still staring down the Kingdra on the other
Damn,
end,
even Weather Ball did a
again,
good
something
amount
like
to
this
the-
Vertical Meteor can do so much, and if the jump left can't overset the weather, or even
is
get
Marco
a speed
supposed to
control,
do to
well,
not
that can
lose
also
his,
be a really dangerous situation.
He can't even reset
The scary
anything
part
going
here is
on.
that,
There's no
you didn't
tailwind,
lose
there's no
any
sunny
Pokemon
day you
this
can
turn,
get
which
up.
is great,
Draco's
but
gonna
you
blow
had to
your
give up
guy
the
up.
Terastallization, you had to give up so much
Oh,
damage in
no.
Incineroar, and you had to bring this jump off back in here, even though
Because Drake
Wolf
is
still
gonna
has
kill the-
Incineroar in the
if he did
back
that.
to possibly swap into Sleep Powders.
And this sleep powder that is about to come up could be the regional deciding one. At least you're not going to take a hit from the Kingdra. If you're
Why can't he Drake?
swapping a Pokemon out and it's one,
Because then it gives the setup for Porygon plus Ursa. That makes
at least
sense.
you're not going to take a hit from the Kingdra. If you're swapping
Yeah,
a
that makes
Pokemon
sense.
out and it's going to be a hit from the Kingdra right away, it could be so dangerous. But it's going to be this turn for the Kingdra slot that Intimidate comes on
He doesn't
to
want
the
to get
field.
sleeped, but Rain's up, so he's faster. Oh, he set up. Oh, right. He got. Bro, he already set up the tailwind first turn. You're right. You're right. You're right. Then he got encored. You're right. You're right. I completely
So
forgot.
that's going
that
to be
he
a
set up the
safety
tailwind
goggles
turn one.
with it as Porygon 2 swaps out, and barring not
Completely
getting
forgot
KO'd,
that
the
he set up the
Ursaluna
tailwind
will be able to
turn
get
one.
the switch in to get that flame
So he's
orb
basically forced to
activation
switch.
on this turn. As now we get to see Terastallization from Wolf. Now this is going to be
Toad
the
Terra is
Politoed.
cool.
This is not one we've gotten to see into that grass type. So even if it was a sleep
Oh,
powder
so it
target
can't
there,
get
it would
sleeped?
be null and void. Nothing would happen.
I love this Terastallization. Sleep Powder, it doesn't
Oh
matter
my
which target,
God.
the safety goggles and the Grass Terra will block it, and Politoed gets to set up a
Oh,
Perish
no.
Song instead. That was a great play by Wolf here, just to force some shuffling.
And he's
by both of
goggles
these
on
trainers. Of
Ursa,
course,
so
there
he
isn't
can
enough
parting
control
shot
the
out
field
on
yet.
the Ursa,
So
right?
Marco wants, he
If he
can
really
swap
needs
both
to.
of these Pokemon out this turn, but in
So
doing
basically,
so,
he got,
would leave the
two guys on the
Incineroar and
field that
Porygon 2 in
completely
the back
wall the-
vulnerable to taking a lot of damage right off the bat. And of course, we have the option for Wolf to go for that fake out with Incineroar this turn.
Yeah, Marco's
and prevent
cooked now
any
with
damage
the-
coming out here, but I really love that play.
Oh,
Terra Grass
no.
means you're
He's
resisting
getting
those
parting
ground type
shotted
moves
on.
as well.
I mean, it's still
Jump
math
Ball really
strong,
doesn't have
though,
a
but,
whole lot
like,
to do anymore.
Terra's
Not
exhausted,
at
so
all.
Weather
That
Ball's gonna
is
fry the
huge.
Ursa.
That last minute Terastallization from Wolf. I haven't seen that Politoed yet. And
Even if he clicks
honestly,
Protect,
such
it's
a
just the
key
turns
play.
going
and even
down.
for Marco, if you do want to go for this swap to make sure, like,
Goth
hey, I
coming
need
in,
to
I'm
get
like,
these
oh,
Pokemon out of
no.
here before the Gothitelle comes in. What is stopping the Politoed from clicking it again? You know you're not going to get KO'd. You know you're not at risk if you're predicting the swap out. And even when you're looking at what can really hit into you this turn,
Oh,
not
you
really
read the
too much
shit out of
damage,
this.
but
Oh,
just fake
no.
out, no swap.
Yeah, but even Sunny Day is like,
Sunny Day comes out, which means that Sun will be up for at least the next couple turns, but Fake Out prevents the Ursaluna
And even
from going
this
for
is
any
still gonna
attacks.
do a lot
Weather Ball
to
here, now
Ursa.
a Fire type attack thanks to that Sunny Day.
Yeah.
Still does a decent
That's
chunk
good
to
ass damage.
Ursaluna, but notably does not KO thanks to the water typing.
yo,
move.
that was a crazy beginning
Because the beginning basically forces the Terra. Marco has to Terra or it's just over right there.
Removed here, and now you're kind of in a similar spot where if you leave this Ursa Luna in on the next turn to get some damage off, that could be a big deal, but then you essentially have to swap it out on the next turn, which could leave
Ball is
yourself
the best,
open
most
to
consistent
Wolf,
move ever.
seeing that play and
100 base
immediately
power and then
punishing
gets boosted by either Sun or Rain.
it by targeting whatever
phenomenal.
comes in.
Would this be the turn even too for Marco where you're looking at maybe going for this double swap if Wolf thinks that Marco's going to go for this attack and just double protects his own Pokemon? Because that could be that small window of opportunity. But of course, if you get it wrong and
Yeah, Wolf
Wolf
hasn't even really taken damage yet. This is
does
fun.
decide to take down one of your Pokemon on
And
the
Goth
swap
is still in the
you
back,
lose there. So
ready
a
to
huge
go.
call in this match. But
Ay, ay,
Wolf
ay.
has been clicking protect so much within this series. So does he double protect here?
It's also an opportunity for Wolf to potentially swap the Gothitelle in if he thinks the Ursaluna will be attacking this turn, and that way you'll lock it on the field for the following turn and make sure it does get knocked out by that Perish Song. Porygon takes the field in place of Jumpluff, and Wolf does not swap Gothitelle in, instead opts to protect that Politoed.
Politoed is nice and safe and protect from Incineroar.
Protect.
So no damage coming out onto Wolf's end of the field as this Parasong turns are ticking away. Facade, of course, not going to do anything into that Incineroar. So now we're just at a situation where
Little extra
next
chill.
turn, well, everything except for the Porygon gets KO'd. So I think next turn we're going to see a lot of
Oh my
switching of
goodness.
Pokemon, especially to Marco isn't trapped on the field. So the Ursaluna does have a swap if you want to go for it. But is this also the opportunity if you wanted to try
Right, you
and
do
attack
attack,
it,
'cause you
get
know
Wolf
Wolf
on
has
these
to
swap-ins
switch.
of his own?
It's a really tough decision to make. If you leave your Ursaluna in,
Would I Earthquake with my Ursa, expecting... Oh, man, I don't know what I would do here. I don't know what I would do here. I think I would just click EQ
you
like he
can
did.
possibly punish Wolf
And just say,
switching, but you're
"Fuck it, if
guaranteeing
I'm
that
this
you're losing
behind
that
at this
Ursaluna,
point."
which is a huge source of damage. Just looking at the rest of Marco's team, if Ursaluna goes down, that is the single Pokemon that can do the most damage left. Next to Jumpluff, which can do 0 damage, Porygon, which is alright, and then Incineroar, which is already taking a lot of damage itself.
Gothitelle is swapping in, Porygon to you swapping out. So we get to see Jumpluff hit the field once again. And with that Earthquake, Incineroar sticking around. So there will be 2 KOs at the end of this turn. And Gothitelle, a lot of damage.
Oh, Ursa should've
Incineroar
died.
doesn't even need to wait for the Parasong to get KO'd. It's going to get KO'd right here,
Jeez,
right
this
now.
is
A lot of
frustrating.
damage into the Gothitelle. If you're
Holy cow, this
losing
is
your
tough.
main
This is
source
tough
of
to fucking
damage,
play against, dude.
then that's damage that actually could be really significant.
It could, especially considering that your Porygon and your Incineroar, have the Terra Blast, have the
Ursa goes
knockoff,
down.
that can
I mean-
do decent chunks of that Gothitelle.
But this wasn't like game 2 where Marco got everything off with Ursa. Ursa did like combined 250%. He only killed
least
one
got-
thing that...
Activated its Citrus Berry,
And
so
still
the
has
HP
Rain
attack
plus-
is the max it will have for the remainder of
I mean,
this game.
Porygon's healthy though,
But
so
just
there is
looking at
something there.
Marco's team
But
remaining,
Toad is
if
way
Wolf
too
has
healthy.
a way to get Kingdra back on the field in the rain,
Oh
it
my
might be
God,
very,
if
very
I played this
difficult
shit, I'd be
for
so
him to,
annoyed.
prevent himself from taking too much damage in the process. Just Jumpluff,
My brain
if the
would not
rain
be able
comes
to
back
wrap
up,
shit
we'll lose
around.
that Chlorophyll speed
Wrap my
boost.
brain around
I
this
don't
shit.
believe Tailwind is currently active, and so
Now
there's
all
no
the
chance
offensive
that some
capabilities
kind
from
of,
Marco are
Tailwind
cooked.
Slay Day
It's
play
just
to mitigate
knockoff
that.
and the weakest
Kingdra
Terra
does
Blast
enter the
ever.
field, so we're
Well, it's
in a
weak
position
because of that
where,
Toad is so
you're very
bulky.
threatened by the
Yeah, he
idea
went on
of
Kingdra
a
because he can
Politoed
keep the
swap
Toad
with
in the
somebody
back.
water.
The bulk matters.
And that could be absolutely huge. And the fact that you don't have that speed, at least if one thing is forced to be swapping out, you do have a little bit of advantage
you
with
can
the
still
other
sleep powder, though.
Pokemon. And this is getting tough. This has been so intense here
Yeah.
for the 3rd match. It's
So
so
P2?
different in all 3 games.
It really is. The way these trainers
go
have
P2, right?
approached these 3 games has
Man,
differed
you sleep,
very
you sleep.
heavily. Now we're in a
That's a lot.
position where both trainers have 3 Pokemon remaining, and it's really hard to call who
I mean,
has
either
the
way, he's
stronger
gonna the
position here.
the
Of course,
the
Marco
Goth is
only
gonna
has 2
stay in
Pokemon
there
that
and
can
troll.
deal damage, but Wolf,
Oh,
with
no.
the Gothitelle isn't really doing too much damage on its own. Does still have Kingdra, at a pretty healthy state of HP, but has to be careful not to get put to sleep.
Incineroar is going to be swapping out on this turn. So Porygon
Did
2
he
coming
trick
on
the
out
Perish
yet
Song or
again.
protect with the
Consistent with the
God?
attacks and no
Okay,
switch
no.
for Wolf. So
Ooh.
talking about having speed control later in, that's going to be at least on Marco's end. Draco Meteor into the Porygon 2, just below half health.
did about
and a
how much
special
I
attack that
expected
is now dwindled
for Life
away
Orb.
onto that strong attacking Pokemon. But if we're talking about speed advantages, Trick Room
Oh,
is going to
shit.
put it all in Wolf's favor, though Marco can
Because we
try
saw
and use this
Incineroar was
opportunity to try
faster
and
in game
reverse
2,
it,
so
but
Trick Room lets
his Pokemon are
Politoed
going to be
troll.
so fast now, so slow because of that. thanks to that tailwind.
And because the jump up is locked on the field here and does not have
This looks
protect,
horrible.
this is a prime opportunity to try and
This
double
looks so
target
horrible.
it with this Gothitelle and Kingdra's Psychic and Draco Meteor. You did have to take that -2 special attack drop with the first Draco Meteor, so I don't know if it will be enough. But if you can secure that KO, most likely before this jump left
This
can
gonna do
move, this
nice
could be a
damage to
game-winning
jump
turn.
left.
You need enough damage, and you
Yeah,
also
chip is
need
chip.
to connect. Instead, we're going to go for something a little bit
Raw.
more accurate, and with the sun means this will be a super effective hit, and jump left will be taken care of.
Oh,
now,
it's clipped.
Pokemon advantage in Wolf's favor. Marco down
Yeah,
to
can't do
final
shit
2
about it.
Pokemon. Porygon 2 with the Ice Beam into the Kingdra is just not the damage that he needs.
The last turn of Sun there, taking great advantage of that sunny day set up by the jump left. Who needs to, connect your
Oh,
Draco
no.
Meteors? Who needs to worry about, the -2 special attack when you have that super effective Life Orb Weather Ball?
Why did he Ice
And now
Beam?
Wolf has found himself in a Pokemon
I mean, not like
advantage.
Terrablast killed, but
the
you can't
Politoed
freeze
in
in
the
the
back
sun.
still in a pretty decently healthy state, especially considering it is that grass type. It is taking super effective damage from Flare Blitz now, but
Damn.
because it sets up the rain when it comes back in, that's a trade I think you're willing to take.
100%.
Trying to
Maybe
catch the
if
toad
Marco had the
and freeze
opportunity
that
that
shit?
jump left never went down. You could have maybe found a position, but now out of that option and running out of all options in this match. These last
Damn,
two
Wolf kinda
Pokemon have
downloaded
taken a
him this
lot
game.
of damage. And if
The
Wolf
encore
can
off
get
the
Politoed
encore
in
turn 1 on the-
safely, it could be a locked match. But even two,
Oh, because Toad is grass type. Right.
like this Porygon's taken a lot of damage, and Incineroar has
Yeah, I guess it's
as
negligible
well.
if both moves
Mako,
don't
there's
kill.
gonna be a little bit of chip
Makes
into
sense, makes
Gothitelle,
sense.
but Wolf I think can play this a little
The
slowly
encore
out.
turn 1 to
Kingdra
force
then
the
negative
switch
2, the
and then
Draco
insta
Meteor
and
over
make
the
Terra get
Incineroar.
exhausted
Holds
was
on with just
mad
a little bit. -4
suffocating.
now for the Kingdra, and its own health slowly but surely going away.
I'm writing that
Ice Beam
down.
follow-up, that'll actually put it in position where
but
we're
it's a
now
wrap.
even at 2 apiece.
We're even at 2 apiece, but I think
'Cause
this
you know
is
it's
now a
getting
great
clicked
spot
here.
for Wolf to be in. Because the Tailwind and Trick Room are both still up, this means that Gothitelle has a chance to act first. This Incineroar cannot protect itself. You can go straight for the Psychic, and then you could encore the Porygon
Yeah, and then you
2 to make
encore
sure it
Toad
doesn't
and-
have
I
the
mean,
chance to
Porygon is
recover
over.
for the rest of this game.
Politoed is
And
gonna
if you
get like
can't
5 hit
recover,
KO'd by
those Ice
Terra
Beams
Blast
are
at
doing super
best.
effective damage
Yo,
to
it was the
Politoed, but
turn
Politoed
1.
is
The
so
encore
bulky and doesn't
forces
have
the
ice,
switch,
especially
and then
with
since
that
Marco has
leftover,
only one
probably
offensive
has
mon.
enough in the tank to stick around for a few turns, fire
Oh
off
my
a couple more
God.
attacks into that Porygon 2, and probably win this game for Wolf.
This is so annoying. He has to
It's
get
so
everything.
close,
He has to
and
make the
it's all
Ursaluna
coming
do
down to the
LeBron
Politoed.
performance.
It's so fitting.
Oh, man.
Psychic,
The encore turn
Incineroar.
1 was the
Now
best
it's
play ever.
just going to be this Porygon 2, and you called it. It can just be locked down, and it can be the saddest Porygon 2 out there in the world. But also, at decently low health, you try and just do a little bit more with that Weather Ball. Not enough to go. We saw it was the recover, but this is also where Wolf can get the lockdown in the next turn.
It's true. I mean, you're not doing any damage this turn because you're going for recover. And it's a bit of a trade-off here because, sure, your Porygon's going to stick around another turn or two, but like, do you have the damage
That's
to
right,
get through
sir.
this Gothitelle and the leftovers Polytoad? That
Encore, and then you
especially
just
is going to
spam
be
it, spam
really
Psychic
tough
and just
for Marco to
basically-
break, especially considering as soon as Polytoad goes for a move that Wolf wants it to use for the rest of the
Even
game,
if you use all of
Encore
the
is still on
encores,
the
it doesn't
table.
matter.
Not
I mean,
to
all the
mention
recovers,
Gothitelle
like,
doing some okay
there's no
damage
way
with
out.
Psychic has the chance for
It
those
literally
special
cannot do
defense drops
damage.
as well, which we saw come into play in that
It,
first
it
game.
literally is
At
incapable
least
of
when
doing
you're
damage
looking
to
at a
this
Porygon
calm
2
Toad.
to try and close
And
out
even
this match,
Gothitelle's
it's a
defensive
little bit
enough.
better posed than what we saw the Torkoal versus Politoad yesterday. A little bit of a better chance, but this damage slowly being done. With the terrestrialization for the Politoad,
You know, that actually
is
did a
gonna
lot,
be nice
given
little
that the
chunk,
Toad
but
is
no
calm nature.
freeze means Politoad can retaliate. The
this
Weather
clip.
Ball again
Oh,
consistent.
that was a
and
crit. I was like,
critical
damn, that's
hit,
some
bringing
damage.
it down to 5 HP. Just a sliver away from closing this out.
And if there was any chance for Marco to win this game, I think it just evaporated. The Twisted Dimensions returned to
Wow.
normal, and since Polytoad acted last on the prior turn, it will go first on this next turn.
He a good sport for clicking the final Ice Beam.
So Weather Ball,
canceling the match.
Politoad, the last little bit of damage, and with that, Wolf Flick, a historic 10th regional win, taking down the Toronto.
This is offensive P2, right?
To normal, and since Polytoad
Shout out my
acted
boy
last
James
on
Evans
the
in the
prior turn,
chat.
it will go first on this next turn.
So Weather Ball, Politoad, the last little bit
one
of
of my
damage,
goats.
and with that, Wolf Flick, a historic 10th
Wow.
regional win, taking down the Toronto
what a
Regional
frustrating team to
Championship.
go up against.
One of the best. And
But I-
with that,
Man, I
Wolf
feel like Marco really played hard though, given the fact that again, he can't even bring his offensive core because it's gonna get picked off one by one by Toad X Goth. I feel like he played this shit like to his outs. Like
It looked mad difficult. It looked mad, like, obviously I don't know the matchups, how they go in this, but I feel like the matchup was really difficult for him compared, like, I don't know, it just seemed a lot harder. Like, if Ursa doesn't do everything for him, then he loses. And so game one, obviously, he had to switch, right? And he had the tailwind parting shot. So the knockoff then cooked everything. Game two, he did a lot of damage with Ursa, which was like his ideal state. I feel like he put up a big ass fight. I feel like he has one fucking really offensive guy. But then when you get to game three and then your Ursa basically already showed like, yo, this was
And that's a trade I think you're willing to take.
100%. And maybe if Mark had the opportunity that jump left never went down, you could have maybe found a position. But now,
like, he played really hard, even considering that he had to exhaust off the rip. That turn one encore was really nasty because it's like no matter what jump left clicks, it's wraps. Also, yeah, the Terra Grass Toad was really nasty. Yeah. Even though there's only one offensive mon being the Ursa's still a gigantic threat. It's not like Wolf even has a ground resist, and we saw Incineroar die to Earthquake, even post Intimidate. But this is pretty cool. And I like seeing Jumpluff out of Sun. It's like Marco's 4-mon core is so fucking weird comparatively to like the shit we just saw. This was really cool. I gotta absorb this again.
-4 now for the Kingdra, and its own health slowly but surely going away. So the Ice Beam follow-up, that'll actually put it in position where we're now even at 2 apiece.
First turns are so fucking important. I'm gonna be the first guy to bring Iron Valiant to a regional. I'm gonna be the first guy to have Iron Valiant at booster in a regional. And I'm running all support moves. Damn, this is pretty dank. What a great game. What a great series. He really fought back after game one. Game two, he really got everything right with Ursa. Val got second at Worlds. Fuck. I thought I was gonna bring my signature. What else can Parasong? I had a Parasong Screamtail. I used that before on my OU Sun team, just to force stuff out. Is this the only? Don't worry, first person to use Iron Boulder still at large. I ain't never bringing no Iron Boulder. Screamtail is banned this reg because no Paradox. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because Screamtail is like unkillable, plus incredible defensive stats and godlike speed. The Flutter is the other notable perisher this generation. Copy. What's the Screamtail version look like? That one's probably even more demonic. This one is cool though because it's like Kingdra forces them out, plus the Terra. I like that Terra Stellar. We saw Terra Stellar in like all the series I played. I mean, I watched today, right? Michelle had Terra Stellar on his Sneasler. And then last game, who had Terra Stellar? Shiliang had it on his Urshifu. And then this game, we saw Terra Stellar on Kingdra. And yo, this is dope. Wow. The Terra Stellar is big deal. The 1.33x is a big deal. Look up Luca versus Wolf at EUIC. Copy. Alright, this is what we'll watch either tomorrow or another day. There's literally Iron Valiant right here. This looks like my OU team. If you X out the Calyrex Ice Rider, Lando, Val, Amoongus, I'll be bringing this. This is a nasty team. What the hell? Dragonite. You telling me this thing E-speeds in this tier? No. Okay. So this is the new regulation. This is what was played yesterday. Is this the same one? Or what? This is different?
This is the old one. This is only one restricted. Okay. Okay. I'm watching, yeah, James. I'm watching sets from all of Gen 9 for the most part, because that's what I'm really curious at seeing. So not just from the recent regulations. And then this one I also have. I heard that this is one of the best sets. I was told that this is one of the best. So this is the other parish. This is Wolf's other parish team. Oh, this team reminds me of Joey's team with the iron paradox joints. This is a cool team. I like anything with treads is cool. God, I hate Amoongus. It's so annoying. This is a cool team though. Look at that Screen Tails moveset. Let's take a look. Well, Encore
Pretty much
disable.
having that
That's probably what that
in the
is, right?
Birmingham regionals earlier this year.
They can't.
Let's see.
If it comes, it can't.
Encore disable Parish Song at booster energy. That's some evil shit. I didn't even know Gothitelle learned Fake Out. I guess it makes sense. Rage Powder protects Spore. This is what I played today, and I was like, I played against this today on the ladder. Amoongus would protect X Rage Powder, and all I could think was, ref, do something. Amoongus shouldn't be able to protect and then also redirect. I was like, man, ref, do something. I was really like, ref, save me. Shout out Blunder, because now I'm about to go try another regional. Best of luck. You might see yourself in top 8 if you practice. Anyways, I'm going to sleep. It's 12:30. I've been up since really, really early. Oh, I streamed for a lot longer than I anticipated. But I always like watching any tournament stuff, anything. And this is something that I had to watch like really slowly to understand. Biggest thing is having to understand all the turn effects and going on. Like I forgot Tailwind was up in the last game, game 3, or the last series, game 3. I forgot that the thing terra'd, because there's no hover over the Pokemon and know what's happening. You know what I mean? And even if you could hover over, your timer is so tight that, oh man, you gotta pay so much attention. You gotta be so alert. Jeez. The only thing that would be in my what's it called, back pocket is that all the damage calcs I'm pretty good at knowing. But jeez, man, the timer, and you gotta know. Yeah, you gotta click both moves too. You know what I would be drawing on my you know what I would be writing down on my? This is what I'd be writing down. When they ask me afterwards, yo, can we see your note sheet? This is what my note sheet would look like. Hold on. It would look like this. This would be my note sheet. When they come up to me afterwards and say, yo, what were you writing down during that battle? It would be one of these. I'll be in there losing my damn mind trying to figure out what to do. That was because I saw Joe wasn't even taking notes yesterday when he was playing Joey, and I was like, Joey, why don't you take notes? He's like, man, there's no notes to take. I'm setting up the cork. It's like I'm setting up the electric terrain and I'm busting out attacks and I'm wild charging the Luna. I was like, I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. Joey also told us that he's not gonna time out yesterday. He's like, I'm not timing out, don't trip. And then he literally timed out, but it was okay. But Joe told us, he's like, I'm not gonna time out, don't trip. He literally timed out one turn, but it was all good. Hard to focus on the game and write at the same time, for sure. You could smoke yourself by overthinking too. There's a lot of just playing like, because you got, damn, timer management is a whole different beast. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. This VOD will be up. I'm glad that it stopped lagging after the first 15 minutes. Have a good one.